Do this. Okay,
Mic
guys,
check,
I'm
mic
here
check.
with Zaf. He was on Marion Island the year before me. He was working as a sealer. Did you do some killer whale work as well?
Yeah, all the sealers have to do killer work.
You have to look at the killer whales as well. Yeah, so I think let's just start by asking, how was your experience on Marion?
Yeah, we met on the island. That was
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, I know.
It's a crazy place to like have a first introduction with people.
Mm.
Because I don't know, you immediately feel bonded when you like, I don't know,
Yeah.
meet somebody on the island. The community is so small.
I know.
You have to like keep those connections.
It's true, that's a weird feeling. You come to the island and there's like not a lot of people, so you're like,
Yeah. You're like, these
alright.
people are going to be a huge part of my life.
Yeah, they're going to
Going
be.
forward, even if they're just in my memories.
Yeah.
My year on Marion was it was crazy. It was everything. I don't know, I almost like expected none of it, but expected all of it.
Yeah.
You know, because you make up these things in your mind for what the island's going to be like.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you did this, but I purposely didn't want to know much about the island before I got there.
That's actually good that you did that in a way.
Okay, did you Google what the huts looked like and stuff like that?
No, not exactly, but I did like research some of the work
Okay.
that was done and like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to know at least some of the
I just wanted a
science.
little bit of the grasp of what's going
Yeah.
on there. So I spoke with a lot of people beforehand. You probably also did
Okay. I spoke to one person who was in the department who'd
Yeah.
been Nita Pallet.
that. Nita Pallet.
From
Yes,
M76.
She was a botanist.
Yeah, she was a botanist
Yeah.
in M76. She was one of the last botanists, yeah.
Yeah.
I spoke to her and she was like, it'll be the best experience ever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then when I met Tavis, I got the other side of the story and I was like, you know, like, that, but that's
He gave you straight what you're going to go through.
but that's the thing, like every expedition has like you have to do it, like you have to go and everyone will tell you like 100% do it. And then there's this whole other side of the story. If you keep talking to them, you're like, yeah, but these were the challenges and this is what we went through and this is the things that I remember and this is the things that I struggled with. I mean, it's a year of your life.
It's a year of your life. It's
It's a long time. Yeah.
It doesn't feel long. I don't know. The first 6 months felt long for me.
Really?
Yeah, I felt
Yeah,
like
winter, eh?
Yeah.
Starting in winter is hectic.
It's hectic, yeah. And then the last 6 months, you know, when breeding season kind of stopped, then everything went super fast.
Then it zooms past.
Yo,
then it
then it was
zooms
like,
past.
yo, it's almost takeover. Shit.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of shit to do.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, oh, shit. How
No,
am
I
gonna
needed more
complete
time
everything?
as well.
Yeah.
It's good that you had that feeling. And I
Yeah.
have, I anticipated that you would have that feeling because I'm sure you were busy the whole year.
Yeah, I was. But you have the whole year. You tell yourself that, oh, you have the whole year. You'll finish everything. And then you come to the last part like, oh, fuck. I still need to go out and do all of these sites. Oh, shit. I need to plan it right. Like a lot of my work was like planning. You guys
Yeah.
have a nice schedule that you just follow.
Yeah.
But you still need to plan it. But like my stuff, you need to plan seasonally and exactly how you're going to do it, when and where. So if you plan it wrong, then you can actually fuck up everything.
What, like, I don't actually know what you were doing
I was doing
most of the
like,
time.
I was sampling like invertebrates and
Almost
and
exclusive.
plants.
Okay, and
And
plants.
It's
And
like
plants.
to see what's the impact of the mice.
Okay.
So it's like there's 2 or actually 3 things going with it. It's like to see what the mice impacts is on the invertebrates and plants
Yeah.
now. And then you're going to do this work again after eradication.
Okay.
Then you can
So this is the
compare-
baseline.
Yeah, it's like baseline for that
Okay.
pre-eradication data. And then there's another thing that I did with isotope analysis that they want to do. They want to make like a food web.
Oh, yes, I read
Of the
about Michelle
whole-
Greaves'
yes,
food web. She has
the
some
food
master
web.
students for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole island. Yeah, she also has another master student just doing like invasive plants. and
Yes,
stuff
I
as
saw
well.
that one from the data that they got from Prince Edward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw those being advertised, and they said there at the bottom with the chance of like a takeover on Marion. And I was like, the chance.
That
You need to
was-
guarantee me
Yeah, but
a takeover from doing this masters.
I think they say that because you never know what can happen.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna
But
happen.
people can just say, sorry, there's no space for more people. Or
Meanwhile, there is space.
There is
There's
space.
always space. There's always space.
Yeah, so that's Nicola doing that work. She's at Pretoria now.
Okay.
So she came for takeover actually.
She came for takeover.
Yeah, it
Okay,
was
that's nice. That's
Yeah, we
really
had a
nice.
very nice takeover team because we had
Really?
Naomi coming with and Abdul obviously replacing me. So it was us 4. We had the most fun. Yo, it
Yeah.
was so fun. 'Cause
Abdul
we're
is so
all-
cool.
He's very cool. He's very chilled. I like that guy so much.
Yeah, he came to the lab before and he was asking me like, what do I take? What do they have? And I was like,
he's
don't.
like, he wants to prepare very well.
Honestly, he was like, I already bought like enough Milo and enough Russ last week. I was like, yo, those are the things you don't have to worry about. Why did you buy
shit.
Milo?
Don't buy Milo, man.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's some. I think people in our team also bought things like oats and raspberries. Like, why did you buy that?
Why did you get this? Where did you think you were going?
But you don't always know. You don't like people say. Okay, it's like I can remember Camilla telling me I should buy peanut butter, and I was like,
Yeah,
because you guys ate a lot of peanut
you
butter.
should
or
buy
something.
peanut butter.
But for our year, we didn't need to because nobody
Really?
really ate any peanut butter.
What? That's crazy. That's
So it
crazy how
depends
different
on,
it is.
Yeah, it depends on the team.
Peanut butter was disappearing in our
Like,
team.
our team ate a lot of fruit cocktail.
Really?
Like the pineapple, you know.
Okay,
that
we didn't eat
pineapple?
that much of that.
They love. People were fighting for that pineapple.
That's so funny. Because M79 was like that. When we got there, I remember seeing Elsa van Ginkel. She was also an MFM
Yeah, I
ecologist.
spoke to her a lot beforehand.
And she was sitting in the dining hall, like eating like a tin of peaches from the tin. And I walked past and she was like, this is part of my personal supply. Like, I'm not like infringing on anything.
Did she actually say that?
She was just to clarify.
Okay, and then
This is
you're
my
like,
personal features.
then you're like, oh shit, something happened.
I was
there.
like, yo, so there's some tension here.
There's some tension there. Yo.
We just had this
Oh.
tin sitting there, no one was eating those, but the peanut butter was coming out and it was disappearing. We had a quota, 5 jars a week, and those 5 jars would be gone by Tuesday.
Ew. So who ate all the peanut butter in your year?
It was Kyle.
Kyle.
It was Kyle. It is Kyle. I'm name dropping.
He just loved it.
No, shame, it is all of us. It really
Yeah.
was all of us. Oh my goodness. It's
shame.
free protein, you know.
Yeah, it's true. Did you guys eat it on the Proteas or what? In the huts or what? How did
No,
you
not on Provitas.
What
No,
did you
we
eat
just
it
like eat it with a spoon or with your
just
finger.
eat it with a spoon, just like that?
If the jar's like nearly empty, then
thought
you
you
get to
guys
sit
did
there
it like
with your
that.
finger and you like get to scrape everything out. That's a really nice experience.
Yeah, but to go back to your question about like beforehand, I didn't really know exactly what to expect.
Okay.
Let's be honest. Yeah. You know, you think, like I thought like all of the field workers work a lot together because we're all
Okay.
field workers. you
Yeah.
know. I had this idea like, oh, we'll probably like, but then I realized, oh no, it's different institutions.
Yeah.
Everyone wants their own project. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't really, like beforehand I thought like everybody is working together and like some people will do seal work now and then other time they'll
You know-
sample some plants or whatever.
I've heard it's like that in some other places because Chris and Michelle were on our team, Chris Jones and Michelle Reese, and they were on a different station in the Seychelles called El Dabra. And there it's like the same. It's like a pool of field workers, and then everyone, like one day you'll work on turtles, one day you'll work on birds, one day you'll work on something else.
Yeah.
And they just have a schedule.
Yeah. It makes sense in a way.
It makes sense, but I like that people like really get into their thing.
That's also true.
Yeah.
It also helps, especially if you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially if you like, you know, you want to concentrate the amount of people who get hurt. So you just make the sealers do all the dangerous things.
That's true. That's true. But you can still get hurt. You can fall easily
Yeah, you can
anywhere.
fall.
That's the problem.
But Marion doesn't have like a lot of cliffs or anything. Like it's actually safe to walk around.
It's quite safe because it's quite soft. The
Yeah.
mossy- the cliffs are quite mossy. So if you fall, you can like slide on the moss or the platinum and you're like, oh, okay, I'm fine.
The only time I felt like real danger, which is a place that you spent a lot of time, was the interior. I just used to go to the interior for fun, but like I didn't have any work there.
Yo, that's very dangerous.
Yeah,
I
the
agree
interior is
with you.
dangerous.
That's
eh?
dangerous.
It's like
Especially if the
mountainous, icy.
wind, if the wind and it's icy.
You can.
I have
you
a
can
lot of
disappear.
experiences there, man. I don't even want to talk about it. There was this one day I almost died in the interior there. Yo,
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk. Like the wind was so bad, I had to crawl, you know.
No,
now you crawl
it's
in
the
the
leopard
snow.
crawling.
Leopard crawl in the snow to get out of there.
Always. Everybody's got this like the stories. So they're like, yeah, and that was the time I almost died.
Yeah.
And people just look at you like, wait, what were you doing?
Yeah,
were you
what
getting
were you
paid
doing?
enough for this?
And you're like, you try to explain to people here what you went through, but tough people can't really understand exactly.
No, it's very difficult to explain to people.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you'll start, like, people will ask, like, what is it like? And you'll, like, explain, like, a small component of, like, your entire experience. And then the conversation's over.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, let's move on to something else. But you can never really express all of it.
No, you can't. I'm trying to express it all to my friends and family, but
It doesn't come through.
It doesn't help.
It's so vastly different to what people do.
Kind of
here.
helps. Like the other day, there was a friend of my dad's who was here, and he was at Marion for takeover.
Really?
So he like
Okay.
understood a little bit of what I was talking about.
Okay.
About the roaring 40s and all that. He knows a little bit at least. So that
It's a
was
different
nice.
world.
Just to have someone who was there, understands a bit more.
It's a dynamic environment.
Yo, it's a weird place.
Anything can happen.
It's a crazy place. Yo,
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
feeling like I miss it now. I miss it really.
Do you miss it?
Yeah.
Did
I
you
miss-
did you miss it? Did you know you were gonna miss it when you left?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like are there like pictures of you looking somber? So like in takeover, Abdul's
Yo,
there, and you're
man.
training him, and you're just like a single tear rolling down your cheek.
Yeah, no, I didn't have my single tear moment, but yo man, I cried when you guys left. Like it was,
No,
it was
man.
emotional for me, man. All these, because you was all these people, and now
Yeah.
everyone's leaving. It was like shit.
Yeah,
It's like
shit.
really sinking in. It's like,
Damn.
oh shit.
Yo.
I got quite emotional when you guys left, but I thought I was gonna get emotional when we left, but
Yeah.
it wasn't that. It was like, yeah, it's sad. It's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, there's the island.
Goodness. That last walk around, that last round island.
Yeah.
Try to take everything in.
Tried to take everything, and I did. You had a very nice round island. The
Nice.
last one. It was like the best one probably.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Was that the one with the new team?
The new team of all the entomologists.
Hell
you know,
yes.
We can speak about.
Finally, something to come
Exactly.
on bugs with.
Exactly, you can speak about the plants and all the bugs. And like the whole year, there was no one really that was speaking
Really?
about plants and bugs. Like there's no experts in
Damn.
it except me, you know.
Yeah, literally.
So it's difficult to like explain to people how cool this moss is or why.
Why doesn't anyone understand?
Yo, guys, this moss has like 13 species living inside of it, you know, of microarthropods, and everyone's like, huh?
13 is actually
Oh.
insane.
That's cool.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I went to the island as a I am a botanist.
You're a botanist.
Yeah, I am a botanist, and then I applied for the Sealer program. And Yentla was actually the person who was like, yeah, we should hire this guy. And afterwards I asked him, I was like, why did you hire me? Like, I'm like the other two had experience, like Dylan had experience with seals, and Tammy is a mammologist who works with elephants. So I was like hectically the outlier, and I was also like younger than them and just out of like my honors.
That doesn't matter.
And I was like, Hitler, why did you hire me? He's like, I think we needed to like spice up the team a little bit.
Spice up the
He's like, we needed somebody with a different perspective.
I get why he says
Oh
that.
my
It
goodness.
kind of helps, ne?
It does help. It
If
does
you
help.
like have different perspectives, especially in that team, the sealer and the killer whaler, because you guys have to work together all the time.
Yeah.
Like there's some times that I didn't really need help or anything, so I can go on my own.
Yeah.
But most of the time I did help Monique, like
Yeah.
catching the mice and all of that.
Okay.
So that was fun.
That's cool.
Actually, that was
Yeah.
real fun. Yeah, we killed a lot of mice, actually. But some
Yeah.
weird shit as well happened with them.
Really?
Yeah, like the mice, like eating each other when
Yeah.
you trap them, and then
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
true.
cannibals, man.
Yeah,
Yo.
they're so weird, hey, because they like, I don't know, mice are, I think mammals are like those things where they adapt so quickly to their environment.
Yes, I'm glad you said that because that's exactly what I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like the birds can't adapt that quickly.
No, they can't adapt that quickly, but mammals
No,
can do whatever
mammals
they want.
can.
Have you noticed how they look on the island? They like the mice, when they die, they're like a normal mouse. But whenever you see them, they're like a ball. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah.
like ball themselves
They
up
pull themselves up to like for the heat.
for heat, and they walk around and move around like that.
I've
so it
seen
looks
that,
like
yeah.
a soot ball moving around.
Yeah.
Like when you see them in that, it looks like a sphere. And it's just because they like ball themselves
Ball
up when they
themselves
walk.
up.
When you see mice here, they look like a normal mouse.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
then they're
crazy.
long, and then they run forward. Like, yeah, I hear what you're saying. That's exactly. I can remember this one time I went, well, not one time, it actually happened twice. I went out for a wee out of the hut with my Crocs, you know, and you stand there, and you just feel this mouse like eating my Crocs. It's like, what the hell? Yo, and I joked the whole year, we don't even need to use peanut butter and oats. You can just put a piece of Croc there in the trap.
They'll come for it.
They'll come for it.
They're like, new flavors.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Oh my goodness. This one time I tried to sleep outside. It was a bad idea. I tried to sleep outside of Rook's hut. And it was in summer, and I was doing a solo round island.
Yeah.
It was like at the time where like the rules were starting to become lax, and they were enforcing the pairs rule. You have to go outside.
Oh, did you
in
guys
pairs.
have pairs rule?
Yeah,
We didn't.
Yeah, I know you guys didn't, and that's
Nobody
like
enforces
that's so
that.
nice. That's so nice. It sounds like Bubele was a nice team leader in regards to that, because Sandile was like enforcing that the whole year.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where we had too much work to do, and I don't know, I like finessed my own solo round island in there somewhere. And I did like an ultra light solo round island, so I took like a 2 kilogram pack. And I did it was actually less than 2 kilograms. I don't remember, I wrote it down in the hut books how much it weighed with the water in it.
Yeah.
And I did like this round island, and when I got to Rooks, I spent the night there. And it was such a hot night, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to sleep outside tonight. I need to like at least sleep outside once.
Yeah, no, it was summer, right?
It was summer, it was nice. So I left like the top hatch of Rooks open because the door splits. I left it open, and I like had some tea, and I could like reach in and get all my stuff. And I stepped in my sleeping bag, and I woke up at like 3 a.m. because I felt something.
Felt something.
I felt something.
What did you feel?
So I opened my eyes, and like coming into my sleeping bag is a mouse, and there's another one waiting there, like in my line of sight.
Oh,
And I like immediately like shot up onto 2 legs, and this mouse went flying out of the sleeping bag.
Yo.
And I was just like, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, they were coming for the heat, obviously.
They were coming for the heat. They were like, let me cozy up with this guy.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
And I went inside. It was like 3 a.m. and I was like, I'm going to sleep inside. And I went onto the wet mattress in Rooks. And I was like, I'm sleeping here tonight.
Yo, that's cool that you slept there at the Rooks.
Oh my
I can remember
goodness.
I also went out at the Rooks with my sleeping bag the one night. Just because it was like a clear night, and it's like just stars, and I was like, awesome.
It's a rare, hey?
Yo, it's nice.
It's actually like
It's
so
quite
rare.
rare, actually.
On Marion, like
You know,
getting nice
super
nights.
clear.
Yeah.
Like super clear, and you don't get that often.
No. The weather is actually like really bad.
Yeah.
Like, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's actually bad. Yeah, like weather here is nothing compared to Marion anymore.
No,
Like
it's
when
actually
I came
crazy.
back, I was like, yo, it's cock hot. But it's like winter here in the Cape. My mother is freezing here. I'm like, yeah, why are you freezing?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the day you guys got back and came to East Pier, I came to the ship, but I got there at like, I don't know, like 8:30 or something, and a lot of guys had already left. So Dylan was there, Peter was there, Vanessa, and Rhiannon.
Yeah, it was probably just when I left, because
It must have been. It must have been.
I think all of them were still there when I left.
Yeah. And I also saw Daniel. Yeah, I got there, and that same day we got a message. So like, there's this new like initiative to vaccinate all of the vagrant elephant seals for rabies that come up onto like the mainland. Yeah, because they don't want like the elephant seals to come up here and like interact with the rabid fur seals.
Oh my goodness.
Because that's a thing now. Fur seals.
Yeah, the
fur
fur
seals,
seals, Cape fur seals have rabies.
they have rabies. They properly have rabies. And it's
Like,
like,
have you seen it?
I've seen it before. They look crazy. They like swim with their head above the water because they get hydrophobic. Yeah, it's crazy. It's wild that only their nose gets like hydrophobic. That's why they don't swim with their head.
Where did it come from? Do you know?
I don't know, but it's the first case of rabies in a marine mammal. So it's like
Jeez.
zoonotic. Maybe it came from like I don't know. It could have like, what other rabid animal interacts with a seal? Maybe a dog. I don't
Maybe
know.
a dog, actually.
Maybe a dog.
That's actually a good point.
That's
like
crazy,
on the
eh?
beaches, like
In like
feral
Hout
dogs.
Bay or something.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know. But now these like
Animals
fur
do weird
seals,
shit.
they do weird shit. They do weird shit. And obviously seals bite each other a lot, so it spreads
Yes.
really quickly with the fur seals. But there hasn't been an elephant seal with rabies yet, and they don't know if it can go to the elephant seals from the fur seals. So every time an elephant seal comes up onto the mainland, which has been happening more frequently.
Yeah, it's been happening a lot.
A lot.
I've seen it in the news on Marion when we were there. There was some seals coming up.
Wild. So the
Yeah.
Two Oceans Aquarium does the thing where they have this rabies vaccine and they go out and they vaccinate these seals. And the day you guys arrived, there was a seal in
the
Gordon's
seals.
Bay.
Yeah, oh, Gordy.
Gordy. Yeah, Gordy.
Yeah, I was speaking of Yentler about it. It was kak fun.
Oh my goodness.
It's like
Gordy's
everybody was
hilarious.
asking me, why did you guys bring the seal? Oh, everybody probably got that question.
Oh my goodness, it is so funny. And then Dylan came with us to go and like subdue the seal. And it was such a windy and cold day in Gordon's Bay, and all of us were like shivering, and Dylan's just standing there like in his t-shirt.
Yeah,
He's like,
of course, yeah.
it's fine. With his sealer stick, I'm like, you haven't left, man.
No.
You're still there.
He doesn't give a
Yeah, and
shit.
he has this buff around his head, his M81 buff.
What a legend that guy. It's like your
Oh,
body
goodness.
adapts.
Your
like
body
to
does
your-
adapt.
To the environment. Like,
I see you kept the beard.
Yeah.
The beard looks good on you.
Yeah, I
You have a
also like
nice
the
full
beard.
beard.
It really helped.
It helped.
It helped with the cold. But like I can feel my body is starting to adapt to the Cape weather now.
Yeah.
Starting to get there.
Yeah.
But like the other day I was walking in the mountains there at Banuk. I don't know if
Okay,
you
yeah,
know what
yeah,
Banuk is.
yeah.
And it was like raining. It was Monday. It was raining up there. But I was just like walking like, Usually I would like freeze. Like I would freeze in this weather. But yeah,
Why
I'm,
am I
just,
outside?
I'm like soaking wet. I'm like, this is okay. This is nothing.
Oh my
It's like
goodness.
crazy how you like evolved.
It's crazy. Devolved. We
Or
used to say-
devolved.
yeah, we used to
Devolved.
say like we're devolving. Especially when you start not minding being like so dirty.
Yeah.
Like you just like get covered in like penguin shit.
Yeah, you don't give a shit.
And then you start eating your lunch. I remember
Yeah.
Kyle, like we used to go elephant seal weighing. And then Kyle would like sit with us afterwards and we'd be like drinking Milo and like dipping the rusks in and your
Yeah.
fingers are getting wet with the rusks.
Like all that shit.
Kyle's like, you guys have devolved. You guys have gone like backwards.
Yeah, like at the start you were like, oh fuck, I'm full of shit. And then later on, you don't give a shit anymore.
Oh my goodness. We just used to take like every like, it started off every like 2 months or 3 months we would take deworming pills. And then it
Oh,
became
really?
like, yeah, and then it became like like in breeding season, it was like every 2 weeks we would like
Is
go
that a
and,
thing? Can you get worms? I don't even
Yeah.
know about that, man.
yo, those
Shit,
elephant
maybe I have
seals,
worms.
those elephant seals are so gross, man. They're so gross. And when you look, like, they're full of tapeworms and they're full of parasites. And
Have you seen the parasite?
I've seen lots of parasites. It
Oh.
happens like all the time. They're like
I never saw
tapeworms
parasite.
everywhere. You're like walking on the beach and there's like
Oh, that's
tape.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And you look at that and you're like, look at your hands and you're like, bruh,
and
I just had my
working
lunch.
with- Yeah, you just had your lunch.
The worst is like you're having your lunch and you're like halfway through your sandwich, and then you look at your hands and you're still wearing your gloves and you're like, what am I doing? How did I get here?
Yeah.
Oh
But
my
anyway, to go
goodness.
back to Gordy, because I want to ask you, did you guys give it a rabies shot or?
Yeah, so
You
Gordy,
did?
yeah, Gordy got a rabies shot.
Oh.
So all the elephant seals that come up here, they get a rabies shot and then they get these new, like, I don't know if they're new. They
Is it
might
like trackers?
no, they're just like these new CPT blue tags.
Oh,
They're like these identified tags, and they're specifically for elephant seals that have been vaccinated for rabies.
Okay.
So any elephant seal that hauls up, there's a group chat that like forwards things from like Facebook and stuff, and they're like,
Yeah, I've seen some of
there
them.
was an elephant seal in
I think
Hart
there
Bay
was
today.
one at Plate as well. But I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it's the same one. It could be the same one.
So there was one in Mossel Bay recently that Greg Hoffmeyer went and tagged. The legend Greg Hoffmeyer,
What a legend.
second most decorated sealer.
Yeah. This guy's a legend.
He went and tagged that one, and then there was one in Claremont, and there was a few like on the peninsula. They've been popping up everywhere. I think we've like tagged like maybe 6 of them by now. I think I've tagged like 6. I think there's a few more that they tagged down on the south coast. But yeah, it looks like they just haul up everywhere. Like
I wonder
all.
why.
It's
Like-
strange. It's strange, and it's the most records of elephant seals on the mainland in like the last however long people have been recording this. for.
Recording, oh.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
and it's all age groups. We've seen weaners, like basically under yearlings, so ones that were born like last year in October. We've seen adult females, subadult males.
Could it be that like there's more seals now? Like the numbers are just increasing.
That's what Jensler thinks.
increasing.
Jensler
and now
thinks that,
they're
yeah.
looking for more hunting grounds or environment to chill.
Yeah, so Jensler thinks that the Prince Edward Islands are like reaching carrying capacity for elephant seals, which is crazy because the carrying capacity has dropped like 80% from what it used to be.
From what it used to be.
Yeah, it used to be like, I don't
But
know.
it's increased a lot now.
It's increased a lot. It's increased a lot. I'm sure sure your sealers were having a hard time.
Yeah. All those lemon browns, man.
Yo, those lemon browns. Were they struggling with our lemon browns?
Yo, they were running in the water all the time.
The lemon shits.
I went to help a lot with the census, and then those buggers. Every time you come close to them, they just run, and then you have to like just hopefully see that tag.
We traumatized those lemon browns.
Yeah, but I think that's normal.
That's normal. Yo, we were hoing tags in them, and the thing is, like wherever they were, we would go and find them because we were trying. But like I don't know. At some point, you build these characters in your head because you get these relationships with all the past sealers through their seals.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, Tavis tagged this guy.
That's cool.
Tavis Dodson tagged this one.
That's what's so cool about it. Everybody, all the sealers say that. They would just want to come back to see their babies.
Literally. You're like, oh, I know this guy. Liesel tagged this guy. Or Yintla. Every cohort, it's like, yeah, Yintla tagged this one. This is why this animal's so angry at us.
Yintla tagged this one. It's angry. Those pinks. So what are they?
But you want to get more, you want to, like, you get competitive because you're like, I want to do better than these guys.
Yeah.
So anytime you see a seal in a precarious situation and you're like, you're wet and you're soaked and you're tired, you just came over Karoo earlier that day and you're down at Water Tunnel and there's an animal that's in the water there, in like waist deep water, and it's like swimming around and it's an untagged wiener, and you're like, if I was a little bit weaker, I would walk away. But I'm going in the water.
Yeah, you're going to get this guy.
I'm going to get this one number.
Commitment. No, that makes sense. Yeah, the sealers are very competitive with each other. And it's not just with the other teams, it's with each other in the field as well. It's like all the time. It's like, I never understood it. I was standing there and then they like try and find as many seals and see who can do the beaches faster than the other ones.
That's a real one. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. It's like we were so aware of it when we were doing it because we were like, this program is so well designed because there's no one that's like overseeing us, but we'll go the extra mile for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason.
We're like self-regulating our own standards. Like our data is so high quality because all of us are just like trying our hardest and pushing our bodies to the limits and then going like extra
but
after
it's fun,
that. It's fun.
That's the thing.
It's
It's
fun.
nice to challenge yourself.
It's
like,
really
that's
nice.
what I found. Like that's why I also challenged myself and just did
Yeah.
like more work than I had to do.
Yeah, you catalogued all the masters.
Yeah,
right?
I tried.
That's
I tried.
crazy.
I
No one's
couldn't-
ever done that before.
I know, and it's difficult.
It must be. It must
And
be.
I have no like any sources or anything to look at what the species they are. So I need to go speak to what's that guy at
Terry
UCT?
Hedison.
Terry.
Yeah, you need to go to Terry Hedison.
I need to go speak with him.
You can go to the bolus. He has a huge collection. They had to extend the bolus because he added so many mass specimens in there.
Wow.
They have like cabinets now outside the
I
building.
would love to see that.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice.
I
The
never
bolus
thought I
has a
was
nice
going to go
collection.
into moss, but now it was like so fascinating for me because, like, you're a botanist as well, and you walk and you can see like patterns. You can see the one moss, Raccometrium, it grows
Yeah,
on like
it goes
drier
everywhere.
slopes.
Yes.
Everywhere. And then
Yeah.
you get like Sycomnion, you can see that's on the wetter,
Yeah.
more moist.
Yeah.
So you see like stuff like that, and then you see like some of the liverworts that only grow under rocks.
And
other
like in
ones,
like nitrogen-rich areas.
yeah,
near the penguin
nitrogen,
colonies.
exactly, nitrogen-rich areas.
That
like
stuff
the
is weird.
Mercantia, that thing.
What is the genus of the liverworts? Is there
there's a lot
radula
of
on the island?
genuses. There's a lot.
Okay.
There's a lot of liverworts.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you
Like
find
the
radula? Anything?
Radula?
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's a radula. I'm not sure. The problem is like the names changed a lot.
Okay.
Like I saw Jamesoniella, that's like a liverwort in the
Yeah.
mire. I saw its name changed to something else. And I was like, oh shit. Now you like teach everyone new that's coming to the island all these names, and the names all change. It's like Coachella actually is a Leptinella now.
No, it's not
Cot-
cotula.
It's not Coachella anymore. It's
Yo.
Leptinella.
Leptinella.
Limosa.
Everyone was just like,
Coachella. That's the Coachella field.
yeah, you just walk,
And it's a
walk down
nice
to
name,
the
man.
Coachellas.
It's a lekker thing to say.
Leptinella. That's wild. It's a daisy, hey?
Yeah.
That's wild. We get cockchatas here, and they smell the same.
Yeah, they smell the same.
Yeah,
smell
they have
sweet.
that honey smell.
Yeah, it's a nice smell.
It's a
That's the
really-
one smell I really enjoyed on the island.
Yeah,
When the
you-
coachella.
There's not a lot of smells on the island, hey?
No,
Except for like bad smells.
bad
there's like
smells.
shit
Pregnant
and there's
shit,
coachella.
elephant, seals, shit. And then that smell that comes from the rocks. Did you smell that?
Yes, the like
When you smash
spicy
it.
one.
Yeah, when you smash it.
Yeah, the
Smells
grey
like-
lava.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It smells like a deodorant, man.
It's good, right? It's good. The first time I smelled it, and it was like a hot day, and I was going over Stony Ridge,
Yeah, and then you break the
and you
rocks.
break it, and you're like, what's that like spicy
Someone
smell?
behind me here. It's like, what the hell? Where is this coming from?
Because there's only that many smells there.
Exactly.
And you don't smell, have you noticed that you don't smell the ocean?
no, you don't.
You like walk right up to the
days,
ocean.
it's like some days you smell it.
But you
not
don't
really.
you don't smell the ocean, you don't smell like that hot, like tropical smell.
Yeah.
You only smell shit and then like the flowers, the cochila blooming.
cochila.
And that's when you're walking on the cochila, then you can smell that honey smell.
With the
Nothing
albatross
else.
shit, that's a little bit different. Different smell.
That's a
The
different-
vomit smell.
But you can't smell like you don't get that like early morning smell or anything. I don't know why. It's like so cold that your nose stops working.
Yeah, I think so. It's probably, obviously it's not a lot of smells, but yeah, your nose also gets blocked all the time when you flip and walk.
That's crazy that you also smelled the grey lava.
Yeah, a lot
Because
of
we
people
thought we were
did.
going crazy.
No, it's like a thing in the rock. It's like a substance coming out. I wonder what it is. I want to research that. I don't
Chris
know.
thought that it was gases that were trapped in the rock, like volcanic gases.
It could be.
Because he was saying that he had this
It really
idea
could be.
to like take rocks from Marion and replace all the rocks in the sauna.
That would be interesting.
but then like he was like, oh no, but like these like rocks have like noxious gases trapped inside of them, and if you put them in the sauna, they can break and the gases can come out, and you'll
you
just
don't know
find
what,
people
you
like
don't know what gas it is.
yeah, you don't know what it is. You'll just find people knocked out in the sauna.
Your geologist will probably laugh at us now. When they hear this.
They're like, no, don't put the black lava.
Don't do that.
Oh my
But
goodness.
I actually smelled that smell on the black rock as well.
Really?
Some of the
Really?
black rocks
Maybe
broke.
it is gases there.
So I think so. I'm not sure what it is.
Because it like and then we just started breaking them. We were just like, especially
Yeah, I also did it. Over long region, you just break all those things.
and also Tafelkop, the one like behind Juniors.
Oh yeah, Tafelberg. Yeah.
Tafelberg,
Yeah.
breaking all the rocks there, trying to like
Yo,
any
that's
grey
a-
lava.
That's a big grey lava section.
That's a big grey lava section.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only a few of them, and they're weird. Hey, it's like these big tiles and everything, and they're quite scary to walk when it's rainy.
Yeah, it's slippery.
It's slippery and it's like
Slippery.
covered in moss and everything. But it's a cool little way up to get up to Cathedral.
It's just weird for me when you walk there and you like lift a rock. 'Cause I had to lift a lot of rocks to find spiders and stuff in Kalimbala. But you just like expect a snake. Like, like this rock is so flat and perfect. Yo, that's a cozy spot for a snake. You lift it, ah, fuck. Not even a
one day I'm
spider,
gonna find one.
nothing. There's nothing there.
That's the one really nice thing about Marion. There's no ticks. There's no mosquitoes.
There's no mosquitoes.
There's no flies.
Well, there's flies on the beaches.
Yeah, there's
but
flies
they
on the
don't really come
beaches.
sit on you now.
Yeah,
It's only that
yeah.
one invasive blowfly they had Kildalki
Yeah.
that comes sits on you. Really.
That like chill. All of them chill in the hut.
Yeah.
The huts are like a hotspot for
Yeah.
invasives.
But they
eh?
chill at Sealer's Cave as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen them there.
They're there. But Sealer's Cave. Have you read Fore and Aft?
No, I haven't.
Yo,
What is that?
we had an obsession in our year on Fore and Aft. So it's this book that this guy wrote under the moniker Webfoot, which is such a good moniker. Because obviously all the birds in Marion, except for the paddies, have webfoots.
Yeah.
And he was like a real sealer, like a real like a clubbing
he killed
seals. He killed
seals.
seals, and he was an American, and he must have been on Marion in like the 18th century, but he was a sealer. He was like a career sealer, and he went to all of these different places in his lifetime. But he spent 4 years on Marion. And he
Hunting
wrote-
seals?
Hunting seals.
And he wrote about it.
And
Oh,
he wrote
that's so
about
cool.
And it's crazy. It's
Where did
insane.
you get that book?
It's on the Sealer computer.
Oh, really?
It's on the Sealer computer. But I think like read it now that you're back. Because the crazy thing about that book is you read all of these things, and then so he lived in Sealer's Cave. They all lived in Sealer's Cave. They got dropped off by this boat with all of these wooden casks,
Wow.
and they dropped them off at Sealer's Cave, and they built a settlement there. And
Did they cover the whole cave with like wood?
yeah,
and
so
stuff?
like the inside of the caves, they like built like they had like a mess where they like cooked stuff and then eat. The captain had his quarters, and then they had like communal quarters, and then they had a tripod there as well.
Yeah.
They had everything, and they had big casks, and everyone had like a skillet.
But they probably ate seals.
They ate, he explains everything. He explains everything, and it is the craziest thing ever because it's a whole different way of seeing the island. They utilize the island in a completely different way to how we were, and you can go there and you can still find like his stuff there. There's a story in the book. So surprisingly, they didn't drink. They just smoked a lot of tobacco.
Okay.
He says in the book, there's no way to survive on the island without the weed.
Without the weed.
Without the weed.
But it's obviously tobacco.
But it's obviously tobacco.
Oh, maybe it's weed. You never know.
No, it was definitely tobacco because they used to make pipes out of elephant seal teeth.
Oh, that's interesting.
Crazy. Hey? And the bore in with a wallaby bone. They would take like a wallaby bone, and obviously bird bones are hollow, and they would put the bone in the elephant seal tooth and put the tobacco in there and light it up and smoke and be merry.
Shit.
But they didn't have alcohol, they didn't drink, but they had alcohol in a store. They had a storeroom in Sealer's Cave. And there's a story about how one of the sailors was like being a bit suspicious and like not really doing his job. They were very militant. They had like working hours, they had Sundays off.
Yeah.
The Sabbath was off.
Sabbath.
Yeah. Yeah, they worked 6 days a week from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. They like clocked in, they like had
so the people just dropped them then? They stay there, and then obviously they came back for the oil or what?
They came back for the oil, but it was so the way that they came back was quite wild. They were left there for a nondescript amount of time.
So they didn't know how long.
And they didn't know. But there's a whole other thing with that. The sealers were actually, they loved the island. Like Webfoot writes in his book that the island was a paradise.
Yeah.
Because compared to the ship where they got rations.
Yeah.
And there's a story in the book about how they were on the ship and somebody went overboard and they weren't going to save him. He like went overboard. And as soon as everybody realized that they weren't going to save him, everyone went to his room and started going for his rations. Wow. So it was like a cutthroat environment. So when they got to the island, they had plentiful meat. They could like go and like knock a wallaby over their head. They could go and like get gentoo eggs.
They probably ate the cabbage as well.
They ate everything. They said their pockets were always full of gentoo eggs, hard-boiled gentoo eggs. Because and in the book, they say the most numerous penguin on the island were the gentoos. Crazy, right?
Yo, I can't
fields and
believe
fields. He says that they would like carry sticks with them to like move through the gentoo fields because you couldn't walk on the island. That whole area.
There's not a lot of gentoos.
There's not a lot of gentoos on Marion now. But it's because they're so easily disturbed. Yeah. And because those guys were basically every single day eating
gentoos.
They were just like eating, they were harvesting eggs. They would go and like obviously gentoos lay these 2 eggs and they found that they can lay a third one if you break one. So if you go through the field and if you break one of each egg, the next day there'll be freshly laid eggs in all of the nests and you can go and pick those freshly laid eggs.
This sounds like a very cool book. I love books like that.
It's crazy.
It's like a journal of the history.
So going back to the guy who was drinking the alcohol, he was acting a bit suspicious and then they found out that he had like a bottle of rum and he was stashing it in the cave. He was hiding it and he was like drinking from this rum. And then they found out about it and they confronted him and they were like, you can't do this, whatever. And Niku went into Sealer's Cave and found the bottle.
Oh, really?
The bottle's there.
The exact bottle.
Of rum bottle. So it's like, I'm pretty sure it is that bottle. It has to be.
Wow.
And it's like an old bottle of rum and it's broken in half now, but like all of that stuff is there. And then if you go up to the top, they said that when they stayed there for a long time, they stayed there for a few years, and all of their wooden barrels were full of oil at this point. They had killed enough seals and boiled them and gotten all the oil that they needed, and they were waiting to be relieved.
Yeah.
But they didn't know when these people were going to come, so they started building a lookout on top of Sealer's Cave, out of stones.
Oh yeah, that's that lookout.
But
that
it's
lookout
there.
Is still there.
It's there.
It's still there.
But you see, it's broken. They never finished it. In the book, they said that they got tired of it. And they got tired of it. Yeah, and they didn't finish it.
Wow. So that's why there's a lookout.
There's a lookout there.
No.
And then I don't know.
I was always wondering, why is that there?
Why is that there?
Someone just built it for fun.
They were staying there and they wanted to like put people on shifts to sit up there to look at the ocean.
Wow.
And I don't know if you also noticed at Sealer's Cave, there's a grave. There's like a pile of rocks.
No, I haven't.
It looks
seen
like a stone grave.
I don't go there that much. I was only there like 3 times.
Yeah, it makes sense. But there's a little like grave there, and it's like on the edge. And there's stories about how a ship came and visited them while they were on the island and gave them a dog and a cat.
Oh wow,
and
that's sweet.
and the cat immediately went feral. And they said
Obviously.
that sometimes they would see the cat inland, like skulking around. But the dog was very like loyal to them. And the
Yeah.
dog used to help them catch white chins and stuff like that. You would run into the burrows and pull the white chins
Yeah.
out, and then they could like get the white chins. One day the dog went and was chasing a white chin and ran off the cliff. So the dog fell down and
Broke
died.
it. Oh, it died.
Yeah, it died. And they buried the dog at the top of the cliff in a stone grave. Wow. So you can walk and see the dog's grave. It's still there.
Crazy shit. That's so cool. How
It's
many people
wild.
were there? Do you know?
I think they had like 20 people, but then 2 of them died.
Yo.
Yeah, 2 of them died. Some people went, so they had paddle boats. And they used to paddle over to Kildalkey and then go and like club a bunch of seals. And then they would walk, or they were a lot of the like the blubber, they would walk over from Kildalkey over to Sealer's Cave. And one day they were like going out with this paddle boat, and they got caught in some hectic waves and it smashed against the cliffs, and some of them died.
Sure.
Yeah, crazy. The book is insane. The
That
book is
sounds
insane.
so cool.
Highly recommend. Because
Yeah.
it was a wild experience reading that. They lived a completely different
What's
lifestyle.
cool about it, you've been there now, and you
Exactly.
like like felt it, and you can actually feel how it had to be. Like,
It's crazy.
just imagine you don't have like proper gear. You have to like what did they
Yo.
wear? Did they wear the seal fur?
Yeah, so
Fur
they
seals.
he like explains how like how they made their clothing, and for shoes on Marion is so important. Like the gumboots become like a very synonymous
Yes,
part of a
yes.
field assistant's
Yes,
life.
definitely.
You're like, I need these gumboots to move around this island. Like there's no other thing. There's nothing else that will work.
Otherwise, your
It's a
feet's
swamp.
just gonna be wet all the time.
They're gonna be wet all the time. Like you
And sometimes it is still wet.
they are wet all the time anyway.
That's
That's true. They are just,
Water always somehow gets in there.
and it doesn't get out. It's a
Or you
gumboot.
get a hole later on, and you're like,
Yo.
oh, for fuck's
How many
sake.
pairs did you go through?
Yo, I was on my 7th.
You on your 7th?
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone is like, yeah, 7 pairs.
They only gave me 4.
They gave you 4?
They only gave me 4 pairs.
Yo.
And the one pair was really shit. And it was
They
like,
gave us 8.
you guys got 8.
Field assistants got 8 and base personnel got 4.
I only got 4.
I came back.
But
with
at least
7 pairs.
there was extra ones from the sealers. actually.
Yeah, really.
At the mammal lab that I got. And they were the best
Yes.
gumboots. They were really
Yes.
nice. They were like different ones. And they were the best. Like
Were they the muck boots?
No, they weren't muck
They were
boots, but They
Waynes.
were like old ecology boots.
Okay, older
Like-
goalies, yeah, those
yeah,
are nice.
Those
Those
ones
are
were
nice.
nice.
Those are nice. I used to
I
wear the
brought a
Wayne
pair back
Clippers.
because it's just like for memory, like
Yeah.
the best pair.
The best.
There's a hole in it, but it's alright. That one was the nicest one.
Oh my goodness. I went there with all my gumboots, and then I was like, there's gumboots in this base, dude. And every time my gumboots like broke or something, I would just like go into the birder store and like look around,
Yeah.
grab a pair.
But you know those gumboots with the those orange on the side?
So shit.
Yeah, the shit.
So cucked,
This
man.
one time my goalie boots
cute
went and I
boots.
was like, oh shit, I don't have any boots on me now. Ugh, let's just wear these cuck ones.
Yeah.
And I walked to grade it. Yeah, my feet was fucked. I had to like put moss in. I put moss in my socks, yeah?
Yeah,
At the
but it
bottom
was-
of my ankle. Like, because it was just like, feeding into my skin there.
Those
like,
boots are so hard.
It was hard.
They're hard, and your foot needs to like
Move
move over
around.
those rocks and everything. And your foot moves, but the boot doesn't move.
Yeah, the boot doesn't move. Yeah, it was awful. But those boots, I think, are for other purposes. They're not for
No.
walking, man.
No, they're not for walking.
They're for like,
working in a factory or
Yeah,
something.
in
With
a
flat
factory.
floors,
Yeah.
staircase, you
yeah,
know.
exactly.
Surprisingly, I do wear those boots now, though. When I go
Really?
into the field, I
Oh,
do wear
really?
those boots. I have some goalies, but I don't
No,
know.
I don't like those boots.
Those boots are shit. I wore them on my first round out, and they sliced me up. It's horrible. And when you get like injuries on your feet, you end up just like wrapping up everything for weeks after that.
I was fortunate enough I didn't get any injuries on my feet the whole
good.
year.
Yo,
Like my feet were quite hard before I came.
Yeah,
because
that's good.
Before I came, I was working on the farm.
Okay.
And I was
okay.
actually wearing gumboots already.
Okay, nice.
So I was like, my feet were ready for this.
The calluses were already
Yeah, it
built
was
up.
already built up. But now it's like, it's thick now. All the
Oh my
calluses,
goodness. Yeah, it's true. Your feet change. Hey?
Yeah, my feet changed a lot.
From walking so much.
There's like weird bumps on it. Like,
Yeah.
where did
No,
this
there
bumps
are.
come
There
from?
are. Like that's the one thing that like I think you can't like emphasize enough is the amount of walking
Yeah,
you do on
you
the
can't.
road. It's crazy.
It is
It's crazy.
crazy.
It's like unlike anything. Like no one really understands what that means. It's like the only way to get places is by walking, and you
It's
have to walk
fun.
everywhere. It's really fun.
Yeah, you have so much time to think about stuff.
Yo.
Later on, it was like lonely for me. I don't know
Really,
if you
was it?
experienced it.
Yeah.
If you walked alone a lot, you walk like for, I don't know, you just walk to Proteas, for instance, and you work along the way or whatever. But you're like, yo, I feel like there's no sound, there's nothing. You know, if it's not, there's no wind. If there's no wind, it's like flipping quiet, man.
It's quiet.
It's like you don't hear anything.
You start
like,
talking
yo,
to the birds.
you're
yourself.
talking to yourself, or you put on. Sometimes I put like on a podcast and I put it in my pocket, you know.
So
with
it's
the Bluetooth.
playing out.
It's playing out, and I just listen to someone speaking at least. It's like, yo, it's like quiet. It's weird.
Yeah. You're working by yourself. Working by yourself it's like a blessing and a curse, you know.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's
agree.
really like you get a lot of time to ruminate, and you get a lot of time to like think about things,
Yeah.
and you get a lot of, I don't know, it's like very introspective, but yeah, it can get lonely. It can
Yeah,
get
it
lonely.
can.
There's days where I'm like, I wish there was like more people around. I wish there was somebody I could talk to.
Yeah. It's just weird, man. Anyway, I want to go back to the shoes, because we were speaking about the shoes from the sealers.
Yo.
What did they use for?
So the way they explained it, so they were living off elephant seals, and like they were living off elephant seals. So the most important thing like a guy would say he would carry a knife, tinder to start a fire because everything's wet, a flint, and a skillet. And that's everything you needed to survive on the island, which is completely different to the list that we would think of nowadays. But what they did was, they like everything was based on elephant seals. And when you read the book, it's crazy. Like when he tells a story, there's a story of him walking across Santa Rosa Valley. And he talks about like these endless cinder fields. And like this like blackened cinder field that was like a big deal for him because it was very difficult to cross. So what they did was, there's a story in the book where he walks from Sealer's Cave. They walk straight inland, and they go to the other side, and they go to the west side of the island. And when they get to the west side of the island, they describe like Swartkorps. They describe like this big like open area where there's lots of seals and everything. And they spent the whole day just like clubbing seals and collecting pelts from fur seals. They would collect pelts from fur seals, and then they would collect the blubber from the elephant seals. And they say like,
did they use the blubber to burn for heat? Or
Yeah.
What did they use for heat?
It was crazy. It was insane. So what they would do is he would say like, we got to like a place where we wanted to rest, and we would club an elephant. We would club an elephant, and they would like cut the blubber and use the blubber to start the fire. And then they would take the skillet and put the blubber in the skillet, and they almost exclusively from the elephant seals, they would eat the tongues and the liver.
Wow.
That was like the things that they ate. They got like really efficient at like getting the tongue and the liver out of an elephant seal.
Obviously, it's difficult.
Yeah,
I
they said
can't
that they
feel
were
that's an
eating
easy
like
job.
each man was eating an average of 3 pounds of meat a day.
Sure.
Yeah, they were chowing these animals. They were just chowing these animals. So they would start a fire with the blubber, put the blubber in the
Well,
skillet.
it makes sense. You're outside. You're in the cold.
You're in the cold.
all the time. So
We were
you're gonna
eating a
have
lot.
To eat a lot.
Yeah. I don't know how many calories, like if you like...
Yeah, you eat a lot.
You eat a lot, hey? You
You
eat a lot. Like there were some days when like Dylan and I were like, we genuinely like consistently eat like 5,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
Like it's
I'll believe
crazy.
you.
We're just chowing though. We were eating a Hobbit meal.
Like when you come back for dinner or whatever, everybody's plates are like, just like a mountain of food. Usually.
And then afterwards you go for ice cream.
Yeah.
You whip out that ice cream. Bro. Everyone's like, scoops, bring those things around. You put Milo on top of the ice cream, crush some tennis biscuits, put it on top there. Some people are eating Pronutro after dinner. I'm like, yo, guys, we are really like filling up on these calories.
And you need it, man.
You need it. You need it. There's
it.
always a flask full of Milo, and there's a bag of rusks in my bag, or a sleeve of Itzamos. And we're walking around and then do a few beaches and be like, okay, let's have some Milo and some Itzamos.
Yo, but how did they club the elephants? Did they just whack them on the head?
They just whack them on the head.
Like,
They just
super
whack 'em-
hard,
They just
isn't it?
whack them in the head. So they would keep like a little club with them. And if you can walk up to an elephant seal, and obviously they will resist you, but you can get very close to them. So if you get close to them and just like knock them on the head, then they die.
Crazy.
And then you go and you like cut them up. And then they would they would club an elephant and then cook the tongue and the liver in its own fat, burnt on a fire of its own fat. And then they had a method of like taking the skin off, and they called it the green leather of the elephant. because it is like green. Their skin is like a little bit like, it's like that browny, greeny color.
Yeah.
And they had a thing where there's like certain parts of the elephant seal, like the flippers. They would take the flippers, or they would take like certain portions of the elephant seal and take the skin off and tie moccasins filled with straw. So they would lay out the green, the fresh leather, not even tanned or anything, fill it up with moss, and then tie it around their feet. And then they would walk, and then when it literally says, like it says in the book, like they would walk, and then they were like, oh, our moccasins, like they would walk over the Santa Rosa Valley, and they're like, oh, our moccasins were ripping, so we clubbed an elephant and made new ones. Like everything, they were just remorseless. Like that was a resource for them. That was like, it was like going into your bag and like grabbing like a snack or something. They were like, oh, here's an elephant seal. Like nothing's stopping me from like knocking this guy off the head, taking what I need and leaving the rest, and just carrying on. We'll see another one just now.
Amazing. That's crazy.
And then they would use the whole elephant seal body. They would skin the whole thing and flip it inside out and use the flipper holes as well and use that as a sleeping bag.
Sleeping bag.
Yeah. And they would like sleep in there.
Yeah,
and it was warm.
It would be very warm.
It would be very warm. And the blubber, they would keep the blubber on.
They'll probably
outside.
have warmer nights than some of our nights. We had
Literally.
in the hut because
Literally.
we don't put on the heater and we have those crappy sleeping bags. Fucking moldy shit.
Yeah, that's moldy. I don't know if the smell of an elephant seal would be something I want to go to sleep to. But these guys, like Webfoot, what is his name? His name was, who's that famous swimmer?
Which one?
Phelps.
Oh, Phelps. Michael Phelps.
Yeah, Michael Phelps. This guy's name was like something Phelps.
Okay.
I forgot his name, but like, but he would basically, he would explain how living on the island was a paradise for them because they had so much meat.
Yeah,
they
if
would
you compare it to
warm.
the livelihood on the ship.
Yeah,
Probably way better. 'Cause now you have like freedom to go and hunt, whatever, eat what you want.
They
it's
said
like lawless in a way.
it was lawless. It was lawless. They said that they ate basically every animal on the island. When they would have like a roster of different things.
Yeah,
and
they will like try everything probably.
they tried everything, and they had recipes. They had things that certain people liked. Certain people liked more. Some people liked eating wallabies more. Some people liked eating penguins. Some people liked eating elephant seal tongues and livers.
Anything about the mice?
So they brought the mice on the island. They brought the mice on the island for sure. It was maybe not. Well, it was. I don't think it was that exact crew.
It might be a different cruise.
It might be a different group, but there were a lot of people definitely coming to the island. There's even a story in the book about how they encountered shipwreckers.
Wow.
So there was a ship that wrecked on Prince Edward, and then they were like, okay, let's go to the big island because they had rowboats. They rowed onto the big island, and then they bumped into these sealers. They come up and they see a hut. They're like, who's living here? Something like that. And then the sealers start coming back from their day's work, bump into each other. They're like, oh my goodness, you guys are shipwreckers.
Yeah.
But they described the mice on the island as a nuisance. They were being annoyed by the mice because the mice would get into their huts. Nothing else. If there weren't mice there, like you wouldn't have something to bother you. Like the paddies are like the most bothersome thing.
Yeah, but they don't bother you at night time.
They don't come into your house and crawl under your door and like get into your elephant seal sleeping bag. Yeah, so they described the mice as a nuisance, and they said that they would flip over like a boat or something. Mice would come out everywhere, and they would be a nuisance, and they would try and like kill as many mice as possible.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was their doing. It was their doing. These gross sealers were like bringing these animals onto the island.
Yeah, that's a crazy story.
It's wild. Highly recommend reading Fore and Aft.
What did you say? Fore and Aft?
Fore and Aft.
Fore and Aft.
Fore and Aft.
Yo, I need to read that.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's wild. It's wild. And being on the island, it was crazy reading these stories and then going to the places. And you sort of like see, we were sort of like unfolding this mystery for us because they talk about these places and you like look for them and they're like, there was a cave that we went that on the south side of the island where we sought refuge because when they were waiting for somebody to come to the island to fetch them, they were waiting for a long time and they had like free time. So they split the island up into quarters and they put 2 people on each quarter of the island to just like look out, and they explain like where each person was staying. Yeah. And we would walk around the island and we were like, there's a cave here. It looks like somebody lived here. There's a pile of rocks, like building, like somebody built up a pile of rocks.
Yeah, there's
a
lot of places like that.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're like, maybe those guys in that book were living here when they were waiting for the ship to come release them.
Many caves with like piles of rocks.
Right.
You know that one above Rooks?
Above Rooks.
That one.
Somebody
that's
was living there.
Someone must have been
Somebody
living
must
there.
have been living
That's
there.
a nice one to live
That's a
in.
really nice one.
There's
And
no
I think
wind in that one.
I think that's the one because they said that they had somebody on the south, somebody on the north, somebody on the east, somebody on the west, and that's on the south side of the island. So like I think like that's where you would
And
stay if
have
you
a
want to look out
nice-
the ocean.
You can have a nice lookout there.
Yeah, like that's
out.
one of the ones that I genuinely think those people in the book were living.
I would have lived there.
I would have lived there. It looks nice,
If I
eh?
was walking there, like, seeing this place, hey, look, yeah, it's a nice cave.
And it's crazy. It's like a lava tube, and the roof is the entrance.
It's the
And then you
entrance.
come in, and then there's like caves in there.
Yeah.
That
that's
was
very
wild.
cool.
That was wild. Rook's Cave is a really shit place to live. Down there, it's moist. There's rockies.
But then
walking.
I also thought another thing, it might have been the cat hunters as well.
Might have been the cat hunters as well.
Because you
They were
can,
doing the
you
same
can
thing.
make like that, obviously a wall,
Yeah,
and then put the trap
and put the traps in there.
where there's not a wall. Like
Yeah.
like a small space.
Did you find any cat traps? Did you find any archaeological stuff on the island?
I found like that beacon on, what's that?
There is a beacon. There is a beacon.
What is that beacon? What's that flippin'?
Is it
Bill's
a-
name now? Copy's name?
Is it on West Peak or
Bill
something?
Briggs.
Is it? Oh yes.
I
there's
found that
yeah,
beacon.
Yeah.
But I didn't really find any new artifacts. I
Okay.
found a lot of cat traps. Like
Really?
that-
Okay. Those
the
X's.
the X's.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. But did you find
Everywhere.
any of the snap traps?
No, I didn't find
Okay.
any of the traps.
That was my like my
But you'll probably find some still.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
yeah. They're everywhere.
Like there's a lot of areas I never walked.
Yeah.
Like especially like in the middle section of the island. Like,
Okay.
you know, you have the interior, then you have like the middle and the coast. Like that
Yeah.
section, I feel like not a lot of people.
Not a lot of people walk there.
like
not a lot of people
zigzag
walk
there. Really. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's
no.
no birds there that breed.
Yeah.
Like in the in between spot.
It's a little bit of a shitty spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'll see a lot of cat traps.
You
there.
see a lot of cat traps there. That's probably
Yeah.
where all the cats are living.
Exactly.
That's probably exactly where the cats are living.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cats
my
like
like
this one.
you evil little guy. They should take cats to the island.
Oh, you need a pet.
You need
You
a
need
pet.
something to cuddle.
Yeah, you do, hey. Imagine
miss
if each
that.
hut had like a little cat that was just like. I would go to the hut. I would just like go. I have work to do, but I'm gonna go to the hut and feed this cat.
No, man. We're gonna have another problem with the cats again.
Sterilize this time. Sterilize.
Can't
No, you
repeat
just go to
the
them and you're like,
history.
only the mice.
Only the
Only the mice.
Nah.
No birds.
Prions are nice.
Browns are delicious. Oh
Yeah,
my
I didn't
goodness.
find any cool artifacts really. I found like old mouse traps. I found,
Okay.
Like those, but that's like probably from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
2000 something.
Like metal ones or wooden ones?
Wooden ones.
Really? Like up
Yeah.
in the mountains?
Up in the mountains, yeah.
Bro, who is
I
sitting
found a lot of
mouse traps?
old, it's like the island, the PVC pipe island here.
PVC pipe island, dude, in the middle of nowhere. You go up to
find the
Brian's
most-
Cop.
Exactly. And you
This-
find this, what the fuck? Like, you see the square, like
Yeah.
there was an old plot with like old plastic.
Did you see
thing.
that one?
Yeah, there's a
With
lot
the
of them.
painted rocks.
And I was like, what the fuck? People should come clean this shit up. It's like, what the fuck? I found like painted rocks, like red painted rocks.
Yes, I saw painted rocks as well in random spots.
Yeah.
Go up to like Verdwaal Kop in the middle of nowhere. And there's like a nice PVC square, there's strings running,
I found
like
like
splitting into grids.
Old rods, but it's like bamboo.
It's like,
Did you see those
Yes.
ones? It was like bamboo. They used it for markers, I think.
who's taking bamboo to bamboo?
That was so random. I was like, what the fuck? Why is there bamboo there? And then that random sticks that's painted white.
Yes.
That's everywhere. Like,
It's the geos, I'm telling you. Geos don't know how to clean up after themselves.
Yeah, it might be the geos.
PVC island. Oh
Yeah,
my
but that's
goodness.
like that first week we walked there and take over when I got there. And I was like walking, like, yeah, there's a lot of PVC pipes everywhere. Like, why is there so many?
And you find new ones. You find
Yeah.
new ones. And you find like strange things. You find little wooden poles here.
But
and
it's
there.
funny now. I also left some PVC.
You are part of the problem.
I'm part of the problem.
You're part
now.
of the problem.
Oh, damn.
That's how it happens. That's how it happens.
But I gave my data to everyone, to the ECO, so they know where
They know where they are.
They know where they are, at least.
Yeah,
I
they
had
have
this
that
problem,
like.
man, at the coast. Like I made a plot, and you come there and it's gone because the skuas ripped the pipes out, or the seals. Like Yo, they trample it.
They
man.
trample
And you find it like deep into the soil. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
And, like,
you just see this little hole in
this
the ground.
hole in the ground.
And meanwhile, there's a 2 meter long
Yeah,
PVC pipe.
PVC pipe is right inside of it. It's like, what?
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. PVC island.
It's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
And it's not really necessary to have it. Sometimes it's easier to find it, but like you have GPS these days.
Yeah, you have
make
GPS
a
these
coordinate.
days.
Especially with the new GPS, like the inReach, they're very accurate.
Yeah, you guys had inReaches.
I didn't have an inReach.
You didn't have an
No,
inReach?
I just-
Oh, some like departments had
Yeah.
inReaches. Hey, that's very rude.
It's like the Sapri,
Safety for only some of you.
the Sapri guys had the inReach and Fitzpatrick.
They were like, nah, you don't need
Nah, but you don't really need an inReach. Ugh, you just need a GPS if you want to mark stuff.
Oh my
But
goodness.
it gets quite annoying.
What were the highlights of your year?
Yo, I don't know. There's a lot of highlights, man. I think the whole experience is
The whole
highlight.
experience is highlight.
Yeah.
Did you do a one day round island?
Yeah, I did.
Hell
I did.
yeah.
It was fun, man. I was fast. I did it in
Really?
12 hours.
You did! Holy shit, yes, you did. Yes, I asked Dylan
Did it
about it
in-
and he was like, yeah, I did like some crazy time.
I did in 12,
Yo,
47.
12:27.
47.
47. Is that
Yeah.
like the third best time?
Yeah.
Holy shit, Elmar, what the
But
fuck?
I could have beat the record, I feel.
You really,
I think I could have.
yo, Stefan Scumbi.
I could have easily beaten it. Because
What?
the
How
thing-
did you do that?
you run, bro.
Did you run the whole thing?
No, you don't run the whole thing. You, like
No,
I tried to
man.
run downhill.
12:47 is
You have to walk fast.
insane.
You have to walk
It's
fast
insane.
all the time, and you get tired. I already start cramping at graded.
What is your strategy? What is your strategy here?
Yo, it's like 50% mental, man. You have to be strong mentally.
What time did you start?
I started at like 3:30.
In the morning, yeah.
Yeah,
And
it was
you did it
dark,
in?
and I forgot my GPS, and then my light
No.
went off. So
What?
I had to walk, and I went around Kildalkey way.
So you went
clockwise.
clockwise.
Yeah.
You went clockwise. You started at 3:30.
Yeah. It wasn't necessary because I came back at 4.
Yeah. What the hell, dude? Yo.
I could have actually started in the daylight.
You went clockwise. Stefan went anti-clockwise.
Yeah,
didn't he?
everybody went.
I went anti-clockwise
Yeah.
because I was like, anti-clockwise is the faster way.
That's the faster way.
But you did it.
I should have actually put that on as anti-clockwise
Why?
because I just felt like I wanted to go that way. I don't know why.
Yo.
It just
Yeah.
felt better for me.
Like I don't know if the listeners are
Like,
gonna understand
Azarella
how
was nev-
fast you did it. You did it
Azarella
so
was
fast.
never a difficult thing for me. So everyone's viewpoint was like going that side first and do Azo first.
As doing Azo first.
But like Azo was like, it was never difficult for me.
Yo, did you have a route locked down on Azo?
Oh no.
What
Well,
did you do a new route?
I just walked like
just
without
walked,
GPS. I just like
Yo,
went, bro.
that's crazy. So your strategy was just like started.
My
no, what-
strategy was basically just walk fast.
Just walk fast.
I
What were
didn't
you
have a lot on
drinking?
me.
What were you
I only
eating?
had like sweets, nuts,
Okay.
water,
And a
and
backpack.
an energy drink and a backpack. Yeah.
And steel toe gumboots.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What the hell? Like I walked to Kildalkey, man. You know how you can miss Kildalkey, and
You can
now
miss Kildalkey.
and it was like
And you were
Kind
doing
of
it
in
in
the
pitch black.
pitch black. But when I got there, it started getting like lighter.
Okay.
And I
Wait,
was
what time of year did you do? Feb.
It was in Feb. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone did it in Feb.
Yeah, it was in Feb, but I hit Kildalkey way too high.
Oh,
So I had to go down and then up again.
Oh my goodness.
But like
Okay.
that wasn't that bad. I didn't lose a lot of time, but I was like pissed off at myself.
And then Kurokop?
Now Kurokop I did really fast.
Nice.
I can't
You
remember
probably
the
did
exact.
it in like under 1.5
But I'm-
hours or something.
Like at Kildalkey, I came there in 1 hour and a half. I know
1.5.
1.5.
That's not
to-
bad. That's
yeah.
not bad. That's good time. That's really
And
good
then to Water Tunnel it took me 2 hours, I think.
time. Okay.
So it was normal time.
It's normal time. It's
And
normal
then-
time. Well, how did you? Then when did you sprint? You must have like did
No,
the whole
but
the other half in
you'll,
6
you'll
hours.
notice like at the start people do it normal time. And
Yeah.
then what happens when they get more around the island, they
Yeah.
start going slower and slower
Yeah.
and slower. And that's why most people do it like in 17, 15
Yeah.
or 18 hours because it's that last section that they go slower. But the start, they usually do the normal. So I just kept my normal pace the whole time. And then for downhill, I ran.
So
I
what did
ran
time to
all the
Greyhead in,
downhills.
What, like half an hour?
Yeah, it was fast.
That
it was
must have
very
been fast.
And like even the last section from Proteas, I did in an hour and 50 minutes. That was the last section.
Yo.
Yeah.
Hour 50 from Repetos.
From Proteas.
And you went.
And that was the last section.
You went through all the miles. You didn't choose like a high route.
I went through
You
miles.
that route is shit. Hey, I don't like that route.
Yeah, it's not that great, but it's fine. But Longridge, man, that was the most difficult part.
Really?
Because that was the last
This
climb.
last big climb.
I just focused on my breathing. Like breathing is really important. I realized you need to
Yeah. The whole way.
the whole way, and I didn't stop. There was no stopping. I just told myself I can do this.
So when you got to the hut, what did you do? When you got to a hut?
I just went in, wrote down, out.
Yo.
Even left the book open because I knew the other people will come and they can write on it.
Yo, that's good. And you did it alone?
Yeah, I did it alone. If I didn't, I wanted to go with all the guys, but then I realized, I want to push myself.
Yeah.
I want to try and go for this.
Yeah.
And I met the other guys because they went around, obviously,
other way.
anti-clockwise.
The
So I
same day?
met them.
Was the weather good?
The weather was pretty good. At the morning, it actually rained a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. I met them right, where was it? Just at Kalkoppie.
Okay.
So I was already past
You
all
were
that
already
whole
past
section.
everything. You were already.
They were quite surprised to see me. But I actually took like 10 minutes to speak with them. Like that 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
They could have helped my time.
This is insane. This is insane. How did you do it so fast and you spent 10 minutes chatting?
That was the most difficult section from Swartkops to Mixpickle because that was like,
that's quite hectic. But it's flat.
It's flat, but
It's
it's
flat.
like, I don't know why, it just took long and it felt long.
It does take long.
And then I realized, okay, now I need to eat. Then I had a Coke with me as well. I can remember I brought a Coke and I knew I'm going to use this Coke when I go up Azo now.
Yeah.
But that section when I walked, I realized...
You did
listen,
mixed pickle hill.
I think the time was on 7 hours or something there. And I was like, I can beat 13. I just knew it. Like, if I keep this pace, because I know how to calculate
you had
pace, because I
mixed
used to be a
7.
runner. I used to run marathon
Okay,
and
that makes sense.
like, half marathons and stuff.
So you
And
were
I-
in mixed pickle 7 hours.
Yeah, about. I
Holy
think 7
shit.
hours, 30 minutes or
That's
something.
crazy.
But yo, man.
That's so fast. That is so fast. Yo.
Yeah, I think if I went anti-clockwise, I probably would beat the record. But I wanted to go again, but there was no time again. To do it, really. And like it takes a lot out of you, man.
It takes a lot out of you. How were you the next day?
I was pretty tired. I was dead. I actually helped Monique with work the next day. But I told her, I'm going to work like a grandpa now.
I did my 1 day run. Yo, that is that's so fast. That is so fast.
Yeah, man. But
I did like 14.
but that's also fast.
That killed me though.
Yeah,
That killed
kills
me.
you, but
and
like-
I was trying so hard. I was like popping painkillers.
Painkillers?
Yeah,
Jeez.
I was popping painkillers like halfway just so I could carry on going, and I didn't have to worry about my body.
Yeah.
Like I was worried that like I would get halfway and I'd start like aching pain and stuff.
Yeah,
I was like,
I started aching, I think, after Azo a lot. And then I stopped running. Like, I
Okay.
couldn't run anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, if I run now, I'm going to hurt my knee.
Yeah.
And it's not smart. I need to work still. I don't want to injure myself. So then I just, like, walked very fast.
yo, but you must have been pacing it. That's so
I was pacing it.
fast.
I was pacing it. And that last section from... After Longridge, I ran as well from
Yeah.
Third Sister. Because I was, like, thinking...
Hope is hell, everything.
I can, like, beat some time here. I was like,
Yeah.
I can beat some minutes here.
Yo.
But it was cuck funny. Let me tell you this, because Rhiannon, Megan, Sibu, Tanga, they were like all talking the previous day, like, oh, they're gonna do a nice sauna when we're gonna do our round island. You know? 1 day round island, because they didn't want to do it. Obviously, they were like they don't want to injure themselves, and they would just want to like, and it's obviously a respectable. You know, it's a big thing to do, you know.
Yeah, it's a scary
It's a scary thing to do. But like I can remember they were saying like they're going to do the sauna at 4. And I think I came there just before 4. So I went to the sauna right when I got there.
No way.
And I was sitting there. I was coming in. Rhiannon was already there. She was like, oh, how is it possible? How are you here? And then I was just sitting there waiting for Sibu and all of them to come in. And they're like,
yeah, guys.
Tanga came in and she was like, Elmar, how is it possible?
I was on the west side of the island today.
Yeah,
today.
yeah. I saw the whole island. It's nice weather that side.
No way.
That was
That's
crazy shit.
Crazy.
But yo, I was really tired then.
Yo, third best time is insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I would love to do it again. It's a nice challenge, man. It's like an ultra marathon.
It's an ultra marathon. It's a crazy challenge. 65 Ks.
And you should.
In gumboots.
I think Was was the first one, eh?
Was
it Stefan?
No, it's Stefan.
Stefan. Who has the record?
He's like 12:21. Yeah.
But Kyle Lloyd, that guy.
Kyle Lloyd. No, I
You
don't
also had
think.
a good time.
I think Benoit might have second. Benoit, and then maybe somebody else from his year as well. Another seed.
But I'm pretty sure they had to run because
You have to run.
You have to.
run. Well,
I realized that
Stefan.
when I got my time, I have to run more. I realized I have to run more.
I asked Stefan, I was like, how did you do it? And he was like, yeah, I just ran the whole thing.
Yeah.
But apparently it like wrecked his knees.
Yeah, it's gonna wreck your knee.
Apparently
That's the problem.
yeah.
Like that's what happened with my left knee. I
Really?
fucked up my left knee.
On the island?
Yeah, because of running downhill.
Yo.
It wasn't smart, but like it was fine. That's when I know my body, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, now I should stop running because otherwise I'm gonna injure myself, and I'm not gonna injure myself.
47. Yo. It is like the rarest. It's like a very niche foot race, you know?
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's
in a
very
way.
cool.
I'm really glad I did it.
Yeah.
It's like just to push your body. I like a challenge like
Really
that.
gl- yeah, I'm really glad I did.
I even took photos, man.
You sound like you're having the most like chill time ever.
Like I showed
Meanwhile-
Megan photos of the sunrise, and I took like a selfie.
What? That's crazy.
It's kind of funny.
That's
She's like,
crazy.
why did you take photos? You're wasting time.
Doing this like Olympian challenge.
But like, I
And
told
you're
her,
like
don't worry,
snapping
I made up for
pictures.
it. I didn't stop to pee. I was walking while peeing. I walked
No,
and I peed, man. I walked and peed to save time.
That's devolving. That's
devolving.
Marion devolving.
Yeah, it's just like it's just focus.
my
It's like
goodness.
I told myself it's just 12 hours of my life. Just focus. Stay focused.
Just lock in.
Be locked in and just do it. And I'm so
That's
glad I did.
crazy.
It was cool, man.
What other like challenges did you do? Did you do a
I
copy
did
challenge?
do the copy challenge, but I didn't do all the copies.
Okay.
I think there was 12 I didn't do.
Yo.
But I did most of them. And I told myself, I don't need to do all of them.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
The one that I wanted to do was Treater Peak. And I didn't do that one. That's the one thing I regret because I never explored that.
That area
section
is
of-
very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
very
section of the island.
and it's a big peak.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
a-
big peak.
It's a big one. When you see it, it's like it just comes out of there.
Because
Out
I was
of
doing
nowhere.
copies, this one round island. I did Spitskop, all of that once there.
Spitz is interesting as well.
And then, but
False
it
as
was actually in December, it was snowing. It was like fucking,
Yo.
and Treater Peak was full of snow.
Yo.
I wanted to climb that the same day, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
there's just big black lava fields in between everything.
I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not feeling it now. And then- so I never got the opportunity really to do it again. You know, you feel like you walk on the island and you're like, I'm gonna, it's
I'll
still
walk
like,
past you again.
There's like 4 months left. I'll probably walk. Nah,
No,
never had the opportunity.
you have to plan stuff like really
Yeah, you have to
strictly.
plan it really well.
Because you're like, okay, we're gonna be in
And
this
if you had a
area.
car, you could do everything. Then you wouldn't have had a problem.
If there were roads in Marion, I think it would be a whole different story.
Imagine it's like a tar road going around, like you can drive on your bike or something.
I used to have
mopey.
dreams of that. I used to have dreams of that, walking around that island. Some days I'd feel like, yo, I wish that was like a road or something. I wish I could like use up my bicycle or like something. Like I'm just
Yeah.
tired of walking today.
Yeah, that's like a mental thing you go through. And now you like miss it. Like
Yeah.
at the time you're like, I'm so tired of walking. I've had enough now.
But you could put me on Devil's Footprint now and I'll be happy.
It's a
Whereas
cool
like
place.
if I ever found myself on Devil's Footprint anytime on the island, I'd be
Is that like your
take me
favorite
over.
place?
No, it's the worst place.
worst
it's,
place.
it's my least favorite place.
Yo,
on the
what
island.
about that Black Rocks Plateau? That's coastal.
Okay. Black
That
Rocks
place.
Plateau is quite beautiful.
Yo.
Black Rocks
But that
Plateau.
walk, it's difficult, man.
It's a shit walk. It's a shit walk. No, Black Rock, any Black Rock is like super shit. My favorite part on the island, my favorite place on the island is probably the area on top of Square Ridge. I really like Square Ridge.
You really like
There's like a
Square-
lot
with
of
all the
lakes up
lakes.
there. Yeah, with all the
That's
lakes.
interesting that you said that.
Yeah, I
I know
really like
Rabia
that.
said that as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
for
a really nice part
takeovers,
of
you
the
said
island.
the same thing. It's quite interesting.
Because you can walk there from base. Like sometimes I'd be at base and I'm like, I
You
don't
can
want
go
to
chill there.
Yeah, you can go chill there.
Ah.
Go chill there. You can go smoke.
Yeah, that's nice.
You can go like just hang out a little bit, and you can like see everything, and you can see all the corpies,
Yeah, you can see
alpha,
Prince
beta. Yeah, you can see Prince Edward,
It's a nice day.
and it's I don't know. I really like that.
My favorite area. Well, I don't really have a favorite area, but I would say Rook's Pen is.
Yo,
It's like the cool place.
Rook's Pen is the best. Eh?
Like
Rook's
all
Pen
the
is the
grades
best.
are there,
Oh,
and all the
man.
first seals come out, and it's flat.
If I could put a house on Marion, I'd put it on Rook's Pen.
There was a rondavel.
There was a rondavel there. There was a
Yeah.
rondavel there. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a
Oh, what a
nice
weird
area.
place to put a hut.
Yeah.
What a weird place.
What a weird place. You have to go down there,
have
you have
to
to
go
come
down
back up. Like, oh no, the fuck, bro.
Yo, Rook's Pen is beautiful. Did you go there when the greyheads just arrived?
Yeah,
And both
yeah,
pairs were there. It looks like it's out of National Geographic.
Yo,
eh? It's
like-
crazy.
It's a Jurassic Park moment.
It's
I have
the
a
most
video.
beautiful-
I have this video of
Yo.
just all of them flying around. It's like,
Oh my god, it's crazy. And then also the Mackies get there and the
Yeah.
Rockies are there. There's like that whole area is just wild. It's beautiful.
bro, I found a GoPro there.
No.
We're just lying down there
What?
in the Mackie colony.
Does it work?
It works.
No. Did it have a memory card in it?
Yeah, it was.
Whose
a
was
min-
it?
It was Jelena or Elena. What's her name?
Van
Elena.
Rechik.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was hers.
Yo.
And I messaged her. I told her I found your GoPro, but there was not anything really on the memory card, just like random selfies and
That's
shit.
crazy.
But I was like,
I wish she
what?
was in M76.
Yeah, it was 2019. or
That's
something.
what. So it was
5
there
years
it was there
later.
for 5 years.
We were
She
just
lo-
chilling there.
Yo, and the GoPro was working. That's
working, man.
crazy.
It's crazy. But it's like, there's something wrong with the battery, definitely, because it doesn't last long.
It doesn't
like it
last
says
long.
like it's full,
Yeah.
and then you use it for like 10 minutes and then it's dead, basically. But it works.
But that's wild that it worked. And what were
Yeah.
on the videos? There's just like some videos of
Just-
Rook's Pen.
It was like random selfies in the field. And like, I don't want to talk out about all the photos, obviously, but
That's so
just
funny.
like random
Oh my
stuff.
goodness, that's wild.
That
That's
was a-
such a cool thing to find.
That was a funny thing. So I didn't find artifacts, but I found like a GoPro.
That's an artifact. If it's,
Yeah.
if it's a 5-year-old GoPro, that's an artifact. That counts.
I found like old, like dishcloths in the interior, even like
What?
random shit. Man.
Dishcloths.
Like dishcloths lying around in the field.
Like multiple.
Yeah, like not multiple at the same spot, but like one there, and then they found like 2
What?
kilometers. They found another one.
Who is doing something with dishcloths?
Like I don't know what the fuck. And then there was like an old buff as well that I found.
Yo, what buff was it?
It was not a team
not a-
buff.
it's
It
not a
was
team
just like
buff.
a random one color buff. I think I left
Okay.
it at Cathedral actually. I just left it there.
I think I found like an M71 buff.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I found an M71 buff at Johnny's.
Wow.
It was
Well,
just
someone's
sitting
gonna find my water bottle because I lost
In the interior.
No, at Pew Craig, somewhere there.
Pew
I was like
Crags.
looking there for it. I couldn't find it. I was
What
like,
were you
"Ah."
doing at Pew Crags?
I had a site there. I had a transect
Oh, did you
there.
have a site
Yeah,
there?
like where we caught like mice and I sampled
Yo,
insects.
Pew Crags is also really cool.
It's a very
Pew
cool
Crags is
spot.
really cool. You walk all the way up there. It's a nice way to get into the interior through halfway.
Yeah. I actually have a story there.
Really, what happened?
When I stayed at Rook's, there was like I had like a tablet where I read books on.
Like a
took
little,
with.
like
I
a
carried it
Kindle.
with. People were like always like, why do
Yeah.
you want to carry that? It was heavy. I was like, I don't give a fuck.
No,
I'm carrying soil cores, man.
That's
I
such a
don't-
smart thing to carry.
I don't give a shit. I want to read.
I'm carrying those soil cores, man. It's
Yeah.
fine.
But I was reading the one night and there was no wind. It was like, it's quiet, it's chill. And I just felt like this vibration, like, what? I was like, what the fuck? And I went out, fuck all wind, man. I was like, what's going on? And like, then I realized it must have been like a earthquake or something.
Yo, that's your interesting
Yo, and I
thing to
read
say.
about it in the art book and everything. And then the weirdest thing happened. And then I came back from the Round Island. And then I think I was with Marcello in the boot room. And he was like, yeah, I was at Pew Crags yesterday. Because I think he was looking for suities.
Yeah, everyone's going there
And
looking for
then-
light mantles.
And then he told me the story of like all of these rocks. There was like a big rock fall there. You know that Pew
ways.
Crags at the edge,
Yes.
that some of the rocks like fell there. And I was like, But I felt like an earthquake the other night. When did this happen? It was like, no, that was like 2 days ago. But that was like the night.
What?
But they didn't really believe me because none of them felt like the shaking.
Yeah.
But they were at base, so maybe they couldn't feel it or...
At base shakes, man.
Exactly, base shakes all the time.
Yo, I had so many, like, I used to come back to base and be like, guys, I think I felt an earthquake. They're like, yeah, you felt an earthquake. We didn't feel anything here at base. I'm like, yeah, you guys are at base, man. When the wind blows, your room moves.
Exactly, you're not going to feel it. So I was like, yo, there must have been...
There's definitely seismic activity on Marion.
Yeah,
there's definitely seismic activity. There's days that I remember being in huts and like there's no wind, but you feel something. You feel the ground, and like when the hut shakes like this. Yeah. But when there's an earthquake, the ground moves like this, and you feel like your balance is going off. And I'm like, that was an earthquake. That was an earthquake. You go to base. They're like, nah. You imagine things. It was just the wind.
Yeah, no one wants to believe you. But anyway, it's fine. You don't have to.
That's an old crazy
I know what
stories.
I felt.
That's wild. A rockfall is crazy. A rockfall at Pew Crags.
Yeah, there was a massive one there.
A massive one?
Yeah, it was big. It was like, you can see it. You can see it from base.
Yo, that's crazy.
That happened in October. Or wasn't it? Yeah, it was October. Yeah.
Yo. What was one thing that you were like keeping an eye out for on the island? Like you were constantly, your eyes peeled, or you were ready?
Killers all the time.
Killers all the time.
I love the killers.
Really?
Yo, I loved the killers, man. When I was walking coastal, crazy. I always get my eye on the wall.
Yo, the killers are wild on Marion.
Yo, and I was so lucky in my last round island, the nice experience with the killers at Water Tunnel. They were just chilling there for 2 hours.
Yo, they do that sometimes, but they don't, like, it looks like they don't, when they come there, they spend a lot of time there.
Yeah.
What time of year was that?
That was in Takeover.
That was in Takeover.
Yeah.
They spent 2 hours there.
2 hours there.
Yo, what were they doing, playing?
They were playing. The one was trying to catch a seal in the kelp. I think it was O'Neill. And
O'Neill.
The babies, this new calves, Angel and Archer.
Yeah.
They were playing in the water. Ach, they're so cute when they play.
No, man,
jump
that's
on
adorable.
each other. And then Agent was there. Who else was there?
Yeah, Agent is massive.
Agent's cool. He was just chilling at the back.
Yo.
But my favorite is Max.
Is your favorite Max?
Max and Dot.
Diving board, bruh. Max is, okay, he's got like a huge fin.
He was like saying, he was at the last day when we left the island, he and Dot came past and said goodbye. It was nice.
Yo,
and it was fun because it was Megan's first sighting was Max and Dot, and it was her last sighting.
Oh, man.
So she was quite happy.
Yo. Yeah, Max and Dot are crazy. Max is wild. Whenever you see Max.
Oh, I love it.
You recognize
I had like a moment with Max. Like,
really?
Yeah,
what happened?
Like
what killer whale moments did you have?
It was in October, and I was walking to go get my samples, and then I saw Megan on the rock with her camera out. And obviously she stays there and takes the photos. But I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go really close. And I saw Max just like circling around there. You know, at Kill Point.
Yeah.
Like just that section right next to Kill Point. They were just like circling, and Dot was at the back. And I could literally just go straight I went to the ocean, man. Like,
and they were there.
It was just coming right past me. Like 2-3 meters away, man.
That's
and just like
insane.
Looking at me, coming out with his eyes. And
could you see his eyes?
Yeah, I could see his eyes, everything.
I never actually got a good look at their eyes.
Yeah. And then the day before Christmas was probably the best sighting. That's when they hunted a elephant seal right in front of...
A bull?
No, it was like... I had a tag. I think it was a lemon brown. If I'm not mistaken.
One of my children.
I have the video. I should go check, actually.
Yo.
I took like a fucking 6-minute video of them just like chilling there with Dent. Who else was it? That pot.
Dent. Wow. So there's some of the like foreign seals.
Yeah,
some foreign killers
ones that you don't see as much.
Yeah, we didn't see Dent a lot. We saw Dent like sometimes on
Dent all the time. I can't remember now.
Yo, that crew was weird.
But anyway, they were like chilling. The seal came out like into a... it wanted to get out of the water, obviously, but it was stuck. It was right at base again.
Oh, right at base.
Yeah, I was like, it was the day before Christmas, so everyone was like taking off and like chilling. And then I just saw like a lot of petrels on the water outside. I was like, yeah, I'm fucking running out because if there's petrels on the water, something's happened.
Something's dead.
Something's dead, yeah. And I came out and Vanessa was there and she was like also seeing it. And she was like, she thinks the killers have gone past now. And I was like, that's a bummer. And then Megan was still on the rock doing her hours. So I was like, let's just go say hi to her. And then when I walked around, then the killers were all in this section, like this outcrop section where the water comes in. They were all just chilling there, like 6 of them. But you can't see them where Vanessa was standing. And I shouted like, Vanessa, but Vanessa couldn't hear me. No. I was like, fuck, but I need to run down and go look at them because I don't know how long they're going to stay there. You know how killers are. So I ran down and they were like, I could touch them, man.
No way. What were they doing?
They were hunting. There was like an elephant seal there, stuck in there. And they were just waiting, using the tide for him to come out.
Yo.
And then I have the video where it slipped out. They just went for it. But they were like, I don't know if they killed it. I think the seal got away.
You think the seal got away?
The seal got away. But like fucking him up in the water, like. And then all of a sudden they just disappeared.
They're odd, hey? They're odd because like you can tell that they're wary. But like it's what they eat. How are they not like better at what they do?
Yeah, but I think we've had a conversation like this. They're like, the diet is like a lot of things. They don't just focus on one thing. So maybe.
What do you think they eat mainly?
I think they mainly eat fish around the island.
Fish?
Yeah.
Really? Some killers are a lot smarter than others.
Yeah, no, definitely. And a lot of them have different hunting patterns. And
have you noticed Seabiscuit?
No, what does Seabiscuit do?
Seabiscuit and Ella, they do some weird things.
Oh, really?
I've always seen them do. Every time you see something weird, you first see a killer doing something weird. And you're like, I know what those are. And then you go closer and you're like, yeah, Seabiscuit and Ella. Seabiscuit apparently is very old. And
Valentine's super old.
Valentine's
like
super
49.
Old. Yeah, Valentine is super
old. And
old.
her fin got bitten off.
Yo, that's crazy. Valentine is also a legend.
Yeah,
Valentine is also a legend.
Yeah.
She would do crazy things as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how her fin got bitten off, but I saw it was like hanging.
It was hanging, yeah.
You guys had some crazy killer drama.
Yeah, we did actually.
Yo.
We had a lot of killer drama.
I remember seeing Seabiscuit one time at Cape Davis Beach. You know, there's the bay, and then there's cliffs, and in the cliffs there's like these small gaps. I saw Seabiscuit turn sideways and swim through that cliff.
Yeah.
And she got stuck. She came in first, and I was like, well, how did you get in here? Because I didn't see a killer coming in through the bay. So I didn't see her coming in. I just saw her in the bay. And then like a lot of commotion, all the fur seals start swimming out the water. I think Seabiscuit was like a pro at fur seals. And I think she liked catching fur seals. And then you just see like some commotion in the water. And then her going back through the cliff. And she goes sideways. I don't know how you go sideways because the dorsal fin is pointing out.
Yeah.
And then you see her get stuck. And she's like flapping her fin. And then gets free and goes out. So she must have come in, grabbed something and went out.
Yeah.
I'm like, why did you go through there? There's a giant like bay opening here.
It's more difficult to catch them there or something.
And going into shallow water where like half the killer is sticking out the water. She would go into like these shallow little bays around base and like literally like go in and then reverse out.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
Now you just realize like all the animals, you always think like wildlife, they have it figured out.
Yeah.
They'll do everything like perfectly. But you see the most ridiculous things. That's a good example for a ridiculous thing some of these animals do. Like all the albatross, they're landing.
Not graceful.
They just crash into and then they die. Some of them die. Like the greatest, they just crash and they die. They break their wing. Like, what the fuck?
And you see it a lot.
Yeah.
You see it a lot. Like birds with broken wings. And I feel so bad.
The penguins are hilarious. They do the most stupidest things.
No, the penguins, like the birds, I'm like, okay, like you guys are just like silly. The penguins are stupid. The penguins make me angry.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are such shit parents. How is your population surviving?
Yeah.
You'll just see like the penguin sitting there. The egg is next to it. It's incubating a rock. Yeah. It's incubating a rock. The egg is right next to it. It's sitting there. And you're like trying to push the egg underneath, and it's like, no, I've got an egg under here. It's sitting on a big rock. You guys are so stupid.
Ew, I've seen like a lot of albatross just leaving their eggs.
Yeah.
Just leaving it there. I'm like, what the hell? And then the squirrel just comes and walks. Just pecks that egg. I'm like, laka.
I remember being at Blue Petrol Beach, and like all the kings were like nesting. They just started nesting. And some of these kings, I'm like, you guys are so stupid. They would like lay their egg down on the beach, and then the tide would go up. And you know,
Oh, no.
Marion doesn't have a big tide. Like
Yeah.
the tide goes up like maybe like 20 centimeters. It's not like meters here.
Yeah.
The tide goes up, and then you just see like big waves crashing on these kings that are sitting on eggs, and the water's coming and going underneath the king and
Oh
going like,
my word.
I'm like, you guys, like, put the egg away from the water. Like,
Yeah.
why are you laying the
But
egg?
you know, that's natural selection.
It's not just- it's like maybe you learn next
Yeah,
year.
maybe. We don't want that gene again. You know? we want to kill
This
them.
bird that lays one egg a year and only like reaches
Well, I
sexual
was thinking
maturity.
the same thing for the rockhoppers, man. You know, they nest right on the flipping rocks
Yeah.
along the coast. You're like, yeah, if the tide's going to come up, they're going to be smashed there. And they get smashed. And they're just like, oh, it's far right.
It's fine. Next year we'll try
fine.
it. Next year
Yo.
you do see crazy things with these animals, hey?
Yeah.
You do see crazy things. You see a big turnover of life.
Yeah, you do. I'm just like, I wish I experienced the penguins more, actually. Like, I wish I
Really?
took days where I just sat there for the whole day.
And
But
watched
like,
the penguins.
and just watch.
You would
What
have
the
gotten
hell's
angry.
going on here? Like, all the birds, the petrels and the skuas flying overhead, stealing eggs. I saw some of that, but like, it would be interesting to look at one penguin for the whole day and see what's going on with this one penguin. you know?
You'll get angry. You'll get angry. They're so dumb. They're so dumb.
Yeah, shame.
How are you surviving? How do you survive by yourself?
But they're strong, man.
They are strong.
They're just like
They are
a
strong.
piece of muscle.
They are
Yo.
and
They're
they
so
don't
strong.
die, hey?
Yeah,
They don't die. They get like
smashed on the rocks and they just come out like nothing happened. Like,
they have like sometimes you see like limbs hanging off of them, and they just carry on.
They
penguining.
carry on.
They carry
Yeah.
on like a normal penguin.
Yeah.
Like nothing's wrong,
yeah, I've seen like a mackie with a cut right through its chest here, like,
and it's
just
fine.
like bleeding in this bloody. Like it looks like some of the meat or like
Yeah.
the muscles hanging out. I'm like, yarr, but it's just standing there. No. And just like, I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, there's something going on. Like you'll see like a penguin like that got mangled by something, a seal or something, or a killer, and it's just it's
Yeah,
fine. It's fine.
fine.
It's walking on
Going on
Kildaki
with its
Bay.
life.
It's like just walking through all the other penguins. Like nothing's wrong.
Yo,
Heads
those
hanging
things.
off.
But they can swim, man. Yo,
They can swim. They look beautiful in water.
Yo, I
They look
love when
beautiful in water.
this one time I was at Swartkops when the waves were crashing. You know how the waves can get really bad there.
Swartkops is crazy.
But yo, that's Mackies, they're just like surfing on that wave, like, jumping and coming out. And when they come out, they look so ridiculous because in the water they look like, yo,
Yeah.
that's a fucking cool thing. You can swim. And when it comes out, like, oh, fuck, oh, and it slips on the rock. And then the wave comes, oh, it's smashing against the rock. They're like, ah. And then it
That's
just,
the only thing they're good at. They're only good at swimming.
when
They're
they
so
come,
graceful, beautiful in the water.
Yeah.
As soon as they touch land.
they look like these ridiculous things. Like, this is not where you're supposed to be.
queuing to go into the colony. You just see this long queue.
Yeah, Marcello was like saying it's like a conveyor belt. When they come out of the water, it's like just like this conveyor belt of Mackies coming out and out.
Yeah, you can sit there and watch them all come out, and you see them porpoising. And then the waves come and just wash them up on
Wash
the
them
beach.
up. Crazy.
And they
stuff,
stand up
man.
and they hop over the elephant seal. Elephant seal like wakes up, is like, what's happening? And this Mackie's like jumping over it.
This one time there was like a fur seal pup. I think it was a Tropicalis, and when they were really small, you know,
Yeah.
and they were like
Oh, cute,
totally
man.
black and dark.
Yeah.
But he was just like chilling on the elephant seal, like just sitting on the back, and the elephant seal was just like lying. And then I was walking, I was with Megan, I was helping her with census. I'm at Mackie. And then this elephant seal, I just heard her scream, hear her scream, like, ah! Because the elephant seal like went up with its tail, and this baby fur seal just got like thrown into the air.
No, man. That's so...
And it was fine.
Of course it is fine.
I was
Of course it is
I
fine.
went to check on him. It was like, just going on with its daily life.
That's so... I've never seen anything like that. That's so
It's
funny.
funny. It's hilarious.
No, man, that's hilarious. Yo, they're indestructible. They're
Yeah.
indestructible.
They're
You see them tumbling down those hills Like you're walking up from a beach and it's like a steep hill, and you see a seal on top that wakes up and gets a fright.
Yeah.
And starts sliding down the hill.
Sliding down, and like
And
it
boom, boom,
falls
boom,
over,
boom.
like bop.
Just falls, hits everything on the way down. Doof, 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 carries on.
There's nothing up.
You felt like 50 meters down, like rocks.
Jeez, man.
Absolutely fine.
Yo, but that was breeding season for you. It was hectic.
Breeding season was hectic. Dylan got injured during our breeding
Comes
season.
the lap cat again.
Yeah, come here, big boy. Come here. Yeah, Dylan got injured during our breeding season at the beginning. Breeding season is so
Like, how did he
fun,
get
so-
injured?
You got yeah, I got bitten. You got
on
bitten
the hand, or
on the hand and on the leg by 2 elephant seals.
your elephant seal.
Yeah, 2 elephant seals, 2 adult females.
Shit.
Or it was 1 adult female that bit him twice. Either one. I wasn't there that day. I was
No,
doing
really?
kilo-ops. I was doing a 10-hour.
Oh, you were doing 10 hours.
Yeah, I was doing a 10-hour, which I wasn't really a fan of. So I used to do 10-hour before the old base was there.
10 hours hectic.
10 hours hectic. 10 hours is such a
You
mind game.
get so cold, man. Even
Yo.
if you have all those layers on.
Yo, bruh. But it's like a proper, like, my brain is not good for that. My brain likes to process new information. So sometimes what I used to do is like grab the camera and then like walk. I would just walk the coastline and walk like up and down
Yeah,
for 10 hours.
That's good.
And I'd walk and I'd sit there and like take some pictures of some birds going past, take some pictures of the seals. And then this one day I was walking, and then I came back up when the old base was still there. There was like a small lookout. They had like a building that used to look out on the ocean. It was actually quite beautiful.
Yeah.
I imagine I had like dreams of having a room there.
Yeah.
And I was walking up there, and then I see, it's like 11 o'clock. My 10-hour just started. It's like 11 o'clock, and I see Dylan and Tammy walking back into base. And they were supposed to be gone for North. They left for
Yeah.
North the previous day. So they were back a day early, like a day
And
and
you
a
were
half
like,
early.
what the hell? Why
I'm like,
are
what
they
the hell is going on? And I was like, I had a radio with me, but I was like trying to radio the sealer office, being like, where are you guys? What's going on? No one's answering. So I'm like worried now. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, but they look fine. They're both walking in.
Yeah.
They're both walking in. So I like walked like to base, and I'm like still keeping my eye on the ocean because I don't want to break my kilobs.
Yeah.
And then like I'm asking people around base. I'm like Colin, the diesel mech, comes out. I'm like, what's going on? Why is Dylan and Tammy here? He's like, oh, I don't know. Like I haven't seen them. So I walk back and I finish my 10 hours. And then I come in at the end of the day and I walk in and I see Tammy, and Tammy's like, yeah, Dylan got bit twice. And I was like, what the hell? What happened? How did he get back? He got bitten at Goni Bay down like over Longridge. So it's like a 3-hour walk from there to base.
Yeah.
And it must have taken them like 5 hours or something because he got bitten on his leg and on his
leg.
hand.
It was
His
it was
hand
difficult
was-
walking.
His hand and his his hand and his leg were wrecked. It was very those elephant seals can do damage to you. They can do damage to you. And it was
Did
in
he
a
have
harem.
painkillers and stuff on him.
Yeah, I don't know how he got back. Honestly, I don't know how he got back because like
Adrenaline, man.
yeah, adrenaline. I think it must have
Dirty
just
adrenaline.
been. It must have just been. But then he must have gone up Longridge and everything. Walked through Hoppy's Hell.
Yeah.
That is hectic. That is hectic. I didn't get injured like that while I was there. I didn't get injured where I was like, yo, how am I gonna get back to base?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, those elephant seals are dangerous. And it was during breeding season. It was in a harem, and he was trying to read a tag. Marley was reading a tag, and an elephant seal got hold of him and then bit him on his hand and on his leg.
You have to
and
be
whatever.
so aware.
You have to
all
be
the
so aware.
time.
You have to be so. And they some of them
I had a lot
have
of close calls when they
so
know how
many,
when they
bruh.
come close and they
yeah. They like doing that. Like a lot of them they are afraid, but then some of them like that's the thing about elephant seals. It's like some of them are like, you know, people say like the animal's more afraid of you than you are afraid of it, and they just want to scare you. Some of them want to bite you.
Yeah, some of them
want
really
to bite
want
you.
to bite you.
They actually want to, and
Some
they'll
of
go
the
for it.
females are very aggressive.
They're
Yo,
very,
I found
very
like
aggressive.
most of the in breeding season, well, the days when I helped, the females were more aggressive than
They are,
than
eh?
the bulls. Like,
Yo.
but obviously, you get that one bull that just really chases you. And I'll never forget that face of that bull.
Which
man.
bulls did you guys have bad boys on the island?
Yeah. The one, I think you know Bliksem probably.
Ah, Blixen's a legend.
Dennis, there was Dennis the Menace.
Yo, I have so many stories about Dennis.
And then
Fuck
there was
Dennis,
another
dude. Put it on the
unnamed one.
record.
I can remember a named one at, was it King Penguin? That one, I'll never forget that one's face. Because that one was
Did he have a
chasing
weird
me.
eye?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But You have to run, man.
You have to run.
And it's like scary. If you slip while you're running, you're gone. You're
gone.
dead. That thing is just going to fuck you up.
I have a crazy story at Dennis.
Yo.
So Dennis pulled up at Blue Petrol. This is at the beginning. This is like in August. Like I said, it's still early. The harems have not set up yet.
Yeah.
We don't have much experience with bulls.
Yeah.
But we've seen them around. We've like worked with them. And now we're trying to get arrival PGs. So we're trying to like walk around them and get pictures of them while they stay still. You put the sticks down so you have like a nice reference so that they can build a 3D model and get the weight of them. So Dennis is sitting there, big boy, green 460, chilling on the beach. And then I take Dylan's stick. Dylan's busy getting something out of his bag. We just arrived at Blue Petrol. I'm like, Dylan, let me just get this PG quickly. So I take his stick and put it down next to this guy. And the day was like a little bit of it was an overcast day, but as we got down in Blue Petrol, it starts raining and the clouds darken. It becomes like really dark actually. And this guy is not happy. This guy's not happy. So I put 2 sticks down and I start taking pictures and then he moves. And I'm like, I get a bit angry with him. I'm like,
Yeah, obviously,
stay
because you want to
still,
do the
bro.
PG now.
Yeah, stay still. Like,
stay still.
Stay still. But then he doesn't stop moving and he lifts himself up. And then he like something clicks in his head and he just like wants to kill us now. he just wants to kill us. He turns around on his like flippers, like lifting up and everything, turns around, puts his flipper on Dylan's stick, snaps it in two. Broken. Dylan hears the snap. He's like, what the fuck? What happened? You broke my stick. Dylan's like getting angry with me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, look at this guy. He's like actually really pissed. Like, we need to get out of here. So I go in and quickly like grab my stick. And because I got really close to him, he got pissed. And he starts like charging. So I grab my stick and I start running. And as I'm running, I'm like, he's basically like in between 2 big rocks. So I'm running and I'm like running up the rock towards the ocean. And as I'm running up, I put my foot into one of the like spots in the rock. My gumboot gets stuck.
Shit.
And this doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen very often where your gumboot gets like stuck. But I'm like, holy shit, it's actually stuck.
And then you have this, like,
And this guy's behind me and I don't want to turn around because I don't want to waste time to like look at this guy to see him kill me. So I just quickly like pull my sock out of my gumboot and just book it and carry on running.
smart.
And
That
carry
was
on running.
smart.
And he went and like knocked the rock where my gumboot was. He would have smashed me. He would have smashed me against those rocks.
Yo.
He would have smashed me against those rocks. And I'm like standing there. Dylan's got half a stick with him. Dylan can't do anything to make him turn around.
Exactly.
Dylan's like, just like carry on fucking running. Just
Run.
Just run. And I'm there like one gumboot, like running. It's like in the water because I'm running into the ocean at this point, just like booking it away from the sky. And then I got like a picture of him as well. I got a picture of him and like in my mind, like I saw him like lifting up and like lightning behind him. Like he was the devil in that moment.
Devil.
Yeah, he really was. But he had issues. He had issues. And the rest of the year he gave us problems. Every single time we saw him, he gave us problems. He wanted to kill us.
The first time I encountered him, he was chilled. He did not.
Really?
Yeah.
He was
like,
in Malta.
Dylan
He was
told
short.
me that's Dennis, and then I was like, no, okay. And Dennis did nothing. But apparently after that, I never saw him when he was vicious, but after that he got very vicious with them, like chased them, and you have to run all the time. The one had to like just distract Dennis the whole time.
the whole
while
time.
The other one gets the tags. It's the only way. It was the only way.
Oh my goodness. Did you do a lot of elephant seal work?
Yeah, I tried to do as much work as possible. I wanted to try everything, experience the whole thing. So I helped everybody.
What is your favorite? What are the memorable ones?
What for the
For like
sealer
all
work?
the work.
I enjoyed the albatross. The
albatross
zigzagging
stuff.
was fun.
That's really
It's
cool.
like-
Did you do the wallaby count?
It's very yes, I did.
Yo, that's
it's very
really cool.
therapeutic, actually.
That's really cool.
That's very nice. It's nice trying to find these nests.
Yeah.
You know? It's like a fucking search, you know. Like a
Easter egg hunt.
Easter egg hunt.
Real
That's
Easter egg hunt.
basically an Easter egg hunt.
What area did you cover?
I actually went down to Rookspen as well.
Nice.
I did like Bullard to
Yo, that's
to
a lot of.
Kildalkey.
Yo,
Then
that's a lot
I
of
helped
nests.
as well around Swartskops and everywhere.
Yo,
Rhiannon,
man, that's so
I told her,
cool.
let me help you guys. Like
Yeah.
it was me, Vanessa, and Rhiannon.
Yo.
So we did. It would help a lot if they were free. If there was just them two,
It would have been rough.
It would have been rough.
It's a lot of work.
And this one day it was like super foggy. Now you have to like try and find these motherfuckers. You know,
No.
like you can't.
You can't find them.
But like what I did in that fog, I just zigzagged
Everything.
Everything. And if I didn't do that, I would have missed a lot.
You would have missed out,
I found like random ones, not like not where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Nesting at this weird spot.
That's a wild one.
But I enjoyed all of the work, I'll be honest with you. I even enjoyed, before bird flu became a big thing, because they stopped the handling of the birds, which sucks actually. But anyway, I helped with Marcello with the Mackie and Cebu with the pit tagging. That was fun as well.
Did you go to the amphitheater and work there?
No, we didn't do it there. We did it at Bullard.
Okay, that's even more hectic. Eh? Yeah, that place is crazy.
Yeah.
Bullard is a huge colony.
Yeah, unfortunately the bird flu thing.
Yeah, so what's the situation with that? Because I heard the ship came and dropped off like a vaccine for you guys.
I think what's happening, you need to wear the full PPE if they're going to handle the birds now. That's
really?
Yeah. So we didn't have the PPE. I think that was the problem.
That's ridiculous.
They don't want the disease to go over to mammals. Then it becomes a problem.
So is the situation now that no birdwalk is happening in May?
No, it's still happening. Like
with
all the
PPE.
monitoring is working. And I think they're doing it with PPE now. I'm not sure how it's going to work.
Yo, that's wild.
It's wild. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like we saw a lot of cases where there were actually bird flu. Like
Really?
I saw it like with the Mackies. The Bullard was a big case.
Really?
Yeah, there were a lot of dead Mackies, like abnormal amount.
Wow.
And I saw it Swartkops as well, but at least there it was on the coast, and I think a lot of them washed out in the water when the tide comes up, all the dead ones. But yeah, I don't know much about it. I didn't get involved a lot.
Okay.
All I know
Animal
is what
stuff.
I've seen myself.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to. Like there was like a group about it. I told them
Really?
I don't want to be on the group. I don't want to be involved. I want to focus on my own work. You know, that's not my baby.
Oh my goodness.
Because you know how people get when there's like other stuff, and then you want to know what's going on.
There's a lot of funny drama on
Yeah,
that.
screw that. I don't want to be part of it.
What were your big findings?
My big findings.
Yeah.
Like with my work.
Yeah, with your work.
My big findings were there's not a lot of invertebrates.
Really?
There's not a lot left on the island.
But most of them
Like if I read
introduced, hey? Most invertebrates on Marion are introduced.
No, actually not.
Really?
There are some that's like all the aphids and the wasp. It comes with the aphids introduced. There's some flies that are introduced, but all the weevils are indigenous.
Wow.
They occur on the subantarctic islands.
Okay.
And they're very cool because they have different niches.
Okay.
Like you get the coastal one, you get one on the intertidal zone.
Yeah.
You get one just on the Azo, the Ectomarinus, just eats vegetation. Then you get the lichen one under the rocks, on the black rocks. And you get one on the top, elongatus, that just eats lichen.
In different genera?
No, some of them are the same. You get buff chromatopus, and then you get Ectomarinus, Palorinus. I think those are the three, yeah. Those are the three genes.
So there's only 3 genera
Yeah.
of these weevils. They are weevils.
Yeah.
Yo.
And there's
I
another
remember seeing the
beetle
weevils
as well.
up on the
There's like an
mountains.
aquatic beetle that feeds on algae in the water. I found some of them.
What?
Yeah,
An aquatic beetle on Marion?
Meropaphus tuni or something like that.
Wait, in
Super small. It's like the size
in freshwater
of
lakes?
It's like not freshwater. It's like brackish.
Like brackish water?
Brackish water, where the rivers come out into those algae. They feed on that.
An aquatic beetle
Yeah.
on Marion. I've never
Yeah.
heard of this before. I've never ever heard of this.
Like I saw some of them. You find some of them on the driftwood actually as well.
No way. That's probably how they got to the island.
This on the round island, because I sampled some of them on the driftwood at Kildalkey. I was like, I'm gonna check what's on this driftwood, and then I found some of them on them.
What?
Just chilling there.
That's crazy. It's not like driftwood comes to Marion from other places. It's not like there's no trees. There's nothing that makes driftwood.
Yeah.
It's all like from the shipwrecks.
Shipwrecks. Yo, Ship's Cove. Yo,
Yeah,
there's a lot of fucking like old wood there.
Yeah.
Yo.
And all of these like weird beetles living in there.
Yeah, I think so. If you
Cape Davis as well.
yeah,
Cape Davis has a lot of wood.
There's a lot of wood.
There's a lot of wood there.
Like where does it come from? It's all shipwrecks.
It's all
like you said.
shipwrecks. A ship must have wrecked in that, like in Cape Davis, for there to be so much wood there.
Like I've learned a lot about the mice as well. The mice is like a big problem. But I've like this, it's like a philosophy question.
Yeah.
Where is the mice actually bad for the island. Might it actually be beneficial to plants? Like it's
Really?
because it's stimulating plant growth because it's always eating it
Yeah.
and it's spreading seeds around.
Yo.
Where it's usually just spread by birds. Now it's spreading on the island. You know, it's eating the carex, it's eating the polypogon seeds.
Yeah.
Because sure, it eats the seeds and maybe it can't germinate then, but sometimes it just drops it.
Yeah.
It like loses the seeds.
They just lose the seeds.
Yeah, so it's a form of dispersal in a way.
Polypogon.
So that's like my philosophy question. Well,
That's an interesting one here.
yeah, it could actually be beneficial in a way. Nobody's tested that.
Have you seen Nita Pallett's rephotos?
No, I
She
haven't.
was doing rephotos on Marion.
She found all those cran apple trees.
Yeah.
She was the one who found those
Yeah.
trees. It's removed now. They're
Yeah,
not
they
there
were
anymore.
removed in our year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they removed it. I don't know what is the reason. There was some like political reason or something.
Like,
Oh,
who put it there? Do you know? Oh, what's the story behind that?
like they think they were just like some people on the island who had apples with them from the ship. And just like some field assistants dropped some apples and the trees sprouted from those. But the thing is, the ECOs had this thing where every year they would go and cut the new growth. And then we were like, why don't you just pull the roots out? They were like, no, you're not allowed to do that. It's not part of our protocol.
Yeah, and
You
then
pull the
later on
root
they
out
did.
and the roots can like spread or something. But and then later on they just pull them.
Yeah. But like it's the same with the lazula.
Yeah.
They spray that. But I told Londani, why not just pull it out?
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
It will take you probably a couple of weeks. But go pull it out when they're not flowering.
Yeah.
And not seeding, because then you're not going to have a hazard. It's not going to be an hazard then. So, yeah.
That ECO office, I feel like there's so much potential for the ECO office.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good work that they could do, but it just never reached potential. Because in ships, there used to be a grass. I don't even know what it was. I wrote something about it in the.
There was a grass. Damn, what? Festuca, is it that one? Or
Something like that.
Acropogon.
No, it was agro. I think it might have been agropyron.
Agropyron.
I think it might have been
Yeah, it's
agropyron.
that one.
I wrote something.
They sprayed that one as well or something and pulled it out. And
But yeah, so before the ECO position used to just be allocated to a field assistant.
yes.
And what is this guy's name? Yo, he was in Meerwegsia. He was like an M68 or something. I forgot his name. Shit. But he was the ECO that year, and he just went and got the team together, got the field assistants together, and they went and pulled everything
just
out,
pulled out.
and they eradicated it from the
Yeah.
island.
As simple as that.
It really is as simple as that.
Yeah, you should just go when it's not flowering and seeding.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to maybe spread it. But
Yeah.
go pull it out.
And if it's
just-
not like rhizomorphous, where there's a lot of there's a network of roots where it'll sprout from. If it's just like small plants, you can pull them out.
You
It's
can just
fine.
pull them out. Don't worry. It's not that difficult.
The other
The only
luzula,
problem is the sagina. You're not going to get
No.
rid of that.
you can't get rid of
You're not
it.
going to get rid of Poa pratensis. You're
No.
not going to get rid of
No.
the
Yeah.
Stenolifera. It's
No.
impossible.
Those
It's
are,
there.
yeah.
It's there.
Those are there forever. Sagina,
But like it's not.
Stolonifera, and Poa.
I don't see it as. It's a big debate. The invasives, because it's an island.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It's quite young. How do you say it's an invader? But I always say if it outcompetes the natural vegetation.
Like Sagina seems like it belongs there. low-key.
Yeah, it feels like it belongs.
It feels, and it like I, whenever we were at like beaches where like, you can't really get down, like at Rope Beach or something. You can get down, but like sometimes we would be lazy.
Yeah.
And like you want to like see some of the seals down there. We would just rip Sagina off and throw it at the seals, see them move and look at the binoculars and be like, okay, I saw the tag, I got the number.
Yeah.
That was the nice thing. It's like I didn't feel bad about ripping Sagina out of the ground.
Yeah.
But like it's basically naturalized to the island.
Yeah. But like
The
my
word
argument-
naturalized as well. That's another one.
Yeah.
Why is Vanessa Kardui naturalized? It's because it's charismatic. It's because it's a butterfly and it
It's
looks
a
pretty.
butterfly. But that's a cosmopolitan.
It's a cuss.
And Sagina's also cosmopolitan.
It is.
That's what you
It
need
is.
to understand.
Sagina
Because
is
my
naturalized,
argument is,
Marion.
let me give you a great argument here. Because some of the moss on the
Yeah.
island you get in the northern hemisphere as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a bipolar species. So you get it on
Wow.
both poles.
That's
So-
insane.
And you get some moss on the island that's cosmopolitan. It occurs everywhere in the world.
Yeah, basically.
Like, you can argue, okay, is that invasive then?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
So it's quite interesting.
That's an interesting argument you make for the mice. Because in Nita's rephotos, they found that like Marion is becoming more green. And there's areas of Marion, like behind Juniors. It's like there's an old picture from the 80s. It's all rocks, all just rocks. And there's a picture of it now, and it's like grass everywhere.
Yeah, it's definitely becoming more green.
And like I never thought. I mean, they've attributed it to like changed in rainfall patterns and stuff like that. But the seeds have to get there. Like, have the seeds always been getting there, and it's just that they can't grow because of the climate? Or is it now that the mice are bringing seeds like to places where there weren't seeds before? Because birds
And
aren't
humans,
distributing them.
obviously.
And humans.
Yeah. If you walk on a sagina, it can get stuck to your
Yeah.
boots. and
Have you
just
seen
walk.
like certain, I don't know what grasses they are, but certain grasses grow on all the paths.
Yeah, like the polypogon.
Polypogon.
Yeah, that one. That one grows everywhere where there's a path. It stimulates the growth of the
It
grass.
stimulates the growth.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the weird Acina?
Oh yeah, the yellow one.
The yellow one.
I'm still trying to ID that one.
Isn't it?
We think it's the Goff one.
Yeah,
but
I think it is the Goff
it
one. What's the
might be
species name
New
of the Goff
Zealand
now?
one as well. That's
You
the
guys said it
problem.
was New Zealand. I think it's the Goff one. What's the Goff one called? Magellanicum? No.
No,
that's the normal
Magellanicum
one.
is the normal one. I'm not sure what's the Goff one. It's something of an S.
Yes.
Um,
I forgot.
yeah, the reason I didn't think it was the Goff one is because the Goff one's not actually yellow.
No, man, it is yellow. Sure.
No, it's not. That's what I was looking in the books and I didn't see that it's yellow. And I was like, what the fuck? But it doesn't make sense then.
No, man.
Like
Did Rihanna not say...
Rhiannon said there's no yellow Acina on Goff.
Because Chris and Michelle,
But they said that there
they
was.
said that the Acina on...
But
that
that's
there is
the problem
Acina...
with Acina because sometimes it can actually look yellow. Like
Really?
it can be green as well. And then when the green and the red mix,
It can become yellow.
I'm not sure exactly how it works, but
It's that one plant.
yeah, but it's definitely a different species.
Yeah.
At first I was like, might be a different genotype, but then I got to know the island better, and then I was like,
It's a
has to
different
be
species here.
The leaves look different.
Yeah.
The flower particles is
I mean, the likelihood of somebody like in Sanap who went to a Goff
exactly. It's
takeover.
going to Goff, getting the seeds on you, using
It's
the same
easy,
gear.
and it's like it's
easy.
prickly seeds.
But it could have happened with the New Zealanders as well.
no
From
way.
Mousefree Marion. I don't want technically
That's crazy.
because they are from New Zealand.
Yeah.
And I know Michelle told me that spot where it is, there was actually a trapping station
No
there. So that was
ways.
why I was
Okay.
also I'm
Okay.
keeping all options
Yeah,
open.
we
for
didn't
where-
even consider that.
Yeah.
We didn't even consider that because I remember Monique posted it on Instagram, and I was like, "Oh, is this the one from Goff?" And she was like, "We don't know. It could be the one from New Zealand." And that was news to me. Like,
Oh, so
we've
did she
never
also-
considered that.
Yeah.
We were like, "No." We were like, "Yeah, it's the one from Goff." We were like, "Yeah, it's the most likely explanation. It's got to be that."
Yeah,
one.
it is the most likely explanation. That's probably how Sagina got to the island.
It's probably us trying to get the
From
idea.
Goff.
Yeah, but Sagina is actually a lot less invasive than Goff.
Mm.
It's like a small stretch
Yeah,
of
because they were
coastline.
like also spraying it. I think there
Yeah.
was like eradication for it.
There was an eradication for it, and it's a lot more controlled. On Marion, it's everywhere. Marion, you can't get rid of it.
Yeah. It's a pioneer species, grows nicely in the rocks. Like at Kalkopi, there's nothing else growing there except Sagina.
Except Sagina.
Like, you can see these small Saginas coming up
Oh my
everywhere.
goodness. Are you gonna go back?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, me too.
For a year or for takeover?
Um,
I was thinking maybe just takeover. Yeah, it's quite hectic, man.
yeah, it's quite hectic. But
Takes a lot of your time.
yeah.
But it's nice. Because
Yeah, it's nice.
it gave me time to like, I don't know, reflect upon life in a way.
Yeah.
Because you have so much
Yeah.
time to think about stuff. Like in the huts, for instance, at night times, you don't have anything to do really.
anything to
Sometimes
do.
just read or
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I'll think.
Or think.
There's a
or
lot
write.
of time to just think.
I wrote a journal. I have like
Really?
a journal, daily journal that I wrote.
For every day.
Yeah, every day. I try to write every day. Obviously, there's a lot of
Yeah.
days that I skipped because you're like, oh, tired or
Yeah.
just not feeling it.
That's cool. That's so
So-
cool. That's a really
Actually, I
nice
have to
thing
read
to
again there. Just like for interest. See what's going on there.
I kept track of all of my steps.
The steps.
Yeah, like my mileage and then where I went and who I was
I
with
think
and what the
Rhiannon
weather
also
was.
did that. She like saved all her paths.
Really, that's
It's
really
very cool
That's
because
really
then you can
cool.
see all the zigzags you did
That's
around
really
the island.
cool.
Yo.
I didn't use a GPS. I just had a watch that would tell me how much like,
Mm.
steps I did. But I wish I used the GPS because that's really cool.
Yo, I did a lot of steps.
Yeah, it's crazy. Eh?
You do like 40,000 steps a day if you
Yeah.
do the seal work. Even.
Yeah.
And if you do the albatross work's the same.
Yeah.
Mine's a bit less. If I went, like let's say for instance, I went to Pew Crags, or I didn't walk that much. It's like 20,000 maybe.
That's still,
But still a lot.
that's still Yo. What's the hut you spend the most time in?
Yo, probably Cathedral.
Really?
yeah,
No
Cathedral
way.
and the
Not many
Proteas.
people can say that.
yeah.
There's actually very few people that can say that.
Yo, we spent like at first like 4 nights there at a time.
Yo, 4 nights at a time at Cathedral.
Yeah, like because we stayed there for the mouse traps. So we
Yo,
left
it is
out
mainly
the
you and
traps.
Monique, eh?
Yeah, it's just me and Monique.
Yeah, because
usually.
Monique was doing a lot of like high altitude sampling.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's
Camilla was mainly
Cathedral.
doing stuff like around the hut.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like
Yeah,
a whole
so
other
Monique
thing.
and I, we designed this whole transects around the island.
Yo.
So then I did my work, incorporated with hers, because then it made it easier, because then we could help each other.
Yeah.
Then she doesn't have to set up the traps on her own, because it's a lot and it's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's annoying, man. Washing those traps. Like, you have to wash them
Yeah,
afterwards.
I
All the
remember.
peanut butter. Ugh, yeah, that's kak.
I remember
Shame.
Camilla doing it, like washing traps and bleaching them and stuff. I was
Yeah,
like, yo,
yeah.
this is gross, man.
It's just annoying. Like, later on, when I just wanted to catch mice around the hut, I didn't even use peanut butter, because I knew, fuck it. I'm just going to use like a piece of tennis biscuit. It's
Just
just
put it on.
dry. I mean, you're still going to fucking catch them.
You're still gonna catch them.
We're not going to
Remember-
wash this trap afterwards. Fuck it.
You guys were using
No,
those
like-
black boxes and you put the trap inside there.
Oh, no, we used the usual, what do you call it, the snap traps.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, we didn't use the boxes.
because I remember like we were at Cape Davis hut and Camilla was like setting up traps around the hut. And she was tired of those black boxes because like the box,
It's annoying.
it's annoying because you have to clean the box afterwards. So she was like, okay, I'm just going to put snap traps out.
Yeah.
And she put the snap traps out. And then it like she was looking out the window and she just went, oh goodness, and opened the door and starts running. A snap trap went, caught a mouse, and a
It's so-
squirrel came and grabbed the mouse and started flying away with the trap.
That happened. That happened a lot. With the gulls as well, the kelp gulls. They also go for
No,
the
they
mice.
go for the mice as well.
Yeah.
How are these mice
Yo.
surviving?
We had this one transect at the Cape Davis, nee. Yeah, it was fucked. And Goni as well, actually.
A lot of
Goni
mice,
plain.
eh?
A lot of mice, but the birds fuck up the traps. They fuck up everything. We had like covers. We had like a mesh cover. And we had like a core flute cover.
Yeah.
Man, they're smart, man. You like, obviously we anchored it with like pegs and stuff.
Yeah.
They pulled it out with the beaks and they fucking smashed the whole thing over and then they take the mice. It's crazy
Cape
shit.
Davis is scary. Cape Davis is scary.
Yeah.
That's where they found all those wallaby carcasses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I also saw that.
Did you see them?
Yeah.
How do they look now? It's just a pile of
No,
bones
it's,
there.
it's pretty much just a pile of bones.
Yo.
So it was in your year when it
Yeah.
still the feathers on them. But
It was crazy because they found them in our takeover when we got there.
yo,
They found them.
why
and
did they
then
all die there?
They were all predated by mice. It was like there was just like a explosion of population of mice there.
That's
And then I guess they started running out of food and they started eating the adults. And it's like around the time when the adults spend a lot of time on the nest. They found
So
like
weird.
10 or so like wallaby carcasses. And then it was Chris's idea to line them up. It was Chris's idea. It was Chris's idea to line them up. And I remember they like lined them up and like Chris told me that like Lucy was looking at like all of these carcasses after they lined them up. And Lucy was like, what if somebody like happens upon this? Maybe we should like tell people. Like this is actually very scary.
Yeah,
And
we
then
should have
this-
because we found it and we were like, "What the fuck? What happened here?" That's impossible. But I thought like, "Oh, somebody must have pulled it."
Literally.
There's
And then
no other way.
I forgot about it because I heard about it and I never went to that area. And then later that year, like I went to that area, we were walking and we were doing copies and we did twirling and what is the other one next to twirling? I forgot. Middle cop.
Middle cop or something.
We did like twirling and middle cop and then we carried on walking. And as you're walking, you like come upon these carcasses. And my heart dropped and I was like, what happened here? Like, because they were all lined up. It was like something like ate them, like there was like a predator or something, and this was its den. And I was like, yo, what happened here? Like,
It's a lion.
this is terrifying, dude. This is like so scary. Like somebody's doing like magic here or something. And then in my mind, I was like, oh wait, I remember. Like they found these carcasses and lined them up. And then I remember like, oh no, Chris is there, and Chris was like telling us about like how Lucy was like worried about all these carcasses. And I was like, yeah, rightfully so. This looks very scary.
It looks
like, why
scary.
did you
It's
guys do this?
suspicious. It's like, what the fuck happened here? So there was a lot of fledglings that died probably. Right before they flew off. Or
So I don't.
was it adult?
They were adults.
Yo, that's
They were
weird.
adults. Yeah, all of those were adults. They were all adults.
We didn't see many adults.
Yeah, that was
One that was getting.
yeah, they published that.
killed.
That was quite a weird.
Yeah,
was a weird
That's
occurrence.
a weird one. But we had a lot of fledglings dying. And
Really?
I think it was of the bird flu.
Oh, the
Especially
bird flu.
Coney. Oh,
Really.
yeah, a lot of. It
That's
was very
crazy, yeah.
sad. It was nice to see. Like you see them die on the nest.
That's so strange. I remember the sealers were even saying that there's like abnormally high mortality rates for seals as well. And they thought that avian influenza got to the seals
Yeah, it could be. We don't know. Hopefully not.
because they ended up with like, and they were sending us videos.
We had like a weird year. I think you guys had more snow than us as well. We didn't have a
Really?
lot of snow, really.
That's strange. We had a lot of snow, a lot of snow, especially like around midwinter and then again around December. We had some snow. It was weird to have some snow in
Yeah,
December.
like in September we had a lot. August, we had a lot. August probably the coldest time.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think August was the coldest. And March was the hottest. Like, I'm not even joking. In the
Really?
start of March, it was super warm. It was like the first time I had to like even in babes, it was like feeling, yeah, I'm gonna walk in shorts now. Like in the inside, you know?
People are out there with their t-shirts and shorts.
Yeah, man. I
sitting
was
in
just
the
walking with my
sun.
thermals on, you know.
Yeah, I got to a point where I was doing that.
That was weird. It's like a heat wave that 1 week. I was like feeling really sweaty and hot all the time.
Did you ever get heat stroke?
No.
I got heat stroke once.
Really?
Yeah, it was 16 degrees.
That sounds funny. You're heat stroke, 16 degrees.
Yeah, 16 degrees and I was walking out.
But that's hot for Marion. Fuck.
hard
That's
for
hot.
Marion.
That's hot.
And I was like working and I got to base and I had skivvy. I had like kitchen skivvy. And I was cleaning the kitchen and I was like, yo, bro, I can't even stand right now. Like, I think I got too hot today.
Yeah.
And it was like 16. It's like, what happened to my body? What's going on here?
I just quickly want to pause because I just want to go to the loo. Go back. All right, we're back. Oh, I wanted to ask you now, what did I think about now? You wanted to go back to the island. You want to go back for a year or?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I have like a pipe dream of being a killer whaler. But I
I
don't know.
also
if
have that dream. Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's like
The energy they give.
it's like a weird job here. It's a weird job, and the thing is, like, I hated killer ops so much. I would try to do the least amount of killer ops, and then I left the island. I was like, you know what, I could go back to killer.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's like it's a very unlikely dream. But I don't know. I feel like there's like some potential with the sampling. I think you could do some interesting things with the sampling.
The sampling.
Yeah, not like
Like the biopsy sampling.
The biopsy sampling?
Crossbow.
the biopsy sampling and then maybe the device deployment. I don't know. I'd like
That'd be cool.
that'd be cool, but I think the biopsy sampling. I think you could do some interesting things there. But I don't know. Maybe I could like be a good part-time killer whaler. Maybe I should go back to something
You don't
else.
want to be as a full killer whaler. Well, then you should just go back as a sealer. Then you're
No,
part-time.
if my responsibility is to do all those killer ops, I'll lose my mind.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, eh? You have to
killer
sit
ops
there in the
crazy.
snow and the ice, and all the rain.
Yo.
It's
If I get
difficult.
to walk, I took a bow and arrow to the island.
Oh, really?
Because there's a range there. It's like where the killer whaler shoots their crossbow.
Yeah. No, I know. I also did that.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
It's fun.
So much fun. And we had a ship that also came like halfway through the year, and we could like get some supplies. You guys also had that. It's a
Yeah,
really
we did.
that's
Yo,
a nice
I was,
thing.
I
Hey?
was happy for that.
Yo, that's
helped a
really
lot.
nice.
Got my
Yo.
beer.
beer.
Didn't have any beer. It's like,
I
yo.
remember Jenslo had like a bunch of crates in his office, and he was like, "Yeah, these are stuff going to the island." And some of those crates were going clink, clink, clink. And I was like, I know what's in these crates. I know what these guys need on the island. And he was like, yeah, that's pizza. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
That's
man.
hilarious.
But that's a difficult thing, is the planning for, I think for some people, okay, a lot of people didn't have time to
Yeah.
get this stuff.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. But
what did most people not have?
Well, it depends on what you want, but like everybody's liquor probably,
Yeah.
obviously, didn't last.
Did it become a dry year at some point?
Mine actually lasted the whole year.
Really?
Where are you going, Kevin?
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I actually helped out with a lot of the liquor because I brought a lot of papsak.
Hey, yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
Like boxes and boxes. And it's like 5 liters. Because you can pack them easily.
You can
man.
pack them.
We pack them like
You
in a
can pack
topen.
them.
One topen just full of like 8 whatever
That's
boxes.
nice.
You know? It's
That's
nice.
nice.
It's like, yo, and that lasts long.
It lasts
actually.
long.
It lasts long.
It lasts long, like a 5-liter
That
wine.
lasted the whole year for me. My last one I finished in April actually. But then
nice.
it got a bit of blech.
Really?
Yeah, it like, I don't know. And this one time, I can remember we were like having a party in the library and I brought out one of my boxes and I don't know what was wrong with that wine, but something was not on. Like, I think I put it somewhere hot or something. But that wine that was
Next to
like,
the heater.
this awful taste to it. But like, everybody was like, fuck it, we'll still
Fuck it, we're
drink
gonna
it.
drink it. We're gonna drink it. We're gonna finish this wine.
Yeah, we finished it that night. Even though it was shit.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like for people doing it that way the first time, it's hectic, man.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we had another incident with PWD. We made some.
Oh, but
brownies.
they were there with you guys for.
They were there with us for like 3 months. They were there for a long
Jeez,
time.
that
There were
was
50
bad.
people on base.
That was awful, probably.
No, it was really nice.
Was it nice?
It was really
Having
nice.
more people.
It was really nice. And you know what it
Okay.
did? I think it gave everyone something to do. Everyone was more busy in that period because you know, like a lot of base people, the things start calming down, and it gets to the point in the year. I don't know, like if you guys reach that point, maybe around like October, November, where like things become a bit like boring and stagnant, and some
Yes,
people start
it's
like,
about that time. I
yeah,
agree.
hey, and
Yeah,
then some
I
people
think
start
everybody
like,
goes through the same thing.
honestly, and it's always whenever I read like people like hear people talking about the year, it gets to that time where
You
people
can
start
see it in
becoming
the
bored.
notebooks as well.
You can see it in notebooks.
Because you can see at the start everyone's writing every time. in the
Yes.
notebooks. And then when it gets to like December, Jan, Feb, March,
Yeah.
it's not a lot of entries
not a lot.
anymore. And then it's like
Yeah.
skipping a lot of days.
That's crazy.
It's quite
That's
interesting because
crazy.
people are getting like bored.
People are getting bored. What
getting
happened in
homesick.
your guys' year?
What do you mean?
Like around that time, did you notice anything?
Yeah.
People's behavior changing.
Yeah, people changed it totally, man.
Really.
Yeah, like
Wild.
a lot. It changed.
But the
a lot.
field people.
Yeah, field people as well.
Really.
Yeah, people change a lot, I would say.
Yo.
There's a lot of drama and stuff that happened, but like I don't want to go into
Yeah,
that. I don't go into negative things.
Yeah,
man. It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think both of us had overall very
I
positive.
think every
years.
single team goes through some drama.
Yeah,
in a
everyone
way.
goes through some drama.
Yeah.
But like some years are a lot better than others. And I think
Yeah.
from what I've
I
heard,
think we've had a good year.
Yeah,
We
okay.
didn't have any aggressive people.
that's really
Like,
nice.
and I think that's a win. Like,
Yeah.
You can just get one guy.
Yeah.
Or one person becomes really angry at you and wants to
Yeah.
hit you,
No,
wants to
man.
fuck you up, or that'd be weird, man. How would
Yeah.
you? And now you have to live with that
Now you
guy
have to
and
live
now
with that
more
person.
6, 8 months, whatever. Yo, that's scary. Thought.
Luckily, in M79 when we got there, you could see that there were a lot of strong personalities in the team, and strong personalities tend to clash a lot.
Yeah, they'll clash.
Luckily, in our team, we didn't have that. We had
Yeah.
actually none. We had no one who was like trying to there was no like power struggle or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you can see in teams where there are that, it causes a lot of tension.
It causes a lot of tension.
I don't know if you guys don't seem like you had that.
It doesn't seem like that, but I think there was.
Okay,
I think
there was just something
there
happening
was a power
under.
thing. Definitely.
Yeah.
You know how people are. You get this opportunity with 20 people. You can actually be the most powerful person there
Yeah.
psychologically.
Yeah.
And overrule people.
Yo.
Where do you have that opportunity in normal life?
You're right. You got to
You don't.
maximize on it.
You can maximize that. You can fucking rule this
Power
island.
trip, yeah. I can be
It's
the
like
king.
a fucking survivor, man.
It's like Survivor.
That's quite interesting. Yo, I always like joked about it, but I shouldn't joke about it. But you can do like a PhD on psychology there, man.
You can.
With just the people.
Yo,
It's
and
so
I-
interesting.
And you know somebody applied for that once.
Oh, really?
Somebody applied for that. Because you get those 3-year funding cycles.
Yeah.
Somebody applied to do a psychological like assessment. So an overwinterer who would sit there and be a psychologist.
Yeah.
And would like
It would be very
offer
interesting. I always
counseling?
joked about it. Yeah, I'm actually one of those people. I joked with people about it, and then they would just laugh. Like,
It's like, yeah,
well,
I'm
I am
actually,
technically writing stuff down.
it's like, yeah, I'm recording all of your guys' behavior. It would be crazy. It would be crazy.
super crazy.
You know what I think somebody should do? Like a med student should come. Like a med student should come who would do like counseling, but also like run like, not clinical trials, not like drug trials or something like that, but like do like behavioral tests.
Yes.
Like Camilla was like, what if like they make the team, like the whole team do yoga? Like everyone does yoga, like it's compulsory. Like yoga skivvy, and then they like see how that affects like people's
That'd be
well-being.
interesting. That's a good thing.
Because you're on a space station basically.
Yeah.
You're like stuck in this like little building, or like some
bubble.
people are stuck. Yeah, this little bubble where there's like controlled factors.
Yeah.
Like you can like do experiments and see how that affects
Yeah.
team well-being and stuff like
No,
that.
definitely. But the only problem is with a person like that. That person also has to stay in the island. So that person's also part of the team. That makes the study so much more difficult and interesting because you're not like a control. You're not outside. You're not an outsider. You're part of that shit.
They did a film
So you
crew.
have to actually
Reality TV.
research yourself as well.
Yeah. Yo. Oh my God.
Yo, I think I changed a lot during the year.
In what way?
I think I became more in my own bubble. I think to keep the peace between
the
people,
peace.
you know?
Okay. Like a
'Cause
mediator.
Yeah, I don't want to make a lot of problems. Like sometimes there was stuff that bothered me, but I just kept quiet rather.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people were like that.
I remember when I spoke to Nita before I went and I asked for like any advice. And Nita was like, you have to learn how to let things go.
Yeah.
Because if you hold on to things like,
Yeah, it's not
It's
healthy.
not worth it.
It's not healthy for you.
yeah,
Then bottle it up inside of you, and that's what the writing helped me.
really?
Like when I was like in my room the night or whatever at the hut, write down of all the drama even that happened, even if drama that came from back home, whatever, anything. Just write all the bad shit
Yeah.
and get it out my system.
Yo.
Okay.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's
it
very
helped a
interesting.
lot. And then obviously I wrote about all the weird shit that happened. All those strange things, stuff that I went through.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
fun, man.
Yeah, it is a
Crazy
lot of
times.
ups and downs.
Yeah, you go through ups and downs.
But it's,
But it's so normal because I think every single team goes through the same shit.
every single team goes through it, but it's like never, like I wouldn't change it for the world, you know?
Mm.
I really, really enjoyed my time there and I was very sad to go. I didn't
I was also sad to go. Because
Yo.
it grew on you, man.
Yeah.
It became part of you. It's
Yeah.
like a part of your personality now.
You
Now
like
you
become
just
part
like,
of that island.
I tore it off and left it there,
Yo.
kind of.
How does it feel coming back?
Yo, it feels weird.
It feels weird.
It's surreal. That's the feeling.
Yeah.
It felt weird, like just being with this. Like the other day when I saw you at UCT.
Yeah.
It was like just being with a lot of people around me. It's like, yo, it's so overwhelming.
It's
And like-
weird, eh?
And like I realized like I do everything a lot slower than other people do. Like I was going for lunch with MJ and Charlene, and like they eat quickly, they order quickly in front, they can decide quickly. I'm like, yeah, I don't know
What's
what to
happening?
do.
Yeah.
Everything is so fast, and they choose a seat quickly. And I was like, yeah, maybe sit there. Maybe, you know. I feel like I'm slower. Like
I'm
I'm
like
thinking,
taking my time with things.
yeah, it's not a rush.
No, the world is different here now.
The world is
The world is
different. So
different.
rushed. Yeah.
It's crazy.
So many shit going around.
There's too much. There's too much.
Like even this room, there's too many things in this.
There is.
There's a
hey?
room here.
There is. When you live on the island, everything becomes a lot simpler.
So much more simple.
Your mind, like your mind quietens. That was annoying for me actually.
Yeah.
That was because like
On the island,
yeah, it was annoying that my mind quietened because I like a lot of stimulus.
you like.
I like a lot of stimulus, and like I would struggle with new information. I'm like like I wasn't like exposed to like new things or like
Yeah,
that
that is a
often.
thing that's weird. Man.
Right.
That's what helped me with the podcast. Because sometimes when the
Yes.
internet was a bit better, I download some podcasts.
Yeah.
It took like a week to download one. But
Yo.
anyway, when it's downloaded, I'm like, oh, thank God. Just some new,
Something
something new, a new stimulus.
Yo.
Other person describing something.
here we go.
Not out of these people that I'm living with's opinion all the time. Just some other opinion.
Yeah, some new information.
New information.
It's a commodity. You crave it. You're like, I want new things now.
Yeah. Like when I came back and I just hear like all my friends and family like stuff about the news and like all these things that they've learned this year. And
Yeah.
like, yo. I felt like, yo, I missed out on it. I don't know, fuck all. Like everybody's talking about that Trump administration when I came back. Like, yeah, I don't know, fuck all.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing even now. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's funny, man. It's crazy.
But yeah, being on the island and not having access to like more information. I used to like, sometimes Wikipedia would work. I would spend hours on Wikipedia.
Yes, same. I also did that.
Click.
Wikipedia sometimes
read and read. And
that
I'm
worked
like,
the best, actually.
Wikipedia worked really well.
Yeah, actually,
it worked really well.
I think it's because it doesn't have a lot of photos.
Yeah.
It's just like wording.
Yeah. And you can go down rabbit holes forever and ever. And you
Yes.
could learn about things. I was like reading about seals around the world and like different types of programs, different types of Antarctic bases.
Yeah.
Like, what are those people doing? What are those people doing?
I was actually also doing that. I was like Googling all the islands close by, and, like going into the wiki pages, and plants that occur there or whatever.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out. Yo, I tried to download papers, that didn't work.
Yeah.
But at least I had a nice folder of, I had like, this is probably 2,000 papers.
Really?
Yeah.
All on Marion?
Not on Marion, but most are on Antarctica and Subantarctica.
Wow, okay.
Like half of it at least. And
That's
then there's like
really nice.
alpine regions papers.
Okay.
But I obviously didn't read all of it.
Are you going to publish some of your research?
It would be nice.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Do it.
I can definitely. There's a lot of data and I sorted most of it on the island as well. I did a lot of sorting work in the lab.
Really?
Yeah, so the days I didn't go out, I just sorted in the lab. Yeah.
Like your moss stuff, you could probably publish that.
Yeah, I can, but I feel like I need more stuff there.
I mean, it's a good catalog already.
Yeah, it's okay.
I mean, the thing is that no one else is gonna do it.
Yeah, no one else is going to do it.
No one else is
That's
gonna
the
do
problem.
it. Yeah.
I will have to
That's
do
the
it.
problem. It's also the benefit because
It's
now
the benefit and the problem.
Yeah, because now you have like basically the most moss data.
I do
for
actually.
Marion.
It's crazy to
You have the
think.
responsibility now to publish it.
But like my thinking was to go back for a takeover.
Okay.
Just to learn all the moss now, like know which is which, where to find them.
Go back with a plan.
and then go back with a plan. Because I didn't really have a plan. I was just like, opportunistic. Okay, that thing looks weird. Let's sample it, write about it. Its growth form. Okay, it looks like it's growing on a rock. Substrate is on a rock. Blah blah blah. That's what I did. It's just like opportunistic.
That's so cool. You probably found a lot of stuff that no one's ever written about.
Maybe. Actually, I think there's some moss species. I don't know where they fit in.
The herbarium there doesn't have a lot of mosses in it.
No.
I went through the herbarium.
There's a 70s one. It's cuck old.
It's old.
It's the
It's
Gremlins
so
one.
old.
It's too old.
Yo.
It's too old.
Who's that one? Brian Huntley.
Yeah, that
He
guy.
has like a lot of samples in there, but I don't think
Yeah.
he has a lot of mosses. He did all the vascular plants in there.
Yeah, he did vascular plants.
But yeah, there's like some mosses in there and they're in Ziploc bags and it's just like dried material.
Yeah, that was fucked up, man.
It's not good.
Yo, but there were another ones as well. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was in these plastic covers. They were better.
Yeah.
Those ones were better.
Yeah. I went through the plant collection.
I actually added all those moss. I just put them in Petri dishes, actually. Like
Really?
with codes. And I have a data sheet of all the codes.
Nice.
I just kept it there because I felt like the new people that's coming in, they should use that.
They should.
And then you have information on the moss already.
Yeah.
And you can just update it.
Sure.
And, we can use that information, maybe do like a moss study between. I love community work.
Yeah.
Like community complex between vegetation.
Yeah.
It's very interesting for me.
Yo.
Like because what I found in my sorting work is like, because what I did, that's what I like about Michelle, because she was open for my own ideas. So I would have just done pitfalls.
If you were just following the
calls,
protocol.
Yeah, and active searching. But then I added azorella core, and I added moss vegetation. Like what I put it under the lights and I dried out and see all the fossa came out, basically. That was very interesting because then I saw that most mosses have different communities of microarthropods, where some mites only occur in certain mosses.
Yeah.
Some weevils will not be on that moss; they will just chill on this moss.
Yeah.
You'll find like that patterns of It's very interesting for me. And there's no work on that.
And are the communities unique between these mosses?
I
Or
think
what's
so.
the overlap?
There is overlap. There's
Yes.
there's a big overlap, but there are some, you can see there are some species of mites definitely that only occurs on certain moss.
Really?
Yeah, you don't see it anywhere else.
Are they predating on the moss, or are they?
I'm not sure. That's the thing. They're probably predating. on the
And this
moss.
is just mites and moss.
Yeah, it's mites, Colembala, it's
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
Make a
some of the
network of this stuff.
Colembala, there's a lot of variables that come into play. It's not just obviously the vegetation itself. It could be altitude. It could be on the what slope, what side of a aspect the moss grows. So there's a lot of things you need to consider.
That's very interesting. Community work is very interesting.
Yeah,
Basically, what I'm working on now.
yeah. I was looking at even Acina twigs for bark beetles, maybe.
Really?
Just for interest, but I didn't
You found any?
No, I didn't find anything. I found mites that feed onto the bark.
Really?
Looks like it, yeah.
Did you find a lot of beetles? those
I
aquatic
found all the
beetles.
species. Like I said, the 6 weevil species and the 1 Meropaphus.
Yo.
But in my samples, not a lot. Like I found with the active searching.
Okay.
That's basically just sitting down and trying to find as many things as possible.
Yeah.
And what makes it very lekker on that island, those insects don't really have a defense mechanism. They just chill. Like here in South Africa, if you pick up a weevil here,
Yeah.
they'll fall and they'll like fall into the vegetation, and you're like, oh fuck, I lost it.
Yeah.
Then they're like, you just pick them up, put them in the epi. Only big problem is the wind can maybe blow it
Yeah,
out
the
of
wind
your
can blow them away.
tweezer or whatever.
That's so funny.
But like they don't have a defense mechanism.
They can't do
It's not-
anything.
It's not like, oh shit, something's here, I need to go hide. There's nothing
No.
like that. But yeah, obviously if you try to active searching here, you need to be on it with your
Yeah.
net and your... You need to fucking be on it. You
Yeah.
have to fucking shake that bush and try and get that shit as quickly as
Yeah,
possible.
and they're all scurrying away.
They're all scurrying away,
The
going into
spiders
holes.
maybe. But the
Yeah.
spiders are surely like a bit better.
Yeah, the spiders were a bit better. The Myra at least ran away. the smaller one, nah.
Are there a lot of spiders in Marion?
There's 3 species.
3.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, indigenous ones. Yeah. And then there's an invasive one around the base.
Really?
The one that you see in the toilets there sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes it's also the Myra Kerguelensis is also chilling in the base sometimes.
Whoa. I remember going up into the interior and you see all the red rocks with webs around them.
Oh yeah, that is the smaller spider. It makes
And they're
webs.
feeding on weevils. What are they
I'm
feeding
not
on?
no,
What's
they
up
won't,
there?
They won't feed on weevils. They'll probably feed on the small midges or the flies. And that's why they have that web. Or the Colembala that jumps up into it.
Yo,
Something like
that's
that.
crazy.
And then that larger one is the hunter. So it doesn't make a web. Runs
just
and
runs
hunts
around.
Colembala and eats it.
That's crazy. Subantarctic spiders. I can't believe there's that many species.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's actually crazy. But I could never distinguish between, because the one is Myro Kerguelensis, the other one's Myro Marionensis. I don't know what the difference
there's
is.
a Marienensis.
Yeah, it's the one that
Wow.
only occurs there.
What's the degree of endebism for
Not a
invertebrates?
lot.
Really?
No, nothing actually. I think it's only that spider. Only of invertebrates, it only occurs on that
On
island.
Marion.
That one, and I think maybe Baphometopus randi. The one
Randy,
weevil.
yeah.
Yeah, the weevil is a Randy, obviously. Bob Rand.
Barbara and yeah, there's also Polystachym.
I think it only occurs there. Yeah, Polystachym, Marion.
Yeah.
But I think that occurs on other islands. It's not just
No
on
ways.
Marion.
Polystachym.
Marionense.
Marionense.
Occurs on other islands, I think.
That's hilarious. And then Elaphoglossum. Oh, the Elaphoglossum is Randy.
Yeah, that's Randy. Yeah.
That one's awesome.
I did some work on that as well. I found like
Really?
a massive populations of
Where?
it. You know where Tom, Dick and Harry is?
Yeah, there's a
Everyone
big
knows
one
about
there.
that.
Yeah.
If you go up, I call it a Elaphoglossum Valley. There's fucking loads.
No
You just go up
ways.
there and you just look and you just need to know where to look.
What?
You look on northern slopes. Everywhere. bro.
Everywhere?
Everywhere. It's
Yo.
like full on the rock, full on the Blechnum. It's not rare.
It's not rare.
I don't
remember
believe it's rare anymore.
Seeing it in the like
I made like
herbarium.
GPS points.
Being
Like,
like, where's the Elaphoglossum? And I'm trying to look, and they're like Santa Rosa Valley.
did
and
you
like-
find it there?
I looked in Santa Rosa Valley, and I couldn't find anything. I could only find Polystachym there. Polycycum is
Nah,
like
it's
not
it's
rare.
everywhere there as well.
Yeah,
Just
but
need to know
Elaphoglossum,
where
I'm
to
like,
look.
where the hell do you find the stuff? And I remember looking on Score Ridge, looking on all the northern-facing slopes, trying to find it.
No, you
So I
won't
couldn't
get it on Square Ridge. You need it needs to be black rocks,
Okay.
and it needs to be northern slope. And it's sometimes I usually use Raccometrium as there's like a Raccometrium growing between
Yeah.
Blacknam. I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes higher up there's more Raccometrium
Yeah.
and lower down.
Yeah.
Usually at higher up spot you'll
Where it's
see the
drier.
Elaphoglossum.
Really?
That's where you'll see it. It's
What?
drier there or something. I'm not sure why.
It's a beautiful plant. It's a beautiful.
Yeah, I like
It's a
it.
beautiful. Yeah, it's a really nice plant.
Beautiful. But I found a lot, man, at Black Rocks Plateau. There is a
Really?
population there that doesn't make sense for me. Like usually it's on North Slope. That's the only one I found. It's like on a flat surface, like a carpet.
What? A carpet
It's
of
a carpet
Elaphoglossum.
of Elaphoglossum. But
What?
it's only like this, like a centimeter high. It's not like tall. Like it's huge.
What?
It's just like this carpet.
In Black Rocks.
Yeah, in between the Black Rocks.
That's crazy.
I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Like it's full sun. It's flat. Now it's not making sense to the other populations. I don't know. I don't understand.
Yo.
But you know, like Santa Rosa, where the polystechum
Yeah.
grows also in full non-exposed areas.
Yeah.
And then usually it's underneath the caves.
Yeah,
and
usually it's like in an overhang or
the
something.
overhangs. It's like
I don't get
that's
it.
some studies that should be done there. It's like
Santa Rosa is a
different
weird place.
genotypes or something. In the
Santa
plants,
Rosa
I
is a
think.
strange place because there's like so much weird like wind things that go on there. The wind is not. It's like a bowl,
Yeah.
and the wind is just churning in there. That's
It's
why
a
the
weird-
grey-headed's like grey-headed ridge.
You think so?
I think so. I think there's like a weird wind thing that happens there.
Well,
Yeah, because
I
they
haven't noticed that.
only like really chill on that like on grey-headed ridge, and then they go over to Rook's Pen on the other side. I don't know what's up with them though. Also, I think it's why they break their wings a lot. It's because the wind there is very unpredictable. I don't know if there's still wind stations there,
Yeah,
but there's a lot in that
There's
area.
one at the bottom that doesn't work, and then there's two in Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
apparently, and then there's two on the ridge.
Yeah.
At the bottom. Yeah, Vanessa she checked the data. for
Really?
that.
Okay, I'm glad the data's still being checked for that stuff.
Yeah.
It used to be winders.
They're still doing it actually. They're still
Really?
checking it. Yeah.
Okay.
I've Amelia that switched out with Vanessa is doing it still.
Okay.
Yeah, there were Winders, Janine,
Yeah.
Schoonby. Who else was Winders?
Elsa.
Oh, Elsa, of course.
Elsa was a
Elsa
Winder,
was a Winder first.
Yeah.
I
Winder
forgot.
botanist. How wild
Yeah.
is that? Wind
I think
data
she
and-
had a very nice team that first time.
Yeah, that first time sounds. Was it
'Cause
M75?
I had a conversation with her before I went.
Okay, was that your point of contact?
Yeah, it was a good one because she went twice, and she
Yeah.
said that I listened to her voice note just like the other day, just for
Really?
interest, like just to see what she said. Like it
Yeah.
will make more sense to me maybe now because now I went through the whole year. Now it does make more sense. And she said like, it depends on your team at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And she's like, our second team wasn't that great because the dynamics were weird. But our first team were awesome because
Yeah.
the people were just like more chilled. And I agree with her. I think it totally depends probably on the team, how your year. It can be very terrible if you have a terrible. You actually just need one bad apple. It can just fuck up
true.
your whole year.
It's true.
Yeah. But at least I don't feel like we had a bad apple that
That's good.
fucked up the whole year. No. Maybe for some people, not for me. I had a good year, but I don't want to go into that too much. I had a good relationship with most people, I would say.
Yeah, I think about yeah as well. I
Yeah.
think about yeah as well.
Yeah.
So what's next? What's next for ex-Islander?
Nah, fuck knows, man.
There's talks of a PhD. You spoke to
Yeah, I'm
Charlene.
gonna go to Pretoria next week. Maybe I'll
Oh,
talk to
damn,
Michelle
okay.
about it.
Yeah.
Maybe I should use this data for PhD. The cool thing about it is if I do a PhD, I can go on with this
Yeah, that's nice.
podcast thing,
Yeah.
continue doing interviews.
Yeah.
Because with PhD, you're a bit flexible in your
Yeah.
work. But if I do a work, let's say I become a horticulturalist or a fucking manager of whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Then you're going to be fucking busy. Then you're not going to have time to do this.
No.
So,
No.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
it's better
see.
to be flexible.
I'm just taking this month off This month's almost done actually, but I told myself the first month I'm not going to do much. I'm just going to ease it into it. But it feels like I'm probably going to do another month of just easing into it. And then maybe I'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm applying for jobs around and just seeing where I can get a job. Life is difficult, man.
Yeah, it's crazy after you come back in.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
How was it for you?
I had a really hard time when I got back.
Hard time?
Yeah, I had a really hard time when I came back.
What made it hard?
It was just like trying to like, I don't know, like I was very happy on the island and I was very like settled there. And then I came back and I had to like figure out my life and sort of like, I don't know, because I took a leave of absence, I removed myself from the stresses of like my situation, being like studying and like making my way.
Now you came back into it again.
And then I came back into it, like non-willingly. I was just like, the time ran out and now I have to go back to this. And I got back and I was like, like trying to make my master's work out, trying to like also like, I don't know, figure out where I'm going to go with all this bio stuff.
So you said your master's was on seaweed.
It was on seaweed,
You didn't continue with it now?
No, so it stopped soon after I got back.
Okay.
So I got funded for it again because I had to reapply for funding.
Yeah.
And then I got the NRF funding and I came back, and the project was like, it wasn't going where I wanted it to go, and it didn't really have the support that I wanted it to have. The lab was beautiful.
What was the project?
So the project was really interesting. The project was like, I'm really interested in metabolomics. So like I'm really interested in like active compounds. So it is a marine biodiscovery master. So we were basically looking at a genus of seaweed that produces weird molecules.
That's cool.
And a lot of these molecules are novel, and a lot of these molecules can be used for all sorts of things. But it was like, it also had a taxonomy component.
Yeah.
So the genus had to be revised. So I was going to basically revise the genus and then also look at metabolites as a secondary thing.
That's difficult, eh?
It's difficult, but it's like something that I'm really interested in. Marine biodiscovery is quite cool because a lot of people like, firstly, don't even know what they're looking at.
Most things in the ocean is like undescribed.
So many
what
things.
the hell is going on there?
So many things undescribed. Like you can sample a coastline and find things that people have never described before.
Never seen.
And
because we don't live there. Or maybe we will one day. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, so I was working on that, and then my supervisor resigned, and I, like coincidentally, before my supervisor
when
resigned.
the supervisor resigned, did they let you go on with the project? Or?
So there was so what happened was, before my supervisor resigned, there was an opportunity that came up for another project, which was working on pollination. And that's like more in my field. That's like more, I was pivoting to seaweed, which I was very interested in. But now this was like in botany, and it included like also plants, bugs, and birds. It's like proper pollination networks. Nice. And I was like, wow, this looks very interesting. So I applied for it. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, I just applied for it with a master's at the moment.
Yeah.
And then like I didn't hear anything back. And then like, there were whispers around the lab that my supervisor was going to resign and that things would be shaken up a little bit. And some people would have to like make a decision on whether to carry on or to go to Ireland and join the lab there, or to carry on here and work remotely with the supervisor.
Bit of a big commitment.
It was a big thing. Yeah, some people went.
Really?
Went. Yeah, two people went. And then the rest of the lab stayed here, and people are finishing up now. So that was the decision, and I was like, yo, this is pretty hectic. And then I got a call back from this master's, and my supervisor is one of your old supervisors, Francois Roots. And I don't know if you know Anton Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Anton's my main supervisor.
Okay, is he your main supervisor?
Yeah, so I'm basically in his lab at UCT. He moved to UCT.
Yeah,
so
he moved to UCT.
Yeah.
He was at Stellenbosch.
He was at Stellenbosch. So he just got to UCT, and he's like, I don't have any students. But there's this project that came out, and it's
cool,
a really nice, well-funded project on really cool stuff. And I was like, Anton, I have to level with you. I actually have a master's.
What did he say?
I was like, I need to like level with you. I already have a master's. And he was like, okay, but like just think about it, whatever. And he was really interested in the Marion stuff. He's like, I heard you went to Marion, and like that's really cool. And I think that this project would suit you a lot, because the project is not a standard project in a lot of ways. It's actually a bit of a weird one. And then, like, I went back to my lab and carried on with my work. And then, like, the like lab was starting to get shaken up a bit. And I was like, okay, there's this like escape route here. And I went to Anton and I was like, I think I'm gonna take your project.
Yeah.
And then I like pivot. I took completely swap projects.
That's
Supervisor left, some people left, the lab remained, whatever.
And you're probably much happier now.
This project is so nice.
So nice.
So nice.
Well, it looks like you have a nice team that you work with.
Yeah, I have a nice team that I work with.
Now, how does it work? Are they all part of the project?
They're all part of the project. So it's one umbrella project.
Oh,
Yeah.
But you have different questions, basically.
It's one umbrella project.
All of you have different questions.
Yeah, it's too big for one master's.
Yeah,
it's too big for one master's, because you're looking at plants, you're looking at birds.
Yeah, it's the same with my masters.
You're looking
We
at
had
insects.
also umbrella, like
Really?
yeah, me and Garen, we did the same thing, but he did like took some of the sites and I took some of the sites.
Okay. What were you guys working on?
In the shuttle border.
Okay.
Yeah. That's Francois' main thing.
Yes, that's a really cool. He's got some really cool publications on that.
Yeah.
That's cool stuff. So he helps now with like we basically just work on Proteas. We work on Proteas full time.
And you said like on different species of Proteas.
We work on different species of Proteas. We work on about like 18 or so species of Proteas, and we look at all of the bird and insect pollinators of these Proteas at set sites. So it's a resurvey. Somebody's done this work before. Big boy. Kevin.
What a legend of a cat.
Somebody's done this work before, and they went to all of these sites, and they basically made a network. They made a pollination network of like all the pollinators.
Do you like
all these Proteas.
catch the pollinators?
Yeah, we catch the pollinators.
Well, like what method do you guys use? Do you just like pan traps or?
No, we do like 15-minute observations of inflorescences. Okay. So you like stand there and you like watch the inflorescence and you see what pollinators arrive and depart.
And then you make notes on it.
And if anything new arrives or departs, you try to catch it.
You try to catch it.
Yeah, we have a little vial. We used to use aspirators.
Well, of a net, maybe?
Yeah, I think small nets are probably the move.
The move.
I think small nets are probably the move. Because
Puter doesn't work.
Yeah, they don't. No.
You just suck them up.
We had aspirators, but like the guys don't like them.
Oh, you don't like them.
They just they too flimsy, and they like don't really work on some of the smaller things.
Yeah, I use it a lot on the island. Actually.
Yeah, on the island it's probably the best thing, because no one
works.
uses a net on the island.
No.
Yeah, it can't. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
But I think here we need to use nets. We've been moving through a few things. We first started with like cyanide killing jars. And then we would just like
and you just like
close
them while they
close them in the cyanide jar.
That's hilarious.
And then they would stop moving and then transfer them to a vial.
Okay.
Because we were catching a lot of bees, and the problem is like if you catch bees in ethanol, it ruins their hair, and when you pin them, they don't look like 100% right.
That's interesting that you guys do it like that. Isn't the sampling effort so much more difficult? Because now you have to stand there the whole day.
Yeah, well, we basically are standing there the whole day. We're standing at like we're looking at 2 inflorescences for 15 minutes. And then when that's done, you go to the next one.
You get to the next one.
Okay. And you just look at all those and you basically just like building the
network. At least here, you guys are 4 people.
We're 4 people.
So you guys divide the work? Or?
Yeah, so we divide the work. So what happens is we split it up. So some people will do bird obs. So we'll get to the site and we'll first do a bird count of all the birds that are there, because the birds are active in the morning and they're active at like 3 o'clock again. Yeah. And it's mainly sunbirds and sugarbirds that we're looking at.
Yeah.
So we like sit in the middle of our site and then we like stand on a ladder, a really tall ladder, so we can see everything. And then write down all the birds that we see. And then we put up cameras. We have like these time-lapse cameras.
I saw cameras.
Yeah.
This is just to see what birds come visit and how long do they stay. And
that's for birds and butterflies, actually.
Oh.
The butterflies won't visit. They won't visit an inflorescence if you're standing there.
Oh no, of course.
Yeah, but the bees and Protea beetles and all those things, they'll come. So you can stand there, but butterflies won't. Butterflies are very like, I don't know, they're very skittish.
This is very cool work. I love that interaction work.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love interaction.
So
what type of bugs do you find? Like insects?
We found some interesting stuff. Obviously, most common is like Apis mellifera, capensis, classic, Cape honeybee.
Cape honeybee,
and then we get these like Carodica beetles.
Mm-hmm.
They're very common actually. These like iridescent green beetles, and you get a few different species. They're flea beetles, so they have those like strong like thighs.
Yeah.
We get those
Monkey beetles? You get monkey beetles?
less than you'd expect, eh?
Okay.
Less than you'd expect. I thought there'd be a lot of monkey beetles, but we sometimes find them.
Yeah.
And only on some species. It looks like they have a smaller interaction with Proteas. It's mainly for the things that like are on everything out. Those honeybees, flea beetles,
The fruit chafers?
no,
You don't get the fruit chafers?
no.
That's
What genera?
I'm not sure. I don't know my genera of fruit chafers.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because you get that Protea fruit chafer beetle, but I think they might be more on. I'm not sure now. I'm gonna lie now, and I want to lie.
We do get some strange beetles.
Yeah.
We do get some strange beetles. It's mainly okay if we're looking at like orders. It's mainly beetles and bees. Yeah, and it's a lot of solitary bees.
Yeah.
A lot of halictids, and weird halictid bees. So that's what we spend a lot of time doing is identifying these city bees. Like you're getting them down.
You'll find a lot of weird bees.
You find a lot of weird bees. And they're all the same thing, man. They all look the same.
Yeah, but if you look in closely, you're like, you pin them next to each other.
And the thing is, if you want a network, you have to get them to species level, and you have to you have to try to make the network as big as possible.
Oh, that's very cool, man. One of my friends in Neisner, he did a postdoc at NMU, at George campus, Asphalt campus. But he did like traps, like pan traps in the forest, like the different canopy lengths.
Wow.
But he put pan traps in the fynbos as well. And I know he told me he's not looking at that data because it's too much. So he only sorted through the forest ones. So I'm like wondering, like, it'd be cool to see what pollinators in the fynbos. But obviously there's a lot more stuff in the fynbos than the forest.
I don't know, hey? I don't know. I think we're looking at like probably less than like 35 pollinators. And that's like pushing it. Like
just for Protea, right?
Just for Proteas.
Yeah.
Just for Proteas. Like maybe
but if let's just
30.
You can think on the fynbos, if it's just Protea, you look at all the other species as well and you combine that.
Yeah, no, then it's crazy.
Then
it's
it's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, then it's crazy.
Then it's crazy.
There's a lot going on. But I have a feeling that our networks are already like really messed up. I think like a lot of things have been extirpated. And I think like I think so. Because you won't see it in the plants. The ecosystem will remain intact. Yeah. Like if you walk around, plants will remain unaffected. They work on a much longer scale.
Yeah.
But things like bees are so susceptible to like even 1 year of like bad pollen.
That's true.
Because the thing is, if a bee gets half the amount of pollen this year, that's half the amount of babies.
Yeah.
If it gets a tenth of the amount of pollen, it's a tenth of the amount of babies. If it gets too little pollen the next year, the bee's gone.
Yeah.
Like if it's a little bit too like
you think like frequent fires in the fynbos will have an effect?
So that's what this study is like looking at.
Oh, really? That's what your study's looking at?
Yeah. So
yeah, that's cool.
So the sites that we're looking at are sites that have burnt. And so we're looking at like a lot of post-burn, and then we're also doing pre-burn.
Post-burn.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It makes sense.
It doesn't make pollen, so you lose your. Where does those bees have to go then?
So the network should be resilient. Like that's how the network was built. It was built around these fires. But then you have like other factors, like maybe like land use change is a big one, or fragmentation, or like co-occurrence, like the phenology of the insects and the plants. Maybe those don't line up anymore. Maybe the insects get there, the plants are done, the plants start flowering, there's no insects around, and then it just falls out of sync. Something's happened.
Oh.
Like I think these networks are like probably, if somebody did a network like 100 years ago, which you actually can, if you look to do like collections. You can like go and like find bees and look at pollen on them, and then like count the proportions of pollen, and then you can build a network from that.
You can, yeah.
And you can
It's gonna be a lot of work. Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it'll be really cool work.
Yeah.
Really cool work. You can basically like build like historical famous ecosystems. You can like build them from just pin collections.
Yeah.
And you can compare them to now and see like, okay, how have things changed?
I think that's so important to educate people on this type of thing. Like people don't realize that if you destroy a piece of land to build some real estate on it, that you're actually destroying a big history there. That you're not even, because you can't see it.
You can't see it.
You think there's nothing and there's
You
nothing
think there's
important.
nothing.
You can go do the EIA report and say, it's fine, there's no cool plants here or endangered plants, it's fine, fuck it up.
Yeah.
You know? And then you don't realize a lot of insects use that as a stepping stone to somewhere else.
It's such a complex system. It's such a complex system. You can't wrap your head around it. It's difficult enough.
But it sounds like a very cool project.
Yeah, it's a nice project.
So when did you start with this project?
I started at the beginning of this year.
Beginning of this year.
And our field season is basically like...
In the summer? Or
no.
so you're doing it
Proteas flower in the winter.
Of course, they flower in the winter. Yeah.
Proteas flower in the winter is super weird.
Yeah.
Super strange.
Yeah.
So this is like the middle of our flowering season. So we go into the field a lot. You should actually come out into the field. I know you're going to Pretoria, but when you're back.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Please invite me. I'll come with.
You should come out.
Help a bit.
Yeah, our field days are a lot of fun. They are quite busy, but they are also a lot of fun. Get to go some really cool places.
Yeah.
And see some weird Proteas. See some weird Proteas. There are
some weird Proteas.
They're so strange. The ecology of Proteas, some of the craziest things ever. Yeah. They are like wine cups on trees.
Yeah.
And there's so much nectar in them. There's
Which
so
one
much.
Is this?
All of them.
All the species. There's a lot of nectar.
Repens. Let's say, for example, repens.
Yeah.
Repens grows everywhere. It's basically, it's basically like the cosmopolitan Protea.
Yeah.
It grows everywhere. It grows in every ecosystem.
You know how to get out that honey, that nectar out of it?
You just flip it over.
You can put it in a plastic bag, man.
No ways.
And you flip it over and you swing your arm.
No ways. And it gets
and
it out.
It gets out. Everything out. You get the pollinators even out like that.
Yeah.
That's what we used to do in our undergrad. When we sampled. We used to swing it. I want to swing out all the bees and everything that's inside of it. Get it out like that with the nectar and everything. Yeah, that's what you used for sugar in the old time, eh?
Yeah, it's delicious.
And it's sweet. It's nice.
Delicious.
Beautiful.
It's so good. But and then you like I don't know what these birds are doing, because like you see some like of these inflorescences. Some of them they got like that whiny, a good whiny flavor. And they ferment in there. They properly ferment in there. They become alcoholic.
Wow.
And you can ask Francois. There's a whole ecosystem of fungi and yeast going on in there as well.
Jeez.
Ancient genera
all
of
the
fungi.
mites and all that.
Yeah, it's stewing in there. And those birds, they're drinking that stuff. They're drinking there. You see them, they go for the old ones as well. And you like see a bird visiting this Protea lot, and you're like, this Protea doesn't look like one that like I would expect a bird to visit. Because it's not like, they usually like to go for the young ones, because then the insects aren't visiting yet. They don't like visiting when there's bees and stuff in there. And then you go and you like look at this thing, and you pull it close to your face, and you just get like brandewijn. You just like fire coming out of this thing. You're like, yo, what are these birds doing?
They love it. They're going flying drunk around.
And they're still flying around, doing tricks and stuff, flying past you. And you're like,
that's why sugar birds' wings flap so fast.
That's how they act the way they do. That's why they're so dramatic. You just see them fly into a bush. Two of them will fly into the same bush, and there's chaos. They're not touching each other, but they're fighting each other. And then both of them fly away.
That's crazy, man.
Oh my goodness.
No, that's very cool. I think that's a cool study.
Yeah,
I like this interaction of pollination. Like my friend also told me I should have looked for seed-eating insects in Marion, actually. But there's not a lot of seeds there. There's very small seeds. I don't think there's seed-feeding insects. I did check, but I didn't find any. But maybe for like Pringlia, it might be an insect that only feeds on the seed.
Those Pringlia seeds are big.
Yeah, they're big. That's
they're big, and they taste quite good as well.
Did you taste them?
Yeah, they taste like yeah, they have like that peppery pea thing. The same thing that did you guys have Kerguelen cabbage?
I tasted it. That's about
Okay.
it.
Did you guys eat the stellaria?
The what?
Stellaria.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
The chickpea, right?
No, is it chickpea?
Yeah.
What?
It's a common.
Is that what?
What is it called? It's not chickweed.
Chickweed.
Chickweed. Sorry, not
Chickweed.
chickpea. Chickweed.
The chickweed is delicious.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
No.
Yo, I do want to go to golf though, hey?
Yeah, golf is cool in the sense it's more diverse, right? There's more,
more
insects,
diverse.
there's more plants, there's a lot more ferns there.
There's a lot of stuff happening there.
There's actually a tree, the filecut tree
Yeah.
is there.
There's a lot of trees.
I would have
There's
loved
tree
to go
ferns.
there actually as well. But I don't know if I'll be able to spend another year in Ireland.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Yeah. I
quite
mean,
hectic.
yeah, the only way to spend a year on golf is like either a base personnel or a birder.
Mm.
And the bird position is becoming a bit more scarce, I think.
Mm.
Because it's a UK run position.
Yeah. There's only like how many field workers are there?
Two.
There's only two.
There's
right?
only two there.
Yeah, it's difficult to get in there, I would think.
I'd
as
love
well.
to like go for a takeover though.
Mm.
Just have to spend some time on golf. A temperate subantarctic island. What's
Yeah.
going on there?
Yeah, it's a cool place there. Yo, I spoke a lot to Rhiannon because she was there.
Yes.
And Chile and our team was there. We had a lot of people on our team that has been to the islands before. Like most of the team members.
Yeah.
actually. It was hectic.
Yeah, it's a small
Like we had
community. eh?
John that was at Antarctica 10 times.
That's crazy.
crazy.
Mr. Scaletti.
He's like a legend. that
He is a
guy.
legend. He is actually a
I
legend.
love that man.
Yeah.
I did a podcast with him as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo,
It's
I need
very
to listen to
cool.
that
It's
one.
very cool.
Yo, I would love to pick his brain.
He even spoke about fucking Formula One for like, I don't know how long. He loves Formula One.
you know what? Shame, did you guys get any Formula One there?
No, fuck all.
Nothing.
We just saw the results, obviously. That's about it. But the season, when did the season start? In March. It usually starts in March, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I
that was very
go to some bars sometimes and you see them, everyone sitting there watching the F1 on a Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, that sound just makes me tired. I'm not a big fan of Formula One, but my brothers used to love it.
Really?
Just fucking on Sunday. Meow. Makes you tired, man.
It does
Take
make
a
you
nap.
It does make you tired. It does make you tired.
It's like
Oh my
watching golf.
goodness.
It's the same thing. Oh, it's a beautiful stroke. And so even the commentators are tired.
They are tired. They are tired. Yo.
Oh, gosh.
So you're gonna come to Midwinter this weekend?
I'm gonna try, yeah.
Okay.
But I asked Ria yesterday and she said there's still more space. I still need to pay. I just need to fucking pay.
Oh, I haven't paid either.
You haven't paid yet?
No, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Yeah,
I
we need
need
to
check
pay
my email.
apparently. So yeah, I really want to come.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. I don't know who's gonna be there though.
I don't know it's gonna be there either.
No.
But
It
there's
doesn't
always people
matter.
there. Yeah,
I
it
just
doesn't
wanna
matter.
meet new people. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
meet someone who knows about the moss or something. An old guy.
Last year when I went there was somebody from like S20 or something.
Jeez.
Yeah. Like old.
S20.
Yeah.
Why is it S20?
Sanai.
Oh, Sanai.
Yeah. Fuck. It was like something like that. Something like old teams. So like it's wild because you get to see like people a whole different experience. They were like in the old Sanai base. They were like in Sanai 2 or something. I'm like, I don't even know.
Yo, I'd love to go to Sanai as well. But I don't know if I'll be able to. Just
Yeah.
to go do some penguin work and then come back.
Yeah. Kyle and Tavis went to Sanai this last takeover.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't see any penguins.
Fuck off.
Yeah, they saw fuck all penguins.
Why?
They went to the colony and the colony wasn't there.
Wow.
And I'm like, what do you guys mean the colony wasn't there? They were like, yeah, we didn't see any penguins. We spent 2 days looking for them. Didn't see them, went back to the base. I was like,
That's a flipping bummer.
That's crazy.
You went all
That's
that way
wild,
for
yeah.
that work and now they're not there.
there's no penguins.
Fuck. Shit, hopefully they're alright.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So are you funded by the university or NRF, you said?
No, this project is funded by the DFG. So it's the NRF of Germany.
German?
Yeah, it's a German project.
That's cool.
Yeah, the Germans, they love the feinboss, hey?
Yeah, they love the feinboss.
They love the feinboss. They've been running these projects, this like Protea projects, since like the late 90s, so like 97.
Wow.
And then they did like another one in 2000.
But there's so many things you can do in the famous.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. But they specifically just on Proteas.
Yeah.
Just on Proteas. And it's like networks on Proteas. And I don't know how many times they can redo the network, but they're gonna keep doing
There's
it.
so many
And
things.
as long as they're doing it, I'm gonna be there.
You can make like thousands of Protea projects.
Yeah, you
in
can.
my opinion.
You can.
You can just, it's infinite. There's so many things you can do.
What?
And then you look at other genuses like Erica, there's fucking
No, that's
680 species. You're
That's
like,
crazy. That's crazy.
fucking hell, man.
That's crazy.
Some
There's
of
like-
them are getting pollinated, some wind pollinated, some fucking water pollinated, some I don't know what pollinated. And
There's
so
like 30
weird.
Proteas, 600 Ericas, all of them doing different things.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. The famous is insane. The famous is an
That's flippin'
insane
insane.
system to work in.
I used to do the oxalis as well.
Really?
I used to hunt for oxalis. It's so fun because you know how you get these ones. These ones in my garden, Paparia.
Yeah,
the
Pes Capri.
Yeah, Pes Capri, most common species, but you think it's a weed, but then you go out in the wild and you see like there's some oxalis that's really fucking
Some obscure, yeah, some obscure ones.
Just occurs in certain
Have
places.
you noticed the like weird things with the styles on them?
Yeah.
They're
what
like
is-
the asymmetry.
Oh, the asymmetry.
Yeah. They have like a floral asymmetry. That's weird. Oxalis has them.
They also have the polyploidy. I know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, right? Oxalis polyploidy, that's another
Yeah.
thing.
There's so many things about them that make
It's
them
weird.
so interesting.
Yo, that's an interesting one that you brought up. Polyploidy in fynbos is weird.
It's weird.
It's weird. Rhinostobos.
It makes things evolve quicker, I think.
It makes
adapt
it
quicker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes things like it radiates genera
Yeah, definitely.
in a weird way. It's like such a weird way to like
a weird
create
way.
diversity from nothing.
Yeah, but it's cool, man. Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah,
I wish we had the Rhinosterveld left, man. It's not just remnants.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would have been a fucking cool system.
it's a really cool
But
system.
unfortunately, we have to eat.
Yeah, it's a it got
We need our bread.
the Rhinosterveld got fucked.
Yeah,
Yo,
all
I
the
did my honors on
canola and
Rhinosterveld.
fucking wheat fields.
And you just see like where the plower couldn't get. That's where the
Yeah, that's where the
Rhinosterveld is.
Rhinosterveld is.
So yeah, the plower couldn't like reach that
Couldn't
little
reach
rocky
that.
area.
A rocky area there.
And there's the Rhinosterveld in there, and you go in there, you find all these crazy
If
species.
we'll think about there was Rhinosterbos everywhere, but like you forget that there were wild game running wild there. So
Yeah.
I think there were a lot of grasses as well.
Yeah.
That must have been like a
mosaic. Yeah.
of grass. And
100%,
Yeah,
100%.
so
If you go to De Hoop,
yeah,
you still see it there.
yeah.
You still see it there, and when you see those
I
mosaics,
haven't been to the Hoop.
go to De Hoop.
I should go to
Go to De Hoop because they still have large game there,
Yeah.
and they have like those vultures there and stuff like that.
The Cape Vulture.
Yeah, they have the Cape vulture and the white-backed vulture there. And it's wild because you walk around the system and you're like, this is very strange. They have exclusion plots where like the big game can't get in.
Then you can
And-
see.
And it looks like how everything looks now inside the
you
exclusion
see,
plot.
you see.
You look inside there, you're like, this is what I think famous looks like. You look outside the exclusion plot, you're like, this is something I've never seen before. And it's like big grasslands. And then you see like, there's patches of you'll see like there's like a cercia bush, like a big cercia, and then around there you'll see some like weird plants and everything. Like, that's closer to the beach where it's like strandveldy. And then you'll like see all this other, it like makes this weird mosaic because the grazers like they change the landscape.
Yeah, they change it.
There is no such thing as pristine fynbos.
No, I don't think so.
There's no, even in the places where people haven't been, because there's no
Yeah.
animals there anymore. So the whole thing's changed.
It's changed, yeah.
Like,
I think at the high elevations it's kind of the same
Probably the same.
still.
Yeah,
Like
it's
with just the clip springers, small buck and animals.
Yeah.
But
The
I don't think
lowland.
Eland and that stuff went really to the top. But they went high.
They
I'm
did
pretty
went
sure
high.
they went high because
did
they,
went
you know where Sir Lowry's Pass is?
Yeah.
It's actually an old Eland migration
No
route. That's why they built the
ways.
pass there. Yeah. I read it in a book many years ago.
Eland migration.
It was a route, where they migrated over the mountain.
What? Yo. From like False Bay over into like the
that
overberg.
whole Grabouw Valley. Because I think obviously there's like a microclimate there.
There is a microclimate
So
there.
you feed there and then maybe when
That's
it's
where they grow the
drier you go
apples
to
there.
the other side and you
Yo,
they
Grabouw Valley is
move like
beautiful.
that. Yeah, it's
Yo,
beautiful.
I would love to live there one day.
Yeah.
I actually really like it there.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I think there's so much benefits in having animals stimulate the soil as well. Because obviously it's lost out of the system, but I think it helps regenerate plants easier. get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just more energy that they leave there and trampling, and they stimulate the seed growth maybe with their trampling, and all kinds of things like that. Makes it quite interesting.
Herbivory is a big component.
It's a big component.
And people see, like, I think a lot of botanists here overlook it. They're like, it's like negligible in fembos.
It's because we ourselves didn't grow up with it.
Yeah.
So it's like
we've never experienced
you
fembos.
haven't really experienced it in the fembos.
No.
Because all the large game were extinct.
And no one even knows what rhinoceros is.
Yeah. Remember, there were lions, man.
There were
lions roaming Cape
There were
Town.
lions,
There
yeah.
were hyenas.
Yeah,
There were
yeah.
rhinos. There were hippos in the rivers. Everywhere.
Yeah.
I think the last hippo at the Berg River was shot in 1865 or something.
Yeah. All the hippos that are here now were introduced from the
Introduced.
from the Eastern Cape. Yeah.
Yeah.
I only found out about that recently. I went to
Yeah.
Rondeflay and I went to the museum there.
It's like all the ostriches as well.
Yeah.
Ostriches comes from West Africa or something. Something weird. Somewhere weird. None of them actually occurred here.
That's crazy. That's crazy. They could have been different species and we would never know.
Yeah.
We can't know.
It's like the Cape lion.
The
is
Cape
the
lion.
coolest thing for me. I think that was just different subspecies or something.
It must have been.
I'm not sure now. Maybe it is.
Cape
But you know,
leopard.
our people who are pioneers, and you can't fucking put up your tent and you hear a lion at night, you're gonna be fucking killed. So you
Yeah.
have to shoot it.
You have to shoot it. Yeah,
Otherwise, you're gonna be killed. What are you gonna do now?
yeah, you have to shoot it. It's
People
true.
don't understand. It's not that they're cruel to animals. It's like there was no other option. It's either you get killed or they get killed. You know.
And like out of the whole of South Africa, this has been the most populated for the longest.
Yeah.
People started like, I don't know, people started living here.
Yeah, the early people, the sand people, the Khoi, they had herds of fucking Nguni cattle and
That's
goats
cool, bro.
and weird
That's
shit
so cool.
for long periods. And they actually burned the fynbos as well to get the grass out. So
That's wild.
it's so cool.
That's wild.
And then, how long has that been going on? Probably 4,000, 3,000 years?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
All that history is lost. It's
All the history is
so
lost.
sad.
All the history is lost. But it's a crazy system. It's a crazy system. And I think like there's a lot of things we tend to overlook because we think people haven't been here for long. People have been here for a long time, bro.
Very long.
They've been here for a
Tens
long
of
time.
thousands of years.
When you walk around and you find those like middens of like mussels and stuff like that. You find like a midden of mussels and you're like there's no predator that makes this. Only like a person made this. A person sat here and they ate these mussels and they built a fire or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, this person wasn't here like yesterday or 2 weeks ago or even 100 or 200 years ago. They were here like 1,000 years ago cooking these mussels here, walking this coastline.
It's like those traps they have on the ocean, those fish traps that they built.
Yeah.
That you can still see when the tides go down.
crazy.
That's cool.
People
I'd
have
love to see
been
that.
here. People have been here.
They've been here.
Yo.
I think I read it. They actually started at the coast. I think people were first fishermen, basically. They fished and ate mussels and lived
It's
in
the
those
easiest
caves. I
thing to
think
live
that's
on.
where they started. And then the trade started with the livestock, and they started to become grazing livestock across the land. And it's quite interesting.
I think it's the smartest life to live, like to live on the coast.
Yeah.
Because it's easy, man. It's easy.
Yeah.
You have access to
You have access
everything.
to the ocean with
Yo,
food.
bruh.
You can eat whatever.
You walk down low effort, pick some mussels, high calories, put it in a fire.
Yeah.
And chill there.
There's a
You
lot
don't
of
have to
mussels.
hunt anything. You don't have to pick up a spear. Nothing. You don't have to put your life on the line.
Yeah, you don't have to run after things.
No,
Jeez.
man. That's all right. And then you walk like, anytime you walk on the coastline, you're like, there's like a midden here. You walk 10 meters, there's another one there. You walk 10 meters.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
my
I find
goodness.
interesting as well is like the names of certain valleys and the certain mountains, like the Hell. You know,
Die
why is it
Hell.
called the Hell?
Why is it called?
What happened there? You know? Something happened. Like the other kloof I walked the other day, Devil's Kloof. Why is it called Devil's Kloof? Like, what happened there? Where people live, were they like fucking savages there, and they were like the devil, and they killed you if you went in there. Or
The Hexrivier.
The Hexrivier. Where are the witches at? you
Yeah,
know?
the Hexrivier.
It must be, there's a reason for that.
There's a reason
Maybe
for
they
it.
were like witch doctors there. Like
Maybe they were. Maybe
these
they
people
were.
that sampled fungi and all these plants out of the field, made a concoction, made you
Yeah.
went on a trip
Yeah.
to La La Land, and
Buffoni distica.
now
Have you
you're
heard
a
of?
fucking witch, but you're actually just a fucking botanist.
You're
who
just a
knows your shit.
botanist. Yeah, you just know your stuff. Yo. There's
Yeah.
weird plants, hey? There's weird plants. If you walk around the famous, there's weird plants with some
Yo,
interesting
but I don't
molecules in
know,
them.
I should probably say this, but I usually sample buchu in the field, you know,
Yeah.
and I put it in my drink. Oh, I love it.
Agathosma buchu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
Agathosma
a
buchu
fucking
is a nice one.
But there's so
Yeah.
many ones.
There's too many. There's too many. Buchu is polyphyletic.
Yeah. What does that mean again? Polyphyletic?
It's like different. It's like you get Agathosma buchu, and then you get like
Oh
buchu
yes,
from
yes,
like
yes,
other
yes,
genera.
yes,
You
yes,
get,
yes,
like,
yes, yes. That's-
It's like it's just like a synonymous term
Yeah.
for like a lot of things that smell.
Yeah.
Some people even call confetti bush buchu. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's wild. So, but it is. I think it is. I think it does technically count as a buchu.
Yeah. Oh,
But
but I
yeah.
love honeybush tea.
Honeybush
That's-
is good.
Yo, it's
Honeybush is good.
That's very nice. And I drink a lot of kankerbossie as well.
Yo,
It's fucking bitter.
yo,
I
kankerbos
love
is
it.
bitter, man.
I love it, man.
Sutherlandia.
Man, when
Is
I
it
was a
Sutherlandia?
teacher, man, I taught biology for 2 years in George. And then
Yeah.
I used to do these quizzes with the kids in the class. And you need to make it a bit competitive. But usually I gave them a reward. I was like, screw a reward. Let's make it the last place has to drink kankerbossie tea. And then
For your
obviously the
health.
first time they were like, well, what's that? Nobody knew what's
Yo, it's
kankerbossie.
so bitter.
And then the first time when the first people lost, nobody wanted to lose after
No
that
one wanted
ever again.
You know, it actually does taste good though.
It does taste good.
It's like so bitter that it's sweet.
Yeah, I don't know. It grows on you.
It grows on you.
And it feels like you, I don't know. I don't know if it really has properties
I
that
don't
actually
know.
help.
I don't
It's
know.
healthy for you, but
Have
I
you ever
hope
chewed
so.
the leaves?
No, I haven't.
You like, if you find one, like take like a branch and roll it up, put it in your cheek. It's really nice.
Is it nice?
It's nice. It's really good. And like the leaves are like, they're so good. They're like so bitter, and it's like a different flavor as well.
Mm.
But there are some weird plants in Framboos.
Yeah.
There's some weird plants that I think a lot of people, a lot of people maybe don't really know about or are a bit wary of. But if you read some like ethnobotany books, people's like usage of plants, there's some weird plants with
There's so
alkaloids
much-
in them, with like weird
There's
things.
so
in
much,
them.
I don't know, like opportunities there, man. For like, even for perfumes, for
Yeah.
a lot of medicinal things.
a lot
I
of
feel
stuff.
like so many chemicals that needs to
Yeah.
be studied in the framework.
There's some cool stuff.
Because
Selene
sometimes you just
capensis.
you can walk and look at a plant and you turn it around, you'll see these glands.
Yeah.
You're like,
What's
shit,
in
what's
in there?
we don't know what is in there.
We don't know
Like,
what
what
is
is it? What can it help you for? What can it
Yeah.
actually be beneficial for?
Yeah, there's some
Weird.
There's some crazy things. I know that there's a fet plant, Buffoni distica, that apparently has
Oh yeah,
like
buffon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big.
a big, yeah.
This is big onion,
It's
basically.
like, it's like an onion.
I think
like a-
that's poisonous. Apparently.
So yeah, it is poisonous. But apparently, I read in like a book that it's got like hectic alkaloids in it,
wow.
like hectic stuff in it, like stuff that will like make you trip for days. like I'm not even joking.
Jeez.
Like serious stuff, and it's like used in divination rituals. Like I would never go near it. I would never go. It's not the kind of thing that I think I would like play with. But like, it's crazy that these things just occur. And then obviously like datura, stuff like datura we get. I think I don't know if they're indigenous here, or if they're
Datura,
introduced,
I'm
but
not
they're
sure.
always here. The, what are they called? What's the common name for datura? Trumpet flowers.
Oh, the trumpet flower.
Yeah. Those are like really, like they have crazy compounds in them. Scopolamine and yeah, some like really, really toxic ones as well. Even the pollen from those plants can like
Fuck you up.
affect you. Yeah, they can seriously affect you. Brugmansia, Selene undulata, that's another one. That one I haven't like really looked at.
Oh, what is the common name of Selene again? There's a
I
name
don't know
for
what the
it.
common name is.
The common name explains what the plant can do to you. I can't
Yeah.
remember now. Shit. I'm a bit out of the plants in South Africa now. I need to get...
Yeah,
you know,
muscle.
but all my files are still there. It's
Yeah,
just coming-
you just need to
coming
access
back.
them. You just
If I
need
go
to
in the field and I see the stuff again, like, oh, you take your file out and like, that is a gaffa, or whatever.
I don't know what the common name for selene is, but I know that it's used for, also in divination, but it's used to it's used for like dreams. It's used for like people like drinking.
Man, the name is like something like that.
Something like that.
The
Something
name
like that.
explains, the common name explains the effects of the plant.
Crazy,
I can
man.
remember.
That's crazy. But I think like there's still a lot of stuff that people still haven't looked at and don't even know, like, I don't know what's going on there. We have a very diverse plant community.
Yeah.
And it's still relatively intact.
Yeah, it's quite intact, especially the famous, because we're in the mountain areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty much invasives is the problem now, like wattle and pine trees.
Oh, yo, bruh. Akia makes me angry.
But they're starting to die. There's that one disease.
That like makes the sap come out.
Yeah, the sap come out.
Yeah, it's like a fungus or
The
something.
fungus, yeah.
But I don't think it like kills them. It like slows them down.
Slows them down, maybe, yeah. The problem is the fires come through and then they just germinate again.
No. They're so resilient, hey?
Yeah.
They're so resilient.
Yeah.
Like I would love to, like the ecologist in me wants to like have like the remote from Click. And I just want to go like forward like 5 million years. And I want to see what
I think
the...
that's every ecologist.
Yo, I just want to go like...
back and see the world.
Not back, I want to go forward.
Oh, you want to go
I
forward?
want to go forward. I want to see how Hackia changes in the system. Are you going to get like it's going to start radiating?
Yeah,
You're gonna
I
start,
think so.
Yeah, you're going to start getting like Hackia capensis.
Exactly. When does wattle become an indigenous thing?
Yeah.
When does it start
What does it start looking like?
adapting different ways?
Yeah. You're going to get like
I agree.
stands of trees in the fenbos.
Yeah, you're going to.
But and indigenous ones. indigenous ones, yeah, not like... Oh my goodness.
And then obviously you're going to create a canopy and then your under canopy stuff are going
There
to
we
start
go.
germinating.
There we go.
You're going to get an environment. Dynamic changes all the time.
Honestly.
But like the indigenous Afro-montane forests, the trees also
Beautiful.
germinate in the fenbos.
Yeah.
Most of them do.
It's
But
crazy.
then they, like Kigalaria, your wild peach and your Rapania, they germinate in the
They
fenbos.
germinate, yeah.
But they'll just die when the fire comes through.
Yeah.
That's what keeps them
Like
in the
like in
patches.
the refuges.
in
Yeah.
the refuges. Yeah.
Have you heard of like the refugia hypothesis?
Oh yeah, I think I have.
Yeah, because a lot of those genera are like West African genera.
Yeah.
So that forest must have just come all the way down the west coast, all the way down
There's
to
also a
Cape.
theory the whole place was a forest.
Yeah.
And it became fragmented.
And then it became
It's
and
also-
literally like the
which
scrub.
makes sense in a way. If you think about forest, the tree grows, individual lives fucking long.
Yeah.
Live 1,000 years. Famous is quick. It's 20
Quick.
years. It's the next
The
generation.
next generation.
So your evolution or your
Yeah.
adaptation might be quicker then
Yeah.
to new environments. So I was thinking it was first forest.
It probably
before.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
It probably
I don't
was.
know.
No. That's
I don't know.
basically
I even have a theory like there's some. This is a bit wild, but here we go. There's like a tree species in Kona, the Terblanche beechwood.
okay.
Only occurs in that one spot in Kona. It's like a forest in the Southern Cape, and then it occurs again in Mpumalanga and Nelspruit and going up. But
Yo.
there's a whole gap.
Yeah.
I was
What's the
like,
deal?
my theory is like, what if people took it there and just went and planted there?
No way.
Or the other theory is obviously it was a big forest and got extinct. That's
Yeah.
like the most common thing.
That's what's called.
But
What
like-
if somebody just took it?
But I'm trying to think outside the box here. What we're not actually thinking about. People lived a long time before, and people know about seeds. What? It's possible.
It's possible.
How do we not know they took seeds from one forest and traversed or
People can
traded
do
with
whatever they
people?
want.
They traded these seeds to those people.
If somebody wanted to move a tree, they can do that. People have free will.
Exactly. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and if it's one
It's a
tree,
bit wild, but
I think that's less wild than there was a giant forest that went from Mpumalanga to the Southern Cape, which probably like did happen.
yeah,
Probably did happen at some point in history.
it probably did. But yeah, you can go on for years about that.
How did you get the idea to start the podcast? Elmar's ecosystem.
It's just fun, man.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Because I think I got the idea because I spoke to people on the island, and you speak to people, you don't really get to know them.
It's true.
Like you just speak about, the weather's kak, or Yeah, that happened to me.
I can talk about
Albatross
the weather
vomited
so
on me,
much.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, tell me something.
So I was like, and I realized that most of our team members come from interesting backgrounds.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, let's make a platform and just talk about it.
That's
Like,
such a good idea.
And hear your story, because like people don't realize, people always think that life is bland and boring. Like most people I
No.
spoke on the island, all of them thought their life is boring. Why would you want to talk to me? I was like, no, you're actually mistaken. You don't actually realize some stuff that you did in your life is actually super interesting.
Life's a
to
great
most
adventure.
people. Yeah. So that was my thinking. And like, I started with Re and created, that was the first one. And then it just went so well, and I just decided to do.
Who else have you had on?
I've only had Re and Megan posted. I posted their podcast. But I did more. I did with Dylan Toko. I did with John Lomdani. I did with Molani. Man, who else? Well, I did with Abdul.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
When he was there, and I did with Naomi on the ship.
Yo.
Man, but I didn't do it with everybody because there wasn't always time to do it with everyone. But I would like to have done it with most people. But I told myself when we're back, I can just invite them.
Yo.
Just if they want to come.
You do
and
like
do
a
a
midwinter
podcast.
edition.
Yeah,
That'll be so cool.
that would also be cool.
Have a
It's
panel.
cool to have ones on the island, and it's also cool to have ones people coming from the island. I feel. Yeah.
Yo.
Because
that's
Yentla
really
I
cool.
wanted to do on the island as well, but then I was like, no, let's just wait. It's fine.
No.
Let's just. There wasn't really time in takeover. You know how busy takeover is. So.
Yetla's such a character.
I did Abdul's podcast the day we flew back,
No way.
and the choppers were flying in the background.
No. And you were just like, you gotta tell me everything now before I never see you.
Okay. No, I think in the podcast I was like, okay, shit, I think I have to go. I'm gonna fly soon.
Oh shit, that's crazy. That's wild.
But I already packed all my shit. Everything was just there. You know?
That's so funny. Yo, what do you think they're doing right now?
Yo, I don't know.
Sometimes I go on Windy and I check the weather.
I
I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on,
fucking
Marion?
snow, shame.
It's like shame, man. Shame. 40 knots. Yo,
Yeah,
that
look
must
at
suck, man.
Oh, fuck, 20 meters per second, shame. They're probably chilling.
They're probably fine. They're probably in base. Meanwhile, somebody's crawling on Azo. Right?
Come back and you look at your back because the wind's at the backside of you and you're just full of ice.
Just full of ice. Yo, we had some hectic days in the interior. Frozen beards, frozen eyelashes.
Frozen beard.
Yo. Walking in whiteouts.
The worst for me is the hands, man.
Yeah.
My hands are so dead.
Have you ever
And
pissed in your hands?
Pissed?
Yeah.
No, I didn't piss on my hands.
Okay.
No, I just used the heater, fuck that.
You just like put them on your arms.
Yeah,
It's
you
like-
put it on your arms and you just walk. Back into life. Yo, but it's awful, man. When that life comes back in your hands, it's painful.
It's painful, hey? It's the most painful feeling. It's the most painful thing I've ever
Because
felt.
one time I came back and went to the shower like straight after, and it's just like
You cry.
You cry.
You
Of the
cry.
pain coming back.
Yo, getting to like grey-headed height. You just go inside and you switch on the heater. And you sit there and you're like, and you can see you can feel it coming back in your hands. And you're just like, you're like hurting. Like
You make like this.
Yo, I used to be so stupid sometimes. I was just so stupid. Like sometimes I wouldn't carry spare gloves with me. Like always have a pair of dry gloves. Because one pair is gonna get wet. And you still have a long day ahead of you and you're gonna do it with wet gloves. And then it starts like sleet starts falling from the sky and you like everything just becomes cold and the life drains out of your hands and you're like, what am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do now? It's not working out your arms. Nothing's warm. It's so windy. I still have to walk over Kuroko.
Yeah. No, man.
That's when you have to
hectic,
pee
but
on your
at
hands.
the later stage, like the start of this year, I didn't give a fuck anymore of getting wet. Of getting, like when the people came now for takeover, they were so surprised me walking without, like, you know, with the water pants and
Yeah. Just walk, man.
I don't give a fuck.
Just
Nobody in our team gave a fuck anymore. Everybody just were fine with getting wet because we know.
We know. You're going to get wet. It's
You're
fine.
going to get wet. So.
You're going to get wet.
But like everybody was so surprised, like Abdul and Naomi and Nicola and my team. Like, why? Where's your water bag? Where's your water? It's like, why? You'll see. You're going to get wet. Even with that on. And they got wet. You'll see.
Yeah, you're going to get wet. It's true. It's true. And you want to carry less stuff. At some point, you're just like, I don't want to carry stuff anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's also the thing, yeah. You don't want to carry a lot of shit.
But walking fixes everything.
Mm.
You can dress like, you can underdress. As long as you're walking, you're fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
As long as you're moving.
Yeah, but sometimes I had to dress a lot.
Because you were walking
sitting,
slow, hey?
I was sitting and looking for insects. Then it gets
that's crazy.
I'm so glad Dylan and Megan came. They came to help me one time. Just so that they can get a feel.
And did they
for
freeze?
They froze.
Yeah.
Dylan's still speaking about that story.
He told me about it. He's like, I went to Elmar.
But it was musty and cold, man. It was cold. You had to sit there and look for insects.
No. I helped Camilla once. And I went and did seed counts with her. And I was like busy, like walking everywhere. I'm like, I can't. Like on Score Ridge, I'm like, yo, how are you doing this?
You have to run. You have to run between sites. Otherwise, you get too cold. I think she did the same.
She did the same. Yeah. And she would also stand up and like run and run back. Yeah.
It's the only way.
So
it's the only way.
And I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is a problem I don't have to deal with.
Yeah, because at the seal work, you walk and you have adrenaline.
You're always walking, man. You're always walking. You never stop for like longer than like a few minutes.
Well, but for the pupway, obviously you stop.
For the pupway,
yeah.
Pupway is different.
Yeah.
Pupway is different. Pupway is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's fun to invite people to Pupway.
Yeah.
And laugh at them.
No, I became an expert in Pupway.
Really?
Especially at the Tropicalis and Gazella. I can remember the first one I did. I was like, yo, it was scary. And I got bit on the hand and the arm. And after that, I never got bit again. Like,
did you do a newborn Gazella Pupway?
Oh, yes.
Yo, that one's crazy.
Oh, no, not the newborn one. I didn't do that.
The first one? Or like one of the
where you have to like land through.
Yeah.
No, I didn't do that one. But I did the other ones where they're fast.
Yeah.
They fucking run.
They run, hey. Yo.
There was some that I fucking plucked out of the water. Because we were so frustrated.
Yo.
They run so far.
Like, I need this numbers, man. I need this numbers. And then they're all on the beach. Or they're all on the veg. And you're like, I need to get some on the veg.
I took a video of that, man. Just of them. You coming there, they all see you, and then they all run. And they all run in this motion away.
And it's fun because you're running all over like tripod or you're running all over Gazella plane.
Yeah.
And like sometimes it is just me and Dylan and we're like running all over this place. And at some points we're like, dude, I'm so done with this, man. We still have to census after this. Like, I'm so done.
Yes, I got so frustrated at one time. Man, we need to get 100. We need to get 100. But we got like to 80 this one time. We're like, yo, fuck it. We got 80. And then a half an hour went past. And then we were like chasing them. And then we were trying to find them. And then we sat down together. Megan did the scribe. And she was like, and I was like, yo, how many do we do now? It was like half an hour. She can't. Oh, we're still on 80. We had to do 80 in that half an hour. Like
so running.
We're like, what the fuck? I thought we did more. Nah.
Oh my goodness.
That was hilarious.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Pupway is a lot of fun.
But then we were lucky because as we came back, all of them that were in the ocean came out. We just like, we got to 100 at least. So we were happy.
There was this one time at Cape Davis when we were doing Pupway and we couldn't get enough. Because it was a hot day. All of them were swimming.
All of them in the water.
All of them were swimming,
Then
swimming.
they can't get them.
Hell, man. How are we going to get them?
In that lake at the back there is also a problem.
The lake at the back. Yo. But they were all in the ocean this time.
Yeah.
They were swimming in the ocean and Camilla was with us. So it was me, Dylan, and Camilla. And we're like trying to do this Pupway and we're like, we're not getting the numbers. Like for the beach, we're not getting the numbers. So Camilla was like, let me see if I can like get in the water and like chase them out.
Yeah.
So she like jumped into the water and like swam around and like started like swimming in, and all of them started coming out the water. And
Oh,
we were
well
like,
done, well done, Camilla.
and weighing them. And
She's the proper sealer then. Eh?
and then she came out and she was like, it's too cold. And she was like, okay, we still don't have enough numbers. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll go in.
Then you went in.
But I didn't have anything to swim in.
Oh shit!
And I was like, I'm not, like, I still have to carry
But
on.
did she have something to
afterwards.
swim in?
No, she just like swam in like her underwear.
And her underwear.
And I was like, I'm not getting my underwear. I was just wearing thermals. So
Yeah.
I was just wearing thermals underneath. I'm like, I don't have underwear. I'm not going to swim in my thermals. I'm
Yeah.
going to get these things wet. So I was like, okay, guys, turn around. And I like stripped into nothing, jumped into the water. And I was like, okay, you guys can turn around now.
Yeah.
And I was like pushing them out. And then eventually, like, I just got too cold. And I was like,
start freezing.
I started to freeze. And I remember I had Camilla's GoPro that whole time, and it was hanging around my neck.
Oh shit! You have your stick hanging.
There is full frontal male nudity on that GoPro. And you know what? I still have not got those videos from Camilla. Camilla still has those videos. Camilla still has those videos. I've never seen that video before.
Oh, she's keeping it there in a nice private place.
Yeah, because I was like, Camilla, please don't watch those videos. That same day, I was like, Camilla, please don't watch those videos. And she was carrying on. They were going on around and she was carrying on. She was like, we're going to walk over this hill and both of us are going to go and watch the video. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yo. Were you surprised that Camilla went back?
I am actually surprised Camilla went back. But she said during the year, because we always spoke, it's like, what would you do if you came back? And Camilla was like, I want to be a sealer. I want to be a sealer. And I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The last female sealer was in M75.
It was
And
Liesel,
she did it.
right?
Yeah, it was Liesel.
Yeah, she's
Just
a
Liesel.
tough cookie.
Yeah, she's
But
super
Camilla's
tough.
also a tough cookie.
Camilla is so tough.
She's so tough.
Camilla
I
is so
love her.
tough.
No, she's so nice, man.
And she's so nice. And she's got like experience with the seals and everything.
Exactly.
I thought she was going to be a killer whaler.
Yeah, I also thought so, actually.
But and then she was like, no, full sealer. I was like, that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think
she's-
they have a nice team. I met all of them now, so.
Yeah.
Their group with Chandler.
Yes.
What is the other guy's name now? Shit, I didn't speak to him a lot. The other sealer. Quanele.
Qualele.
Yeah. He was quite
Yeah.
quiet, actually.
I met him at UCT before they left.
But I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a good time.
Everyone's fine, actually, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
adapt to it. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you don't have a choice. You can get upset about it whenever you want, but yeah, you can be like, oh, this fucking internet, man. I'm done with this internet.
Yeah, I just forgot about the internet.
Damn it,
I didn't give a shit about it.
And then you're fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
I
I
did
had
feel a lot
time
of-
doing other things that's important, like
Yeah, that's
reading
true.
all my books that I wanted to read.
Mm.
I had time. I had time to read all of his books. I
Yeah.
read so many books. It was nice. You know?
Yeah.
Spending your own alone time just reading books. But later on, I can remember this year, I started like really getting homesick, I feel like. Or
Really?
just like the interactions with people in your tribe, you know, people that like to
You
talk
miss
about
it.
trees, talk about...
Yeah.
And you start missing those people.
Mm.
And then I stopped reading books and I started helping people more in the field.
Okay.
And going out more.
That's nice.
That helped a lot, actually.
That's really
Fun.
nice. That's really nice.
Try and make every day different.
Yeah. But it's good for your
Yeah.
brain. I feel like Marion is good for your brain.
No, it is.
In a lot of ways. Being a field assistant is good for your brain. You like
Yeah,
become a
I'm not
hunter
sure
gatherer.
if you want to be a fucking source.
No.
That's a bit
No.
too much
Any
of the
base-
same thing.
Any base job, I don't think I would manage. Not at all, actually.
Yeah.
Even if I was on standby, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, that's too much for me. But the thing about source, you get that week off.
You
Or
get
like
the
5 days off or whatever, how they
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Then it's nice. Then you can go explore. Well, not all of them do though.
Yeah,
like,
see, that's the
like
thing.
Tanga and yeah, she explored always. She
Really?
always went with someone.
That's
out.
so nice.
That's
dude.
nice.
That's so nice.
Chili didn't really want to. Spa also did sometimes.
Okay.
He actually did it around Island as well.
Really?
His source. Yeah. It was cool.
Yo.
I'm so glad he did it.
That's
He
cool.
went. Bubele went twice.
Yeah, I heard Willow went twice.
Yeah,
That's
what a
crazy.
legend.
What? That's wild.
Because the
Team
second-
leader
I-
going.
Yeah, like I'm so impressed with him because the second time he took Spa with him. And
Yo.
The first time he went alone.
Damn.
That was cool.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool. The team leader doing a one day round island is a wild concept.
Yeah.
We were keeping it a secret now here.
Oh, but he was technically working as well, because
Really?
what we did a book where we wrote all the stuff we ate in the huts. So that's how we did the stock take.
Okay.
So all that you had to do is you just count the stuff that's there at the start that we did in June or whatever,
Yeah.
and then you just write in the book what you take out.
Every time.
Yeah, every time.
Wow, that's so smart.
That was so easy because now that's why he went on that round island technically as well. 'Cause he
Yo.
just took a photo of the book,
Yeah.
and then boom, he got all the stock.
That's so smart.
Made it so easy.
We were thinking of doing that, but we were like, no, people won't listen. People won't listen. People won't write down. But it's so simple.
But I think sometimes people do forget to write down sometimes.
Yeah, people do forget.
That's the problem.
That's a good system. That's a really
But
good
that's a system that worked really good. Well, I felt like, yeah. No, I really enjoyed Bubeli. He was a very positive person.
Nice.
He was good.
Nice.
We did like karaoke nights. That was fun.
That's so cool. I've never heard of a team doing karaoke nights.
That was fun. Oh, he loves singing. Bubeli loves.
Yeah, he does.
He loves to sing.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Why does he love Feliz Navidad so much?
Yeah. Yo, man, we've been going long.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah.
can maybe wrap it up. Yo,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we can do this again if you want to.
Yeah, this
like,
is
there's so
really
much
cool.
to talk about, man.
There is so much
we
to
can
talk
just
about,
go
man.
on for fucking.
It was choke.
I can go on the whole day.
We didn't even get to talk about ecosystems that much.
Yeah,
Imagine.
not really. Not really, eh?
We spoke
We
about
didn't
some
even
ecosystems.
Oh, yeah, we did. We spoke about the famous and well, we need to speak about the Marion ecosystem.
Yeah,
We
the
didn't
Marion
really, eh?
ecosystem. Yeah.
But yeah, it is a cool ecosystem.
Yeah, there's crazy stuff happening in the subantarctic. I would love to visit another island so I could have like, a different perspective.
Like a Galen or something.
Yo.
There's apparently hot water.
That was my dream on
What do you
Marion.
call it?
It's hot springs.
Hot springs, yes.
But Kerguelen is massive. Eh?
Yeah,
It's like
massive.
7,000 square
It's
kilometers.
massive. And it was an explosive
Yeah.
volcano, so that's why it exploded and the wind like pushed the sediment and the volcanic ash. So it's this spread out island.
There's like fjords.
Yeah.
There's multiple islands.
There's multiple. There's a lot.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of islands. There's like huge, like internal seas and stuff like that. Lagoons, the wild stuff going on there.
There's a weird stuff.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of overlap, a lot of same species there as well.
There are still like sheep there and stuff though.
Yeah.
And
there's
cats.
sheep and cats.
Yeah, that's wild. Hey, the
That
French
is
islands are
wild.
insane. they don't
Imagine we had
care.
sheep. Like a reindeer or
I think they even
something.
have pigs on something. Oh, I think pigs might be. I think pigs might be the one that was recently eradicated. But I don't think on all the islands. Hey, I think there might still be islands there with pigs.
I know South Georgia had all of that, but they got eradicated. All of that.
South Georgia is clean now. South Georgia
clean
is
now.
like near pristine. Kerguelen and Crozet are wild. There's crazy things going on. I would love to go to Crozet. I would love actually to go to Macquarie. Macquarie is like
Macquarie,
Macquarie's
that's
like
New
top on my
Zealand,
list,
right?
eh?
No, it's Australia.
Australia. Yeah.
That would be cool, Macquarie.
Yeah,
I
Macquarie
think
is
there's
very
like
similar
cool
to
plants
Marion.
there as well,
Yeah.
like orchids and stuff.
Yeah, and Blackman.
Yeah, and Blackman.
Orchids. Yo.
Yeah, there's some of the New Zealand islands have orchids, some in Antarctica.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like Campbell Island and Midway and
Yes.
oh yeah, the Chatham Islands as well. That's really cool.
There's a lot of cool islands there. The one cool thing about the ecosystem and on Marion for me that's really cool is the interaction of the seal shit and the penguin shit. And like how it makes environment so nutrient rich.
Yeah.
And like I did soil course, right?
Okay.
You have to be really specific where you take it. Because if you take it at a section where there's not a lot of shit, you'll find a lot less stuff. When you take it with a little bit more shit, like next to the Pokukia, you find fucking a lot of invertebrates. So it's really
The
difficult to
shit
say what
ecosystem.
habitat type is this. Okay, cool, biotic. We'll say biotic, but that part of the biotic is actually so low in nutrients.
Yeah.
But it's still biotic because there's trampling and there's like Pokukia growing there, but there's less shit.
That's shit.
So how do you know?
Yo.
That's what's so interesting. And like,
Is the flying bird shit or the penguin shit? Penguin and seal shit.
it's the penguin and the seal shit that's just like all that nutrients. And like even an albatross nest, you've seen that before.
Yeah.
Next to the albatross nest, you see the cookie.
Yeah.
Now what's that? What habitat type is that?
What habitat?
Is that a Meyer now? Is it still part of the Meyer? Is that a botty? What the fuck is that now? Is that a shit habitat? Is that what we call it? Because I'll like if I do like an active search next to the nest in the Meyer, we'll find fuck all. You do it on that when the shit part.
In the shit.
Oh fuck, you'll find flies, you'll find weevils, you'll find fucking.
They love
moths.
the shit, hey?
It's interesting.
It is interesting.
That's fucking fascinating to me.
Yo, that's true. Oh my goodness, the shit ecosystem.
The shit ecosystem. It's a big thing. And that's very important for the plankton in the waters there. That's why it's so diverse. Probably
that's
as well,
exactly.
Because all the shit. All
Antarctic krill is fueled by the shit coming
all
off
the
that island.
nutrients coming out. Krill feeding on it. Yo.
You don't get any algal blooms or anything with all that shit coming off the island. Like the penguin colonies. There's rivers of shit coming out.
So many
and they're
videos
going
of
into
that.
the sea.
Yeah, and you see this brown, green blotch
Yo,
there in the sea.
bones and alles.
Everything.
But like, no, you never see a bloom or anything. It's because that ecosystem is using it. It's just
using
chowing
it. It's so dynamic. It's like it's just going.
Yo.
I love it.
And then you see all the krill.
Did you guys see a lot of whales?
You guys saw a lot of whales. I know
so you guys didn't see
I know
any
you
of
guys
them.
saw a lot of whales. We saw pilot whales. We saw longfin pilot whales.
I didn't see pilot whale though. I only saw southern right and humpback.
Yo, humpback is crazy. You guys didn't see sperm whales?
No,
Okay, you guys might have seen sperm
I
whales.
think Megan saw minky or something.
No way.
But far out.
Yeah. We just saw pilot whales. And we saw pilot whales like relatively like frequently and like but like mid distance, like quite far, like in between like the two islands. Maybe like
I thought there would be a lot more whales. I don't
The
know why
killers.
I thought that, but there were a lot of killers.
the killers like they patrol everything there.
Yeah,
They
they
patrol
like
everything there.
control the island.
They really do, hey? They really do. I think there's a whole lot of stuff going on out there. I think if somebody puts like hydrophones out in the middle of the strait between Prince Edward and just like leaves the hydrophones there and just like monitors killer whale noise.
That'd be so cool.
That'd be so cool. And I think there's a lot going on there that we don't know about because we only really see them patrolling the island. And everyone's got this idea, in the Mimp especially, everyone's got this idea that the killer whales there are like relatively specialized. Or they think that they may be a bit more specialized. But I think there's like a lot going on. Like you said that they're eating the fish. I think that they specialize
I
on...
think they're very opportunistic.
I think they're opportunistic, but I think they do actually specialize on wieners.
On wieners.
Yeah, on
The smaller ones.
yeah. And I
That
think
makes sense because that's when you see them a lot.
That's when you see them a lot.
Breeding,
That's when you see them a lot.
breeding season.
I think there's like maybe like an event. The killer whales are like they're aware of like the breeding season and they know that there's a lot of wieners around.
Yeah.
And there's a group of them in like the whole like larger Prince Edward group. There's a group of them that are like facultative, and there's a group that's like obligate, like elephant seal wiener specialists. I think so.
I'll believe you.
Because they come there for the breeding season, and some of them go away afterwards. Some of
Yeah.
them go to other islands, and they
It's
go back
like
to eating whatever
in-
they used to eat. And then there's other ones that just patrol. They just swim around, swim around.
We saw ones in Jan, the early Jan, and then we're gone.
Gone. Okay.
In Feb, they were gone, totally gone.
Yeah.
I think Megan saw them a bit in Jan, and then early Feb, maybe one sighting, whole Feb gone.
Yeah.
March, we saw them again the 10th of March. So like a month
Yeah.
of no killers.
Yeah.
Fuck all. Nothing.
Yes.
Like
Actually,
not
we also
even-
had
not
that.
one sighting.
Yeah, we also had that.
No,
They all disappear.
all disappear.
And it's because they know the wieners are swimming around.
yeah.
The wieners are swimming around. They can go and chow them all. They can go find them all. If you find a wiener,
So they go find a wiener in the deeper waters, probably.
I think they just, because they know all the, that's when the wieners take the big
Yeah,
swim.
that's when they take the big swim.
Yeah, so they all go out and
Molt
they're like,
it, they go out.
let's go find these
Let's
guys.
go find these guys. That makes so much sense.
And
And
then-
I didn't see, look at that perspective actually.
I think that's what they're doing. I think that's what they're doing. And then there's ones that like will stay the island year round. That'll just stay there and like, you know, like eat the odd elephant seal, eat the odd fur seal, and just like wait until this era of plenty comes across them. And then there's
Yeah.
other ones that maybe like those weird ones like Denton. what's the other guy's name? Those weird ones, not Magnum.
I can't
and,
remember
like,
the
whole
names
crew.
now.
They come in like around breeding season and you never see them again. You probably like chill.
There's
at,
a
like,
lot, like
Kerguelen.
Covey. What's
Yeah,
Covey
like
and,
weird guys like that.
And man,
There's killers that I only
can't
saw
even remember
once.
their name.
Ever.
Yeah, same.
Like 10, at least 10 that I only saw once.
There's a lot that I only
And
saw
we only saw
once.
37. In the whole year, we saw 37. And there's maybe like a third of those that I only saw once.
Yeah.
And they only like come through in breeding season. They like pick a little bit, pick and choose.
The
And they
ones
carry
we
on
saw
with
the
them.
most was the Agent Pod. Agent
Yes.
Scratches, O'Neill.
Yes.
Who else is there? And the two new babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to see like,
Poseidon we saw a lot. Half Moon,
yeah.
Max and Dot. Those were the most.
Valentine.
Valentine, yeah.
Yeah.
All of them.
Seabiscuit, Ella, Poseidon.
Seabiscuit, Ella. Yeah.
We used to
That's
see
the
them a
ones we
lot.
saw the most.
And then in breeding season, did you guys see Magnum and
Yeah, I
that
think,
crew?
yeah,
There's
Megan
like
saw
7 or
them.
so.
Megan saw
Yeah,
them, yeah.
they like come through in breeding season and
breeding
they really love the island and they
Yeah,
disappear.
Megan saw all that Ebony, what's the other ones?
Yes.
That
Ebony
whole
and
pod.
Ivory, and I don't know
Yes.
if Ivory's alive anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, but there were some that she didn't see at all, like
Prince.
Atlas that used to be
Yeah.
a lot apparently.
Yeah.
And who else was it? I can't remember.
Prince was a new guy that I think came to the
We
island.
saw Prince.
Yeah, you guys saw Prince,
Yeah,
eh?
we saw Prince.
Yeah.
I like how they name everyone. That's so cool for me.
Yeah, that's really nice.
There's one that doesn't have a name. I thought, name that one Sexy Fin. It was like 49 or something. His name is 49. Like, because he has a sexy fin.
Sexy Fin. Did they get the name?
I don't think so.
Come on, man. Sexy Fin. Sexy Fin's a good name.
Yeah.
Tammy named Prince Monty.
Monty.
Yeah, Tammy named Prince Monty, and then they were
How many calves did she have in her year? Did she have
One.
calf? One.
one, I think Shadow.
Which one was that? You
Whose-
remember?
Whose kid was it? I don't remember whose kid was it. Must have been Ella's or something.
Yeah, I can't
One of
remember
them.
now.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember Prince was everywhere. He was always, and he just came out of nowhere. He just came out of nowhere. He used to just be like around the island sometimes. And he just came out of nowhere and like started like becoming a resident. And then the summer survey happened on Prince Edward. And they saw him a lot there. And they
Yeah.
were like, we're going to call this guy Prince. And we were like, we already have a name for him. But they overrode it. They
They
were like,
overrode
no,
it.
he's Prince.
Prince.
He's not Monty.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
my
think
goodness.
Prince doesn't Prince also have a Crozet name?
He
Some of them
does.
are Crozet.
Some of them are Crozet as well.
Crozet as well, so they move between the islands.
Half Moon. is
Yeah,
also-
Half Moon is
Half Moon's a legend.
Yeah, that's
I love Half Moon. He's my
Half
favorite.
Moon's awesome.
Yo, Half Moon is a grizzled old man. He solitary. He just moves around the island, does his
Yeah.
own thing. Yo, I saw Half Moon do some weird stuff before.
Oh,
I saw
really?
Half Moon at Boulders. He was like swimming through, and then he came into Boulders Beach, and then he did like this weird thing where he like came, like he like banked.
Banked.
But he didn't go
Yeah.
on land. But he was like, there was some.
But
eddies
didn't you hear that story about Half Moon?
Yeah.
At Boulders, where he came out
where he came out.
and he ripped the seal
Yeah.
away from Chris or something.
Wild shit. Dude. Wild shit. And there's a picture of it. There's a picture of Half Moon.
Because he was having his camera. Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. I think Half Moon is
think-
on something else.
I think Ryan or Reisinger was on the rock because that was the first rock was on that side, Crossbow Island.
Crossbow Island. Have
He
you ever
was
been
taking
onto the
pictures
rock?
from the other side.
Yo, Crossbow Island is a scary place.
Yo.
Dylan used to like doing his ops there. He's
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, I go to Crossbow Island. I'm like, how the fuck do you get there, dude?
Yeah, how do you get there?
How do you
I don't
get-
know how you get there. You swim there.
And then
Or you
Dylan was
must probably take a ladder. I
And
think
then
that's
Dylan
what
was like,
Ryan did.
that's what Ryan did. Ryan
He
had a
took
ladder. Ryan had a ladder. But then Dylan said, you can just go on it. You can just go on it. There's like a spot there where you can go on. I'm like, how? And then I look at it and I'm like, how do
Maybe
you
he's
get
talking
there?
about a different island
No,
or
and I
something.
saw him on the island. I saw him on the island. He gets there. He used to just go on the crossbow. And he's like, yeah, I like sitting there. I like sitting there, do my ops there. I was like, what the hell is going on? This was when he was injured as well, pumped up on
Gee.
morphine and everything,
Yeah,
just
of
going and
course.
doing the ops. It's like, yeah, anything is possible.
Yeah, it's crazy. man.
goodness.
Yo, I think let's stop there.
Yeah.
Zaf, thank you so much for coming. It was a great talk.
Yeah, that was
Um,
great.
Yeah, please feel welcome to come back anytime.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like, seriously.
I'll see you at Midwinter this weekend.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, that's gonna be really cool.
That's gonna be fun.
We can meet somebody from S20.
Oh yes, have some fun with them. Drink some beers.
Drink some beers.
All right. Cheers, everyone.
Bye bye.